Hey guys, more of a serious topic today. I know we like to joke around and stuff, but I've been holding this in for a while, and I've had some alarming news from my doctors, and I just wanted to talk about more merch available. We have some Rock of Love merch, and also we've been seeing a lot of people requesting the Ozempic and the I Control Fire shirt back. So they are back. They're there. Get them now while you can. Don't keep complaining that you can't get them, because now you can. Here's the link in the description if you want some sweet merch to cover your beautiful titties, your big fat man gut. Now's the time. Let's get into the video. Welcome back to the Papa Me channel! Today we're going to be talking about TikTok relationship tests. Run. Getting into relationships can be hard, but maintaining a healthy one can be even harder. Some people simply don't trust their partners, whether it's because of bad treatment.
Stop. I'm gonna hit you. Hunter, open your
Personal insecurities,
I mean, it's a nice outfit. I just don't think it looks good on you.
or mere superstition.
Allison, when you inevitably divorce me, what's your next wedding gonna be like?
One thing is certainly true. TikTok relationship trends are making things much worse. And I'll tell you why they're making things much worse, Nick, is because all of these things we're getting ready to talk about today are all people that are looking for a reason, in my opinion, to leave.
Oh, you think so?
I think 90% of them. Because to me, it's looking for people outside to give you validation to do the quote unquote bad thing or the hard thing. And it's bullshit! These are all so stupid, by the way. They're so dumb. Every day, millions of people go on TikTok and watch happy couples perform various tests on each other to see if they're truly meant to be, right? This has led to more and more people performing these tests in their own lives, leading to disappointing results because people can't also realize when something is fabricated.
Yeah.
Somebody doing a dumb test and be like, oh my God, he's so quirky. Made up. It's not real. Human beings don't act like that. They don't. We'll get into it. I'm jumping ahead of myself. Maybe it's just how I'm treated at home or something.
Is there something you want to talk about?
No.
It was really fucked up how Allison came in the other day and just started yelling at you.
No, like it's like kind of like my fault. I shouldn't have been drinking water. You know.
Yeah. I just can't stand it when she's fucking mean to you, man.
Hey, it's my fucking wife you're talking about, man.
Sorry.
She'll talk to me anyway. She'll talk to me any way she wants to. Like she always has. So, let's take a look at what TikTok can do to potentially strengthen my relationship. As far as the tests themselves, many of them are subtle. That being said, failing to pass them leads to a sea of online feedback insisting that the relationship is doomed to fail, and this is the case regarding one of the more recent trends, the bird theory, which I just want to say, that's the thing. If you don't pass the test, you're gonna have a sea of croons squawking and balking at you. Ah, red flag! Big girls and ugly men. Oh, I would never treat, you know what I love about men commenting too? I would never treat you like that. It's always just something where it's just like, hey, let me cut the line and see what I can do here.
Because they're totally going to get that fucking pussy.
Oh, dude, online pussy, you kidding me? He's like, it probably smells so rank. But let's start off with the bird theory. The point of the bird theory is to test whether or not your partner makes an effort to care about even your smallest of interests, which is like a bird. Apparently, it's just you looking out your window and looking at a bird, right? So to perform this theory, as it were, you bring up to your partner that you saw a bird earlier in the day. And if your partner acknowledges this and reacts with a genuine interest, they pass the test, right? And according to the world-renowned psychologist Dr. John Gottman, aka Dr. Cuck, this can be considered a bid for attention. I don't know why I threw there's no reason. Dr. John Gottman, this is just him saying the facts, right? Him setting it straight. Essentially, a gesture meant to receive validation or attention that can often determine the strength of a relationship. Here is the problem. If you try to make a big deal to me that you saw a bird earlier, I'm gonna be like, do you got nothing else going on in the day? Come to me with, I saw a car wreck.
Oh, there you go.
I would be like, oh my, what happened? There's your interest. I saw a bird. So did everyone else today. Okay, sweetheart? You know what this is? Do you think this, and this is me being a little rude. Jazzed up, got some coffee on me. Let me tell you something. Is it like hot girl theories? Is it hot girls doing this to be like, he doesn't even care about the little things because they have no other interests, so they have to drum up that they saw a bird?
I think it's not just hot girls. I think it's just women. Women just want drama. They're
Go ahead.
bold statement.
Nick got broken up with recently, so he's a little on edge.
I think people just want to test your relationship like it is. It's just something small where it's just like, he doesn't care about me.
Yeah, they want to complain.
Exactly.
They want to complain. I'm ending my statement there. They simply want to complain about something, don't they? This message is sponsored by Raycon. Keep your ears open and your holiday playlist rolling with Raycon's essential open earbuds. These open ear earbuds let you stay connected to your surroundings while enjoying your favorite music and podcasts. And this Black Friday and Cyber Monday, you can get up to 30% off on Raycon audio products. Raycon's essential open earbuds keep your ears open while still delivering crystal clear sound, so you can stay aware of traffic and other surroundings without sacrificing sound quality. That makes this perfect for jogging or for working out, and their super lightweight design means they won't slip out. I love the multi-point connection on the earbuds, allowing you to connect multiple devices and switch with ease. But the best part is that Raycon delivers premium audio quality at half the price. Plus, the open earbuds case has 36-hour battery life, giving you non-stop listening throughout your day.
So the best part about Raycon earbuds is that I get really sweaty when I work out, and they're not directly in my ears keeping all the sweat. As you can see, you can move around, they don't come out. So you can keep going with your workout, no problem.
These earbuds are all that you need for the holiday season, whether you're getting a gift or just something nice for yourself. Join over 3 million customers that love Raycon and try them for yourself. Click the link in the description box or go to buyraycon.com/papameatopen to get up to 30% off. That's buyraycon.com/papameatopen. Get up to 30% off Raycon's Black Friday and Cyber Monday sale. And Raycon has a 30-day evidence guarantee, so you can return if you don't love what you're hearing. So try them out and let them know we sent you. Hey, thanks Raycon for sponsoring this video. Now back to the video.
I feel like if you're doing these tests, it's one thing to just do it as a quote-unquote prank, to be like, I know he's not going to care about it. But if you are genuinely doing it to like test your relationship.
See, that's the thing is I think that they are. Yeah. I think it's almost always genuine. I think that they go in being like, oh, it's not a big deal, but then they want people to be like, girl, sis, it is a big deal. It's a big deal, sis. And then she could be like, well, I guess he does do, and then she starts naming other things. Well, he does kind of like, I don't know, yell at me whenever I don't know, like I have my period in bed or something. I don't know, whatever the fuck it is. Sis, that's just normal. Which it could be, I don't know. I saw a 3D video of how a period happens.
Oh. This is where you get to see the uterine lining.
It's like tears open and just fucking dumps out.
There's like jelly.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen like Total Recall. Whenever Arnold Schwarzenegger's head is like his eyes are bulging out of his face. On Mars, it reminded me of that. There are many examples of people passing the test, and those who fail get brutalized in the comments. One man appears confused after being told that his partner saw a pretty bird and walks away saying, "Why did you tell me that?"
Why are you telling me that?
AKA normal guy. Are we adults? Listen, if I had a daughter, if a child came up to me and said, I saw a pretty bird today, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. What did it look like? You know why? Because it's a child. It has a smooth brain. Its brain is like a water balloon. There's no ridges. It's a simple creature that is innocent, right? A fully functioning adult, though, I saw a pretty bird today. Got too much free time in your hands, is what I'd say. Or I'd be like, was it like a bald eagle? I don't know, because that's another thing. If I try to get specific, that would piss me off too. Was it like a bald eagle? I don't even know.
Cool.
This is an adult conversation. That was great.
What if they're like, I saw a fucking hawk swoop down and pick up a mouse, and
that's
then
already
hawk came and they fought.
They fought for it. You know what that is? That's a story. And I'm like, oh my god, what happened? And then I'm intrigued. Even throwing in something mundane. You know what they got to do? What a real test would have been. I just period all in my panties today and see their reaction to that. Because I think a lot of guys would do, oh, what? See, that's going to be a test someday. What would they call that? The Red Scare.
That's good.
The Red Scare theory. They sit there. It's like, yeah, I don't know, just all in my panties. I just felt weird. Because then other guys would be like, oh my god, are you okay? You feeling okay?
That's a
then
good
other
test.
guys would be like, yuck! Which I'd be like, oh my god, what? Hey, Victoria's Secret's a bear attack. Yikes! That kind of thing.
That's a new test.
That's an actual test.
Everybody post your Red Scare test on Reddit.
Go to your man and do a nice Red Scare and just say that your got wrecked. You have to say that too. It looked like D-Day down there in my panties. And everyone at work was solid. It was a whole thing. And I don't know. Because then you have a guy who's just like, oh my god, that's horrible. Are you okay? Or you have a guy who's just like, oh my god, this is going to be a true test. But saying that you have a bird, I don't know. I like how we already made a better one than the fucking bird theory. To say that they got just fucking like a Wolverine attacked him down there. I tried to hop a razor wire fence. That's what it looks like. Looked like I was breaking out of Shawshank with these panties on. Some are stating that this should mean an immediate breakup, and others made fun of him for apparently dressing like a child. You know, it's a good way to respond to someone not caring about a bird. Let's just make fun of how they look. Why did you tell me that? You look like a child! That makes sense.
Attack their appearance.
Attack their appearance. Well, that goes both ways. Better be careful. Others feel like this test is deceptive because walking up to your partner of multiple years and saying that you saw a bird with zero added details is a horrible conversation starter. And honestly, you can tell, this is another thing too, you can tell which bitches have been in a long-term relationship or not. All right. You can tell what guy has been in a long-term, what dog of a man has been in a relationship long enough, right? Because let me tell you guys, let me tell you something. Sex is fun. The first 2 years, oh, this is too fun. I'm having a good time. Get past year 5, then talk to me. Get to 10 years in and then talk to me. All right? Because let me tell you, there's love there, but it completely transforms. True love is the silence. True love is the small mediation between a couple. I think the shed is like leaking or something. Yeah, of course it is. That's love. All right, you coming up? If my wife Allison, which she deals with, I hear it all the time. You think that I don't hear about animals on fucking birds? She'll be like, one of the guineas got out, and I'll be like, okay. You know what? But she also doesn't bring it to me because why would that matter? How does that affect? It doesn't matter. This is the first theory. I can't get this heated on the first theory. Which it doesn't help that at one point the man seems to realize that he's being filmed, which only makes the whole thing seem suspicious and inauthentic, and it just feels like, oh, is this like a bit? Are you doing a bit with me? And I know the whole time too, big ass gums and stuff, probably smiling back. Real Sly. Little Sly Cooper action. Another one points a phone directly at her husband and tells him, I saw a bird today?
I saw a bird today. I saw a bird today.
As if it was a question, and her confused partner continues using his phone while she repeats herself until he finally snaps at her and says, are you on shrooms? What's wrong with you?
Fuck you, you on shrooms?
Did you see it or didn't you see it? I saw a bird today?
I saw a bird today.
I saw a bird today?
I saw a bird today.
That actually pissed me off.
Oh my God. You know what? Sometimes it's just like, sometimes you have to do it, and this is a grown-up thing. You have to pretend you don't hear somebody sometimes. Just to hope that the person can just catch what they said and be like, that's not worth it. I'll even do a little side eye every once in a while.
So that's why you ignore me, huh?
No. Well, yeah, Nick will come in and I'll be sitting here like working or something, be like looking at my deal, like typing or something. He'll be like, I saw a guy die on a forklift on a video on the internet.
Oh my God, I did. I
know you did. I saw a guy die on a forklift on a video, and I'll be like, and then he'll just sit there and be like, the phone just playing in his hand. Just a Chinese guy screaming, oh! For one TikToker, this evolved into her secretly filming herself dropping the splits in front of her boyfriend at a grocery store to see how he would react. She pulls it off and asks, was that epic?
Was that epic?
Only for him to briefly look at her before going back to focusing on finding apple juice. Okay, first off, apple juice, pretty fucking important. I have a nice craving. Also, listen, dude, if you can do the splits, you're trying to think that that's not the first time we've seen her do the fucking splits. Probably been bouncing on it for how long? You know what I mean? Yeah, cool. If anything, I'd be like, why here? Your pussy's been all the dirty floor and stuff like that. I'm telling you, ladies, Red Scare. That's a good one. Do the Red Scare in the store. Take a big thing of fucking cranberry juice and just pour it in your panties. Uh-oh. And how does he respond? Does he help or does he not? Red Scare. Red Scare theory. Oh no, it's not communism. These viral posts had thousands of comments, mostly insisting that she run from the relationship immediately. You did the splits and he was looking at apple juice? Girl, get out of there, sis. Get out of there. He then filmed a video where he essentially apologized for not having the proper reaction. Oh, wrong.
Yep.
Wrong. Wrong. Mostly because his partner is a professional dancer and he was already aware she could pull off moves like that with no problem because AKA I've been seeing it for years. He sees thousands of people lash out at him and then he's like, well, I probably should have reacted. No, you know what? You should have done. You should have doubled down. It'd been like, that wasn't even her best split.
Is that grounds for breaking up?
I think that there is grounds for breaking up when people like post things about your relationship that you're like, why'd you post that? It like creates a public conversation about your relationship that's like not even necessary. To me, I'm like, why would you do that? Is that funny? I didn't think it was funny. Be like it would seriously be like if you went to your girlfriend and you were like recording her, she's like having a bad day, or let's say she's on her period, even like something like that. Like, oh yeah, she's on her period. Here, let me tell you a joke to make you laugh. Like to me, I'm like, it's like antagonistic, which that obviously mine's more aggressive, but I just mean it's just something where it's like it's obviously one way. way.
Well, she's
And I don't like
posting
that.
it to be like, my boyfriend didn't respond. Of course, people are gonna fucking attack him.
Because I think that they try to like get away with the idea of like, oh, well, it was just all in good fun. But it's like they're like berating your guys' relationship. Is that fun? Is that what this is what fun looks like, by the way? But that's more of the attention-seeking theory, I guess, like trying to see how they would reciprocate giving you attention in a positive way, right? Now, the next theory we have though is the orange peel theory. Try to wrap your head around what this one's going to be. Many relationships thrive on doing small things for your partner. It's a simple way to show that you care, and that is exactly what the orange peel theory is all about. The test involves one person handing their partner an orange and asking them to peel it for them. If they do it without question, they love you. If not, they're not the one.
You're not gonna peel it for me?
Dude, okay, as if I don't do enough. You're not even that special, that's the thing. Get that in your fucking skull, dude. Like, you're really not that special.
The problem with a lot of these so far, once again, Red Scare, really want to popularize the Red Scare movement. The problem is, yes, it is a nice thing to do, but at the same time, it's just, you're a grown adult. You can peel an orange. You know what I mean? If I went to my wife and I was like, could you take the trash out? And I'm right by the trash. Why don't I just do it? You know what I mean? Just that kind of shit. I don't know.
What if you can't peel it because you have tiny fingernails?
Well, show a picture of Nick's fingernails, and then I'd be like, that's a disability. You have to help him. See, and the thing about it, though, is it's all self. You did it to yourself. You know, it's not like you were born. It's like, I didn't have any fingernails when I was born. It's like you bit them off clean. So now I feel like you gotta carry a pocket knife, your orange knife. Peel it yourself.
I would pass this test because I would peel an orange for my queen.
I mean, listen, I would peel an orange, but it's just, is that the parameter? You have the orange in your hand, just peel it. Am I wrong? Let me ask Allison.
Or I thought you were gonna do these test on her. Secret record.
Oh shit, yeah. Well, I'm performing these tests as well, so in real time you'll see what the reactions are later. Good luck, future hunter.
What are you doing?
I just saw an interesting bird. There's like a blue bird by the window.
What?
I saw a blue bird by the window.
The bathroom window?
I saw a blue bird by the window.
They shouldn't be out this time of year.
Okay.
Which the orange peel theory has led to the demise of many relationships. It's actually quite sad. There's a lot of blood on the battlefield. One woman was inspired by this trend and decided to give a similar mundane task to her boyfriend of 7 months after feeling that she was doing more in the relationship than he was. All right, so already let me stop that. Once again, it's just the excuse to get out the door. It's just the excuse to get people to be like, you gotta leave. Okay, right? She was taking care of his 1-year-old daughter, driving him to the bar, and doing all the housework while he often just played video games. Okay, well, that's not a relationship.
Yeah, that's a mommy.
That's him getting his dick sucked and his, getting his dick wet every once in a while. And better be good or else that shit is not worth it. Find some validation yourself. Give yourself some self-worth, right? So she asked him to tie up her hair. And he refused. She tried again and asked him to put towels in the laundry, and he outright ignored her. This resulted in her confronting him in her car outside of his mom's house, where she tried to tell him how she felt. He rejected the conversation and asked her to take care of his daughter and drive him to the bar.
Yeah, this guy's just a piece of shit.
This guy is not a good guy. I'm not going to go into it. Not a good man. I can't say the things I want to say. At that moment, she snapped and kicked him out of the car. He was confused by her reaction, and then the couple broke up. Later on that night, she knew she dodged a bullet when his mother texted her, "Be a good mom and future wife." Fuck that. Also, first off, I guess it seems like also this is setting people up to realize what is a relationship and what isn't a relationship. You know what I mean? If anything, the theories could be beneficial in that way. Because somebody who is, I don't know, a good husband or a good boyfriend also takes care of their own children, isn't having someone else drop them off at a bar while a child sits at home. You know what I mean? If there's all those things, and then if you are also able to communicate to, like in this instance, it's a thing of, once again, she could tie up her own hair, but it'd be different if like I had my hands full. Hey, could you tie up my hair? Then they declined. To me, I'm like, well, you can't just fucking help them out really quick. That kind of, you know what I mean? I don't know. If anything, the theories could be a good test of like what is and what isn't a relationship in that regard. Because I think people do get that fucked up sometimes when they don't realize, well, I didn't know that's how I was supposed to be treated. I think that's a pretty common thing. Some people just like, they exist in that atmosphere. I think it translates from like your parents and shit, how they treat you, to now your actual relationship, to where it's like, well, I haven't known anything different.
Yeah, that's true. It's a good eye opener then.
It could be. They're also still really stupid, don't get me wrong, but in this case, it's a good instance to be like, oh, that's a huge eye-opener.
Well, I think this one, I know it's called the orange peel theory, but just asking for small tasks, like the trash, which you already mentioned, where it's like, hey, help me with the trash. No. Help me with the dishes.
There is no reason in a relationship, if your wife's like, can we take the trash? There should never be a reason that you should ever say no. There's like never, ever a reason that you should ever be like, what? Why don't you do it? I will say though, if she was just like, you want to tie up my hair? First off, I'd be like, I don't know how do I do that? Why can't you do it? That's why I would do that. But also the same thing if she was like, can you cut up my apples? Don't fucking try to get me to do the baby shit either. All right? There's a knife, cut up your apples and fucking eat it like a chimp or whatever you want to do, dude. Whatever. I guess it's that. But if she was like making dinner and her hands, she's like with chicken and she doesn't want to have to wash them and go back and forth, I'd be like, oh yeah, cut it up. See, that's the difference. That's another thing too, is these little things, it feels like a test.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
So you fail them on purpose.
I fail them on purpose because I say I never agreed to this exam. I'm not a willing participant, and I'm not going to be.
Especially if you have they have their phone out too.
Yeah, if you're recording me, what the fuck is that? No. What? What is this? Because if anything, I feel like you're pranking me. I don't want to get pranked. Not on camera.
Maybe it's the wrong thing to put up the hair. Maybe it's the wrong thing to peel off the orange.
Exactly. Too many questions. All these rules. I can't handle it. Therapists and psychologists have looked at the trend and deemed it unhealthy, saying that basing an entire relationship on a simple gesture is misleading and irresponsible.
Are you sure? But TikTok doesn't even do it.
Many other people agree the trend is extremely childish, with one man saying he'd divorce his wife if she tried to do it on him. Okay, well, listen, as much as I love the man's spirit, that's a bit excessive. Yeah, I don't think you break up with someone for it, but at the same time, I just don't like the idea of somebody recording me and like posting it.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Because also, one, there's no way to delineate. I mean, you can kind of delineate what's obviously scripted and what's like a genuine, someone being like, oh, what? No. But if you're going to get lumped in with all the other bad shit. That's not good. That's no bueno.
Could you peel that for me?
No. Why would I do that?
Could you peel that for me?
No. You're an adult man.
Could you peel this one for me, please?
Ow. Allison, stop. Allison, stop it!
Ah! And I gotta tell you, this next one is my least favorite thing to maybe come out of this whole ordeal. Because in 2023, the Beckham test was a popular way to test your partner. It's based on a scene from the 2023 David Beckham documentary, where the professional soccer player spontaneously dances with his wife over the song Islands in the Stream. Okay. Basing it on a scene in a documentary, already fabricated, the cameras are there, or performative. Even if that is real, to me, there's no way to separate the performance. So if my husband isn't David Beckham, he's wrong. If my hubby doesn't just dance with me randomly,
bye-bye, get out of here.
This began a trend of women trying to recreate the scene by filming themselves dancing to the song in the hopes that their husband would notice and join in, right? We're just palling around. We're little goofballs. I love our relationship. I love you, husband. I love you, wife.
My wifey poo.
My little wifey ding dong. And mwah, I kiss your tiny head. Many people pass the test while some appear deadpanning and gaze into the camera like their soul was sucked out of their body. AKA, that's 95% of people. Because you see the camera and you're like, what is this? What the hell is this? Also, I'll tell you what, after 8 hours a day and you get home, you're like, especially after you get into your 30s, brutal. You're fighting demons trying to stay awake. The only thing you're looking forward to is just a nice little dinner. Maybe you go home, you're like, oh, I have that teriyaki chicken. I'm very excited. A little sesame seeds on it. You're cooking it, and all of a sudden someone's just like dancing up to you to a song. Maybe I'm not in the fucking mood to dance, dude. That's my response. I don't think you have to be deadpan. You have to completely shut it down. But at the same time, me not reciprocating that to a song that I don't even like. Right? Am I wrong?
No. What if they put your favorite song on, though?
I'd be dancing. It'd be hard not to. What's my favorite song? I'd have to dance. Maybe just even like a little. But I'm not going to do this thing like we go up and be like, oh, like that's obnoxious.
That's performative.
Or even, let's just say I did, and I was just like, is that enough? You acknowledge it with just a simple like.
Yeah, I think as long as you're not yelling at her and beating her.
What about this then? I'm not yelling at her, beating her. No one said that. Where did that come from? What if it sat there and you were like, God damn, Nick. What the fuck? What if you're sitting there and you like, you told her beforehand, my boss, he fucking yelled at me today in front of everybody. I don't know, it's put me in a funky mood. And then she's like,
That's grounds for hitting her.
In one example that went super viral, a TikToker danced around her husband of 9 years wearing her wedding gown, only for him to be locked in on his phone and completely ignore her. I just don't know about the wedding gown. I hate to say this because, once again, misogynistic type stuff, that motherfucker's put in some work. Yeah. He's on his second tour in the force, you know what I mean? Holy hell. As usual, Minnie insisted he's not the one for her. A decade in, he's not the one for you. He didn't dance! With some even insisting that she check his phone, insinuating that he was being unfaithful, of course. Others predicted that she would soon upload My Husband's So Silly video in order to defend him from the harassment. And this is exactly what she did weeks later. This time, entering a room in a sports jersey where he immediately notices her and starts to dance alongside her. Despite being a lighthearted and staged video poking fun at the viral post, people continued lambasting him for being a terrible husband. You can't win.
No.
You can't win. Also, you know what he should have done? It would have been way funnier, and I think would have got people on his side, is if she came in the sports jersey, and instead of doing that, he was like, enough! Stop dancing! I can't fucking take it! It's every day! Then people would be like, that's awesome.
People definitely would not.
And then at the end of it, though, you guys hold hands, and then you do. And then you take a bow.
Yeah. And then you have people throw flowers in.
Yeah, and then people are in there throwing flowers.
Allison, you want to dance with me?
No, I can pass it.
Huh?
No.
You want to dance with me, Allison? Why don't you dance with me? It means you'll...
Getting married is something many look forward to in their life. The thought of being called someone's husband or wife is a milestone for many, making it the perfect basis for a TikTok relationship test. The husband test. It's pretty straightforward. You set up the camera, grab your partner, and while talking, briefly call them your husband or your wife to judge the reaction. Do this with somebody on your second date, by the way.
That's actually good advice because sometimes they think it's cute.
Do this on your second date and see how uncomfortable they get. It'll be really funny. Hello, wifey. Be like, what?
If they're crazy,
we went to dinner once. Yeah, but dude, if he or she is reciprocating that, you run away from that. There's no reason someone should be that emotionally attached that quickly. Hello, husband. Oh, yes.
You don't think it's cute to be like, where do you want to get married on your second date?
No.
Where should we get married? The Bahamas? No. And you don't talk about your like potential baby names?
I think on your first date, you can say things like, would you ever want to get married? Because you're feeling people out, right? Are you wanting kids someday? I think all those questions are fine. But the assumption on the second date to say wifey or husband is a bit absurd to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just got to say that would be a red flag. I'd be like, we saw Frankenstein. We saw Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein in theaters, and you're calling me husband? And we split the bill. You paid for popcorn.
To be fair, if a girl did that to me, I'd be freaked out. But if I did it to them, it'd be funny.
I feel like you would really like it.
You think so?
I think so. I think so. I think the first person that ever truly commits to you, it's going to be bad. I think you gotta be able to see it and then separate yourself to get onto the next one. I think someone's going to play you like a fiddle one day, dude.
No, and I'm going to take it.
Devil went down to Georgia. It all started with a 2024 video of a woman calling her boyfriend her husband in passing. And to her surprise, as she said, my husband, he immediately corrected her and said that he was not her husband.
Today I'm going to be guessing my husband's favorite things.
I'm not your husband.
Which also could have been him being kind and being like, oh, no, we're not. Because he didn't want her to feel silly. Or maybe he's just like, and no ring. She then proceeded to sit there in silence as the man awkwardly attempted to fist bump her before she jokingly choked him out. That's not funny.
That's abuse.
That's disgusting, actually. People in the comments were surprised at how rapidly he shut it down, saying even their shitless ex-boyfriend wouldn't have done that. And others claimed that he didn't love her at all because, they know them. This reaction inspired other people to do it with their partners, and it is just another drop in the bucket of TikTok relationship test, which, once again, if you're dating someone for a year, I don't see a problem with that. Even after a little bit, I don't think that. I'm just saying, like, date 1 through 4.
It could work. It could be a cute thing.
I feel like you have done it. I feel like you're defending it so much to where I'm like, I feel like you've definitely done it before.
This is 4.
Hi, wife.
Hi.
As relationship tests have become increasingly popular, there are more and more people fighting back against them online. In the process, many people go on rants about how these tests are starting to ruin their relationships. Yeah. One 38-year-old man was tested repeatedly by his girlfriend, and it started with her saying she wanted to be alone for the weekend, a test he failed because he didn't surprise her with a visit regardless. Also, 40 years old and playing that, I'd be like, I can't. I can't, dude. See, that's when you start getting into like the single mom territory. Single mom of 2, you think she's gonna be saying that? No. They're gonna tell you how it is. They're gonna lay out the rules and you'll be like, awesome. This is the fucking itinerary. This is how we're getting it done. Dinner here, sex here, bed then. Good night. That's what I'm telling you. I need a drill sergeant. Need some drill sergeant pussy. Attention! She kept throwing test after test at him, claiming he failed every time. It escalated to the point where she pretended to be pregnant and kept up the lie for an entire day. That is messed up. That is up. A full 24 hours too. Yep.
It's yours.
He's growing in here. You shouldn't have sneezed in me so hard.
Shaking and shit.
Yeah, he's thinking about a little vitamin C overdose.
Yeah. Sees a long, tall flight of steps. Despite him passing by being calm and supportive, he broke things off after realizing that this was yet again another test and that she could no longer be trusted.
Yep. Man. That's
what is smart? Yes. Yeah. I would almost feel like I'm being like manipulated or gaslit. Like imagine being like, I feel like I should propose to her. Have I been fucking groomed to think that? I don't know. It feels like it. Feels like she has my fucking brain. You know what I mean? That fucking like ball that Sauron has, whatever. He's like, Gandalf, marry me, Gandalf. That kind of thing. Another man and his wife were approached by a group of TikTokers who wanted to test the relationship by asking them various personal questions. They both agreed, only for his wife to realize that he didn't know their anniversary, her parents' names, or what allergy she has. I know Allison's parents' names. I know her allergies. I struggle with the date sometimes. The fucked up thing is they'll do the anniversary of when we first got together, our wedding anniversary, the proposal anniversary. Too many dates. I'm bad with names. And I know her dad, mom's name. That should be good enough.
Do you know her allergies?
Yeah. I'm not gonna say him. Have some guy go up, blow in her face or whatever. Listen, if you're worried about your relationship, 9 out of 10 times, it can be solved with open communication. You just gotta talk to people, for the love of God. Also, if someone, let's say this thing is important. The thing of like, could you peel this orange for me? And they're like, no. If you do not communicate, it will not get fixed. If you tell that person, I would really love if you just like, if I asked to do these things, they did it. And if they then reciprocate, if it never changes, that person is unwilling to change. And I think that is a red flag. A one and done? Brutal. Okay? You know what I mean? If you're enacting elaborate plans to test someone, chances are it'll cause more problems than it solves, especially if you're filming it and making it into fucking content for other people. So I just gotta say, relationships are hard. They are. They're not easy. People who are like, we're happy. Good for you, unicorn. It takes a lot of work, dude. You just gotta communicate with your partner. That's the real test. Communicate with them, and if they actually reciprocate and they start changing, that's a good guy. That's a good girl. That's a relationship. Welcome to a relationship. Hi, there it is. Nobody's perfect, but people can learn to be better and people can learn to be in a relationship with specifically you and no one else. So thank you all so much. Hey, don't do these fucking theories. They're stupid. Bye.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming in and sitting down because today we're going to be talking about Hobby Lobby. Chances are you've stepped into this arts and crafts store at one point in your life. Passing by, you may assume it's nothing, there's nothing out of the ordinary. What lies inside, however, is a store with a strange and controversial history. This is mostly due to the company's dedication to upholding their evangelical Christian beliefs. Not only are they often the butt of the jokes for this, but they've also participated in some really scummy behavior in their efforts to push these kinds of views, right? Also, most egregious of all, they say everything's on sale all the time. I don't believe it. It's 100% that's just what the price is and they're telling you it's on sale. I don't fucking believe you. So let's look at what kind of place Hobby Lobby really is. Hobby Lobby is a retail store that was founded in 1972 in Oklahoma City by a man named David Green. What started as a home business selling picture frames evolved slowly over the years until today, where it's seen as one of the largest privately owned American companies with revenue reaching over $8 billion as of last year. I didn't know the motherfuckers were pushing picture frames like that. That's insane. It is pretty crazy. The stores themselves are like any other home goods and arts and crafts stores, right? Except with an aggressive focus on religious and hyper-conservative values. It's common to see signs that read like, we don't call 911, as well as the abundance of crucifixes in all shapes and sizes, which I just gotta say, just because you're a religious person, you might be conservative, doesn't mean that, you know, not knocking you for that, but I'm just saying these signs, they suck.
All right. And also, to be fair, if I want fucking arts and crafts thing, I mean, do I want people shoving their beliefs in my face all day?
What if I like those beliefs?
I guess I didn't think about that. Many art pieces often include reference to scenes from the Bible, to the point where customers see it as incredibly tacky. Well, depends on which customer you are.
The toilet paper with the finger going out.
The toilet paper with the finger going out, I gotta say, fucking rules, actually. I know I just dogged him, but the finger toilet paper thing, that actually sick.
You know, it'd be even funnier if he had like a little poo finger, like at the end of the picture, just a little poo.
That would be funny. That definitely wouldn't be fucking absolutely disgusting. Younger generations ridicule the store for its live, laugh, love style of cringy, relatable products. So much so that it's become a trend to go into stores and jokingly read the signs out loud.
I think I like this little life.
$8 billion a year. Bitch, what am I supposed to tell you? Beyond that, Hobby Lobby has fully embraced artificial intelligence by selling what clearly looks to be AI art, some of which include glaringly obvious design errors. Which I gotta say, that's every store at this point. I feel like every store I've gone in, I'm like, oh boy.
It's the vendors they buy from that are doing the AI art, so but they don't care. They're just like, oh,
But yeah, I don't give a fuck. We'll put it on the shelf. I'll just a little monkey with a hat on him. How do they do that? As a whole, Hobby Lobby has the reputation of selling incredibly low-quality art supplies and novelty products, and is believed by many artists to be in a noticeable decline. I remember back in the day, I used to get my Micron pens there, right? Because you'd be like, I gotta go there, I'm gonna get some paper to draw and some Micron pens. That used to be where you go. I went there recently. Despite this, some older people are incredibly moved by their products. One woman films her husband being reduced to tears over a painting of a cow sitting at a dining table.
Are you crying?
Why did that make me cry?
Oh.
And I just want to say this. If I could feel anything remotely that pure, my hat's off to him. Or do you think it's mental illness?
I thought it was performative, but it could be mental illness.
However, if you've already heard of Hobby Lobby before the video, it's likely not because of their products. You probably know them for their weird religious activity. Hobby Lobby does not shy away from the fact that religion is baked into every facet of their business.
Actually, wealth can be a curse, and so we don't create wealth. We see ourselves as really stewardships of the profits that we earn.
One of the biggest stories to come out from the company was their unwillingness to provide forms of birth control as part of their health insurance plan.
Just want to take a second to thank our sponsor, GamerSupps, for being one of our best sponsors, if not the best sponsor on this channel, and for giving us so much support, and for having amazing, tasty, quality products like our own flavor, Raw Meat, that you can order right now. It's amazing energy supplement. There's caffeine-free options, and everything has 0 sugar, baby. So if you're trying to get off the sody pops and get into something tasty, consider Raw Meat GamerSupps. I'm telling you, it's amazing. You can't go wrong with any of their flavors, and they also have big tittied anime shakers that, you know, if you get your rocks off to that, I consider it because they're pretty sexy. It gets me stiff in my pants. So thank you, GamerSupps, for sponsoring this episode. And hey, check out Raw Meat. It's seriously the best flavor. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Raw Meat, if you're trying to get a nice caffeinated beverage. Thank you. Back to the video. To be fair, and I'm gonna say, listen, throw a dog a bone and let him have the birth control stuff. But at the same time, every person I've ever seen in there is 76 years old, so they're probably like, it's barren, and it's nature's birth control. You think Gladys is fucking going, uh-oh. Can you imagine, could you actually imagine your 83-year-old coworker?
Oh, last night I got in, last night I was rolling around in the hay and a little bit of, you know, baby gravy maybe got in. I mean, she's just like, hey, could I get a pill? I mean, what is the guy like, are you serious?
At that point, that is a miracle. If a 70-year-old...
I'm saying if you saw a 75, 76-year-old woman with a belly bump, I mean, I'd be like, you better, I've got to go to church.
She wants to suck that thing out.
And she wants to...
She's having second thoughts.
Yeah, if anything, at that point, I thought I was a CEO, I'd be like, this is seriously a miracle. Even I'd go down there, I'd be like, that's probably Superman. You're giving birth to something. I don't know, it could even be what if it's the Antichrist?
Well, Christians want the Antichrist to come, because then they go to heaven. That's the coming of Jesus.
That's the rapture.
That's the rapture.
Imagine the woman that you work with at Hobby Lobby, the 75-year-old Gladys, is the signifier of the rapture. You just see that motherfucker like this inside her belly.
Yeah, the horns are poking too.
Yeah, she's just like, his name's gonna be Derek. In this house, we don't call 911.
She's red pilled by that point. Yeah, she's based. Gladys is definitely based. Probably got deep by like a 22-year-old veteran. This led to a widely publicized lawsuit in which Hobby Lobby succeeded in setting a new precedent that allowed some corporations to deny certain contraceptives to their employees based on religious reasons. You know what I don't like about it? You're going out of your way to be a dick, right? Well, yeah, fuck off, dude. It's kind of a God-given miracle that man was able to, I mean, take this and you will not have a child. I mean, how crazy is that?
They need a male version.
It's called a condom.
Well, tired of leaving it up to the woman.
You talking about? So what you're saying is that you want a pill where it's like, it also comes with a slingshot device that you put in and you have to hit her. She has to consume it and boom. Perfect.
Yeah, it's like a little dart that gets injected in them.
Every man becomes like a Rambo at that point up in a tree. Yeah, or it's just a blow dart. Damn it. All right, I'm not pregnant now.
I meant a man takes the pill and fucking dissolves your sperm.
I kind of wish there was a way. I wish there was a switch. Imagine the future, the same people who came up with the light switch came up with a thing where you stick into your balls, your testicles, and you're able to.
Oh yeah, or you know, you had a second hole that like kind of like a train switch. Like you could, if you wanted to come out the B hole.
This is getting to insane levels of autism, dude. It's like a train. I'm a conductor. When I want to make left to a go and make jisms, I turn it to the left. I'll tell you, we are getting on the. I mean, come on, we're gonna need a spit bib and a hard hat after a while. Better watch out. Similar to companies like Chick-fil-A, which also hold Christian values, they too are not open on Sundays. Not only that, but they refuse to celebrate Halloween or sell any horror-themed decorations, seeing it as pagan holiday that should not be respected or acknowledged. I think you know what they need to do. Hobby Lobby could be in a market where, what if they had like a fucking sick-looking Jesus thing? Put that in your yard. That'd be creepy as fuck. They think it's like, oh, stop the spirit. I'm like, can you imagine that? Praise the Lord! Like that, whatever.
That'd be scary.
It would be scary. Not only are there stores known to play Christian music, but some employees have even noted that sermons are played for all employees before the store opens and closes.
So if you ever find yourself crying or getting teary-eyed, just know they're playing some worship music. I feel his presence in here.
Christian music, dude? Some Creed? Oh.
My uncle is a Christian man.
Love your uncle's Christian rock band. It is so good. Unironically. Unironically, I was like, God damn. Turn up in my car show. I was like, this shit fucking, this rips. They go even further to push their beliefs by putting out newspaper advertisements about Jesus Christ, something David Green claims he felt commissioned by God to do since as far back as 1995, which I just want to say, it's always people that feel like they've been talking with God. It's a little bit of narcissism, isn't it? You tell me David Green, you're selling paints and picture frames, dude. God told me to do so. No. In 2021, they received heavy backlash for posting a full-page ad on Independence Day attempting to prove that the U.S. is meant to have Christian-run government. Okay, once again, this is an art store. Starting in 2022, religious advertisements started to release on all platforms, with some showing up during multiple Super Bowl commercials, which I just want to say, so, I mean, it's like, for a 30-second commercial, I think it's like $2 to $10 million.
Oh, well, they got the funds.
They got the funds. And to spread the good word, he's probably just like, God, I'm a good person.
Yeah.
God. Isn't that right, Gladys? Her just uterus is open. Like goat man's coming out of it. It was created by an ad campaign called He Gets Us, which has spent hundreds of millions of dollars thus far, with reported plans to spend around $1 billion within its first 3 years. Uh-oh. Whoa. The ad consisted of various pictures showing people getting their feet washed, an act that's supposed to be symbolic of humility and forgiveness of sinners. Most, however, just saw it as judgmental, creepy, and vaguely horny, if I'm being honest. Did you see those? I've seen those. He gets us. He just gets us. One ad in particular tries to explain how we should just love our enemies the way Jesus did. And the images of the advertisement depict minorities and liberal-looking people as evil sinners who are seen shrieking at cops and country boys, right? The good uns. I guess I should just like them. These sinners, these freaks.
Look at that woman with a ring in her nose. Septum pierce theory. Hobby Lobby has a lot of strange commercials as well. Often, they're filled with ham-fisted morals and seem to cater to a much older religious people. In one Christmas commercial, for example, an overworked mom is seen working tirelessly to clean up after her gamer son. After realizing how lucky he is to have her, he suddenly decides to sell all of his video games to purchase Christmas decorations and surprise her. Yeah, right, dude. Talk about a fucking fictional story. That motherfucker be Mom, get up here! Be like that kind of thing.
He's using her credit card to buy like riot points or whatever.
Yeah, riot points and vape juice and shit. Blowing fat clouds in there, ordering fucking escorts and stuff like that. That's my stocking stuffer. Employees of Hobby Lobby often voice their frustrations online. As you would expect, they meet all sorts of strange customers. Which I want to say, going into a Hobby Lobby, it is very odd because it's like, there's always somebody in there, shopper, but they never have anything in their cart. Everyone has a cart and they're walking aimlessly around like a labyrinth, which leads me to believe, do they hire people to just walk around the store to make it seem there's people in there? I'm telling you, go to a Hobby Lobby, you'll find someone in there and they're just walking around with nothing in their cart. Looking at like fucking wreaths. And also everything has like cinnamon on it. It smells like cinnamon everywhere. You know what I mean? But they're just looking, kind of reminds me of like Scientology. Many of them swear by Hobby Lobby, these strange customers, treating it like their second home. Their love runs so deep that it becomes common for them to visit other stores like Michael's or Joann Fabrics to brag about how great Hobby Lobby is in comparison. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, the store's okay. It's just no Hobby Lobby.
Those are, again, paid actors.
Crisis actors. Yeah, 100%. Do you think it's recruiters? Do you think the same actors that go in, they're just like, it's so weird. It's weird because it's actually a better price at Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, it's advertising. That's the $1 billion budget.
That has to be a part of the $1 million budget. One Hobby Lobby employee was asked by a customer if he had any experience with planting. The customer proceeds to tell them that his uncle has created a type of dust that is incapable of getting wet, which he claims is so important that it can save the country. And during his rant, he started explaining how Obama failed to save homes from the flooding and how the dust could also be used to clog up and stop BP oil spills. The worker was then asked to try and make him the dust he was referring to which he said no and walked away. You think you can hook me with some of that dust? No, I don't think I will, actually. Gassing yourself up real big. That sounds great. I could actually have a leak in my garage. No. There's no way. First off, if you're making miracle dust, there's no way you're not carrying around sandbags. Yeah, pockets of dust. I should fix it. Like, dude, what the f? You just he's like, no, don't mess with it. Because that's the answer. And Obama did a bunch. I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah. In one case, a woman chastised the company for selling candy in multiple locations of the store. She tries to start a movement by having people commit to an agreement and to tag their social media page to stop this.
I don't need to walk through and see all that stuff. I don't want my kids asking for things when we check out. There's got to be a way to do this. Let's talk Hobby Lobby. And for those of you who agree, please comment and tag them below.
What? What? I don't know. In a particularly absurd story, Christian parents were in an uproar after seeing that potentially demonic products were being sold in the Hobby Lobby stores. A supposed member of the Satanic Temple played a prank on the company by using Midjourney AI, and she created a fake image of Hobby Lobby aisle stocked with what appears to be satanic pillars. The post started to spread, leaving older, less tech-savvy Christian adults in complete shock. Which I gotta say, that's the perfect prank for like Facebook adults. Why would the adults believe that was real?
Because
it's in a picture and it's in front of them.
Exactly.
Oh my god!
And it's on Facebook. There's a huge there's a huge prank going on where people are taking photos in their room and putting an AI homeless man in it, and then sending it to their parents, being like, "I let this guy in."
I've seen that, yeah. And then the parents like, "What the?" Which, to be fair, if I was a parent, I'd be like, "Wait, what?" But like a giant pillars, I'd be like, "What? That's fake."
Would you let a homeless person in?
No.
I always thought if
they're homeless, they're not supposed to be in a home. Okay, that's a prank. That was a joke. I would probably even like someone I've never met. I'll never let you in my home.
If someone knocked on the door and said, "Hey, I got a job interview. Can I take a shower?"
No. What? You look fine. Put on the blind.
What if they said, "Can I use your garden hose for a shower?"
All right. But if he sat there and I'll tell you this, he turned on the door, and if he was like pulled out like actual tiny shampoos, I'd probably open up the door. All right, come on in.
See, he just fell for it. Then now he pulls out a knife.
At least he'd smell good, killing me, I guess. That's a commitment, though. I'm washing myself.
Yeah, in the hopes that you'd have a change of heart.
Yeah, exactly. I feel oddly compelled to let this man in. One of the most contentious parts of the working for Hobby Lobby is that, unlike basically every other retailer, they refuse to use barcodes. Really? You think it has to do with satanic? It's probably satanic symbols and barcodes. Yeah. Back in the 1980s, people started to fear that UPC barcodes actually hid secret references to the mark of the beast.
But these numbers are always sandwiched in between these three spacer symbols, here, here, and here. Two vertical lines with the space between them. But here's what's strange. Whenever the number 6 appears in a barcode, it's also represented by two vertical lines with the space between them.
A rumor had begun to spread that Hobby Lobby, following the evangelical Christian values, feared this and decided to do everything manually as a precaution. According to David Green himself, however, it's simply because he feels that it's more accurate to have humans take inventory rather than trust computers. Does he understand how computers work? Despite this claim, it actually just makes ringing customers up way more time-consuming and tedious because they have to manually type in each price on top of memorizing their unique discounts that change constantly. Once again, I don't believe that's even real discounts. One 6-year-old new employee found herself making small mistakes trying to learn the system, which led to a large man screaming at her and threatening to beat her ass in the parking lot over a single candle he was trying to purchase, which I want to say was a bit excessive by the man. Come on. Unless he was just sitting there, she's like, oh, God, I don't know. And he's like, can I just leave?
No, no.
Megan has he's like, I'll kick your ass.
Stop yelling at me. I'm pregnant.
What if she was there for like literally 20 minutes trying to ring up one candle?
I'd leave. I would leave. I would leave after 3 minutes. I would leave after 2 minutes, Nick. Do I need the Hobby Lobby candle? What flavor is it? What scent could it be? It's cinnamon. It's cinnamon. And I'd be like, I'll just fucking go buy some Febreze.
Sorry, I'm pregnant. He's kicking.
It's like,
whoa, whoa. He's singing.
Like, huh? Well, your baby's doing what?
He sings to me.
Can you imagine a 6-year-old woman pregnant? She looks at you with her fucking swollen ass belly. You're like ringing it up or whatever. And she's just like,
it's not good. There's something bad inside me.
I gotta tell you, that'd keep my ass up at night. Are you kidding me?
He's saying your name.
The guy's like, I haven't told you my name. She's like,
Stephen.
Can you imagine being right?
Hunter.
Man, that's why he's starting to beat her ass. I'll fucking kill you.
I can't die. I just can't feel. My soul was burned a long time ago.
That'd be so fun. I'm actually scared myself. Like, can you imagine that? An old pregnant woman being like, my soul was burned long.
It was burned in a lake of fire.
That's worth an ass kicking.
Before she even talks. One man who had been working there for 10 years was abruptly fired because he patted a customer's arm to console them because he was disappointed that he had to wait a day to get his photos framed. I don't want to say, don't touch me. At one Hobby Lobby location, an employee was asked to jump into a trash compactor to fix it after their poor maintenance caused it to break down. Hey, Hunter, quick tip. I'll pop me a quick tip. Hey, don't jump in a trash compactor, okay? Just gonna repeat that again. Don't jump in a trash compactor. Don't put your arm in a don't go near a trash compactor if you don't have to. I saw a guy break his fingers on one time. They had it was to compress cardboard boxes down, you know, to flatten them. And like people because like when they go down, some boxes start to come out. So you like press them back in. When he was pressing them back in, it caught and he couldn't grab it. And
did they come off?
Yeah. Or no, they kept on, but they were mangled. They had to be removed. So he's fingerless. What was funny enough though is we called him Shaka Bra because these left. So they was all stubs and they would do that. We're like, yo, 15 years old, not understanding the real situation.
What job was this?
It's like a grocery store. It's common for employees to be injured on the job, especially when working in stock room doing physical labors. One man, however, found that the company was unwilling to accept injuries they'd caused. Neil Roberts was shocked to find out that the company hired a new slew of private investigators to confirm his back injury was real before offering him workman comp. $8 billion company. Got an investor, Inspector Gadget, whatever there. One investigator took things a step too far when he tried to sneak a GPS tracking device onto his vehicle. He was also followed and photographed for a long period of time. I was going to say bad investigators so they know he's being photographed. Tell it, boys. One of the most obnoxious things that Hobby Lobby seems to be known for is stalking and profiling. Did not see that coming. One video showcases two employees burying their heads in clothing racks to spy on another customer for 10 minutes.
It's the inspector.
I'm telling you, it's the Inspector Gadget thing. Go Gadget subtlety. A lot of people who speak out about being followed often just so happen to be people of color who, or those who have tattoos. And because of this, Hobby Lobby is accused of profiling people who just don't fit the description of clean-cut evangelical Christians. Why aren't you following them? Said the pregnant old woman. She's fine. I'm more worried about you. This pales in comparison to one of the wildest stories to come out from the Green family. What I'm referring to is the Museum of the Bible. The Museum of the Bible was created in 2010 by the Green family and officially launched in 2017, costing upwards of $500 million. The goal, according to the nonprofit behind it, is to bring to life the living word of God, to tell its compelling story of preservation, and to inspire confidence in the absolute authority and reliability of the Bible. Part of what makes the museum so impressive is that it contained thousands upon thousands of historical objects and artifacts. Many of these artifacts were being gathered by David's son since as far back as 2009. The fact that they were able to acquire so many in a span of 6 to 7 years was incredibly suspicious. That's pretty suspicious. Very, very suspicious. How'd you get that? David, how'd you get that? The truth eventually came to light. In less than a year after opening to the public, Hobby Lobby, one of the main donors, was fined $3 million for illegally importing thousands of unique artifacts. One of the items claimed to be illegally purchased was a 3,500-year-old clay tablet known as the Gilgamesh Dream Tablet, which was acquired in 2014. It was soon understood that many other objects, like the supposed Dead Sea Scroll fragments in their possession, were forged and purchased without properly proving their authenticity. Over time, more and more items had to be returned from the museum to both Iraq and Greece, and out of 40,000 artifacts the museum originally boasted, around 13,000 were returned. And while the museum now promises to properly authenticate its pieces and respect the acquisition process going forward, it's still heavily criticized today for its shady behavior. Others simply hate the museum as they believe its purpose is less about historical and religious education and more about trying to brainwash people into becoming a Christian, which they refuse. I just want to say too, I think it's so funny that they're just like, I didn't think it was sharp. I didn't know I should. I thought that was Jesus Christ. It's just a dead guy's body. Also, the Dead Sea Scrolls. I read those, like I thought those like were those are like on tour. Like that's like something. Have you ever heard of those? I saw they were in like they were like the show in Kansas City where like behind all this glass and stuff. But it was like I don't think they're just like, all right, fine, we'll sell them. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure like it's probably like some kind of government owns them or some shit like that. I don't know. If there's anything to take away from this video, it's that Hobby Lobby is surely one of the stranger retail stores we've covered. At least at the Goodwill outlets, you know what you're getting right off the bat, right? Insane people scrounging for a deal. With Hobby Lobby, there's this uncomfortable feeling that there are strange things happening behind the scenes. But if you want cheaply printed AI art and a unique crucifix for every day of the week, go nuts. Just make sure you look over your shoulder because someone's probably watching you. We will see you in the next one, guys. Hey, praise God.
Hallelujah.
Loving the series so far. The male lead asked for permission a bit too much. Could have done without it, TBH. 5 stars.
This book is amazing. Absolutely loved it. I'm leaving snail trails all over my apartment. Perfection. 5 stars.
Oh, I absolutely loved it. I'm never looking at my German Shepherd the same way again. Blushing emoji, 5 stars.
No, you can't monetize this video. Are you dense? It's literally just porn.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on and sit on down because today we're talking about books. Or we're actually kind of talking about smut. Oh, God. Book talk is a crazy thing that has taken over TikTok. You ever see women jump around, you know, or they do that silent review thing where they're like... and they show off 7 different books that they read in 1 month because how do you have that much time? I feel like a idiot every time I watch these. Knowledge. Who the has enough time to read this many books? I don't think I've actually read a full book since like high school. Real talk. I've read like comics. You don't count comics as a fucking book. Yeah, manga. Yeah. But basically, book talk has made reading cool. Women get to come together and talk about the books they like. I love that book. I've never read that book. I'm gonna put it on my buy list. I'm gonna read it. Or sometimes people just like to act like they read books, but really they just put it up on a shelf and then they color coordinate it like red, blue, green, yellow. And it's an aesthetic thing, like Dr. Seuss's house or something. I don't know, if I walked in a library and I saw that, I would be like, there's no way. And then, you know, you have people who are very excited about books, and then you have people who are weeping. I mean, weeping over books, which begs the question again. It's kind of the whole idea of you not crying, or you are sobbing, and then you set up your phone to record yourself crying for community engagement with book talk. Is that weird? I don't know. And here's the thing. I want to say this. It's ignorant of me to say this because I haven't been a part of a community where people do that, right? So this could be a normal thing where people are like, oh, it's normal and it's kind of funny. We're laughing at ourselves with the camaraderie that we have. I could see that, dude. Whenever Vinnie Paul died, the drummer of Pantera, I cried. I called my friend sobbing. Oh, fuck it, he's dead! Like that the whole time.
That's a person, and you're not like setting up the camera, calling your.
I'm trying to be devil's advocate, Nick. All right, I don't want all these b****s being mad at me. Okay, I thought, you know, a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, f you, Hunter. What do you know? I know when people are a little nutty. That's a little nut. But book talk does have a dark side, and the dark side is women evolving, transforming, mutating to recommend smut. And because of this, we have seen the rise of smut talk. Oh my God.
You won't ever find a guy like
Cover your mouth in a second. I promise you're not gonna yell for help.
No! Listen to me. No! You will never forget me. You really don't.
No! Today's video is sponsored by Magic Spoon. You know, I've been trying to eat a little better lately, and it's hard because some days I'm still left hungry. My big belly, it aches. Oh, God. But that's how I came across Magic Spoon. Their high-protein, zero-sugar cereal fits right into my diet and gives me the boost I need. With 14 grams of protein and a delicious crunch, Magic Spoon makes a perfect studio snack or a pre-workout meal. Yeah. Magic Spoon is also a fun trip down memory lane to all the cereals you used to eat as a kid, but can't anymore. Cocoa is my personal favorite, but they have other tasty options as well, such as fruity, peanut butter, cinnamon, and even birthday cake. Oh, and your candles. Use my code PAPAMEAT or click the link in the description to try Magic Spoon today and get 5 whole buckaroos off. Magic Spoon is so confident in their product that it's backed with 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money. No questions asked. So click the link in the description and go to magicspoon.com/papameat for $5 off. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring the video, and back to the video. The hashtag smut talk has been searched over 4 billion times and is growing in popularity very quickly within the book talk community. People hear, oh, book talk, what is this about? And then you figure out that this is people being a little horny. Don't point at yourself, dude. Don't point at yourself, Nick. There's a TikTok that has 1 million likes where it's just like the Grim Reaper can f like a god or something. And it's like girls, you know, whenever they cut themselves out or it's like a green screen, they're just like, yeah, okay, give it some of that, Nick. Which I will say this, I'm gonna die on this hill. The people that consume this shit are the people that are the stingiest in bed too.
Starfish.
The smut side of the book sphere, so to speak, is not new. No. Do you remember a little book called 50 Shades of Grey? 50 Shades of Grey is probably the most notorious erotic fiction, and it's heralded as the book that brought spicy books into the mainstream. Girls getting a little goopy down below, a little swamp fever at work. Well, every time I think of 50 Shades of Grey too, I always think of Gilbert Gottfried reading 50 Shades of Grey.
Are you
to the sting, but I'd really like to claim your ass.
There was the meme around the time it was coming out because it was so popular that like even during the movie, people were leaving cucumbers with condoms on them. There's that really image that circulated of the woman who she went to the grocery store. She only bought 50 Shades of Grey and one cucumber. Before 50 Shades of Grey, bookstores had a small section of erotica, but now they have full walls and aisles dedicated to it, which I don't think is wrong, Nick. I don't think is wrong. The problem I see with all this stuff is that people, they don't just come out and own it. They're like, it's literature. Oh, it's book talk. I love reading books. Why can't people just come out and just be like, I just want to be f***ing chubbed up all day? Can't say that as a guy. Double standard much? The girl's sitting there reading something next to me, Court of Thorns or whatever the f*** it is. And if I had a big Penthouse magazine and I was like, oh, so I'm the bad guy now. And you know, here's the thing. When I was younger, my mom, you used to be a little more Puritan, right? Women had there was little book stands you could spin. It's like, it's always the same thing. It's like woman with man holding or is behind her. It's like a fantasy novel. And inside they just talk about deep f***ing. That's all they do. Every time the cash register was always just like, my mom was reading that litigiously.
Good girl.
Does that make sense? Please do not say good girl about my mom, dude. My God.
2nd grade, there's this book, Big T-Rex. Partly why I bought it. But then there's a girl on an ATV, her titties were like, you could see them through the shirt.
So let's dive into the world of book talk and see all the horror that goes on there. Come with me. Come. First, we're going to start off with a notoriously popular one called Fourth Wing. This is written by Rebecca Yarros, and it's a #1 best-selling author. Just like every other book I see on the stores, it's a #1 bestseller. One of the most recommended book series on Book Talk is Empyrean by Rebecca Yarros. The first book in the series is The Fourth Wing. It has a 4.58 on Goodreads, with over 1.7 million ratings and 232,000 reviews. Here is the synopsis. Fourth Wing is a fantasy romance novel set in a brutal military college for dragon riders. The story follows Violet Sorengale, a young woman who is forced by her commanding general mother to join the Riders Quadrant instead of living a quiet life among books and history. Just like my book talk. She's just like me. It features a strong romantic subplot between Violet and Xaden Ryerson, a powerful and attractive wing leader.
Okay, this is kind of turning me on.
If there was a GoPro under my desk, we would be in a lot of trouble. Somebody was good enough to upload their emotional turmoil and their emotional stages while reading this piece of literature.
This is me before reading Fourth Wing. They are going absolutely. Don't fight it anymore. He's always wanted her. Oh my God, what's going on? This cannot be happening. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, I hate this.
I'm telling you, once again, if I'm able to do the joke of like, don't put this in. The first comment is, I cried for an hour because of Liam. I wish I knew what that meant. Editor, put just who is Liam and what happened?
Man, I'm dead.
Destroyed my soul! Oh my God! God! No, because after that I couldn't do it. Full on sobbing. For real. Mother is mothering. You know what's kind of pisses me off about this? It isn't even the emotional response, right? The cringe, right? Because I can sympathize with somebody giving themselves over a bit. No, I'm fucking pissed because I can't be a part of a community like this. I don't think I like anything enough to really be a part of that.
What if they made a Magic the Gathering erotic fiction?
If they made a Magic the Gathering erotic fiction, I would unironically read the shit out of that, and I would be laughing my ass off. Here are some of the reviews. I just want to read some of the reviews on Goodreads of what Fourth Wing is. I need the next book now! I cannot gather my thoughts and get my points out coherently right now. Like, how can I even write this review and explain how much I love this book? I swear, this book had me in the biggest fucking chokehold. 2 chapters in! I am obsessed with this book! The romance, oh my God. The romance was perfect, chef's kiss. Enemies to lovers, splendid, beautiful, it had me going feral. The tension was everything. It's the perfect build-up, and the payoff is amazing once it happens. That was Brooke's review. That was crazy. I mean, I can't believe she reviewed that much. If Throne of Glass, Divergent, Aragon, and Zodiac Academy had a baby, this is better. I am utterly obsessed. Mark my words, this is the next big romantasy series. Zayden Ryerson, this man has easily become one of the top book boyfriends of all time. He's a man who is loyal, caring, and wise. And the way this man obsesses with Violet, damn. The things I would let this man do to me. These are intense reviews, but you know these people are writing this with no emotion on their face. The things I would let this man do to me. She's just down, she's like, I want to say we do have a couple excerpts from this book.
I think we should preface, there are entire videos that people post on Book Talk of just the spicy chapters.
I knew it was coming, but it still got me. People post entire videos of just the scenes, which at the same time, I understand. It's like the most titillating thing, but it's crazy that people can just be like that openly horny together. With would you say the parallel to guys is people just being like, that's hot?
Yeah. You know, it's like similar to guys like Stella Blade or Stellar Blade.
What is Stellar Blade?
Oh, it's that like anime girl. People were going crazy on Twitter saying, don't censor her! Don't censor her!
Stop censoring her! Leave her be! If we're going to talk about these books, we at least need to read some of the spicy passages so we can at least get an understanding of what these books entail, okay? So here's a couple excerpts from The Fourth Wing. Well, this is from chapter 30. This is the first excerpt. He captures my wrist in one hand and holds them prisoner above my head.
Violet?
Zayden groans against my mouth. The plea in his tone floods my veins with a whole different form of power. Knowing he's just affected by our attraction, I am in a rush.
This isn't what you want.
It's exactly what I want. I counter. I want to replace the anger with lust, the death of the day with the pulse-pounding assurance of my own life. And I know he's capable of delivering all that and more. You said to do whatever I need. I arc my back, pressing the tips of my butt against his chest. His breathing changes, and there's a war in his eyes that I'm determined to win. That's pretty hot. That's pretty hot. Just, getting around. That's not too bad, though. I can see the kind of like little play to that. Here's excerpt 2. Our mouths collide, and the kiss is hot and hard and completely out of our control. No more holding back. Not anymore. I reach between us, guiding the head of his to my entrance. I did not know it went this hard. Some people say it's not smut. I did not realize it got this is graphic. Also the head of his cock. But this position is shit. He's considerably taller than the desk, and if I wasn't so desperate for him, I'd laugh. His biceps flex as he lifts me by the back of my thighs, and I wrap my arms around his neck and my legs around his waist. Our mouths meet in a ravenous kiss as my back hits the armoire, but I barely blink, too consumed with the stroke of his tongue, the feel of him between my thighs.
Are you alright?
He asks. I'm fine. You won't break me. He pushes inside that first tight inch of me, and I gasp at the fit, the stretch. What? So is this on Amazon? You said this is on Amazon? That's pretty... I go to Barnes & Noble, I'm just shaking the whole time. I'm flustered. I didn't realize, Nick. I didn't know.
That one is the most tame.
What do you mean that one's most tame?
They get worse.
The Fourth Wing is the most tame of these? Oh my god, okay. Here is another popular series on Book Talk. The first novel in the series has 4.19 rating with 2.8 million ratings and 220,000 reviews. That's way more than the last one. A Court of Thorn and Roses, or Okatar, as people say, by Sarah J. Maas. It's a fantasy romance novel that follows the journey of Fair Archinson, a mortal huntress who is taken to the magical land of Perthian after killing a fairy wolf. Fear and Tamlin's relationship is central to the story, and it includes several explicit scenes. Which here's some reviews, which I love reading these reviews. This one is from Maria. I'm speechless. What am I supposed to say after this? Am I supposed to write a coherent review with vital points as to why this book was f***ing amazing? I can't even talk right now. I'm speechless. I want the second book in my hands, but my order still hasn't come. I'm ready to go to f***ing England myself and purchase it. Kids, I'm literally dying here. Holy f***ing shit. I shipped these two so hard I can't even breathe. When he sent her away, I wanted to scream. He gave her a good f***ing and left her hanging. My God, Maria, that is unhinged to say right after you said, kids, I'm literally dying here. The kids in the back, they're in the kids part of Barnes & Noble, like hiding. She's like running around. Where the kids at? Where are they at? You don't even know how horny I am right now. We do have excerpts again from Okatar, A Court of Thorn and Roses.
I put that review in because this is that scene that she's talking about.
Oh, this is the scene. Okay, so we get the scene that she's talking about. Okay, chapter 27, and apparently they say this is the spiciest part of the book. So, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. He leaned in forward and kissed me lightly. Not forever. And though I knew it was a lie, I put my arms around his neck and kissed him. He pulled me onto his lap, holding me tightly against him, and his lips parted mine. I became aware of every pore in my body when his tongue entered my mouth. Though the horror of Resin's magic still tore at me, I pushed Tamlin onto the bed, straddling him, pinning him as if he would somehow keep me from leaving, as if it would make time stop entirely. His hands rested on my hips, and their heat singed me through the thin silk of my nightgown. My hair fell around our face like a curtain. I couldn't kiss him fast enough, hard enough, to express the rushing need within me. He growled softly, and deftly flipped us over, spreading me beneath him as he wrenched his. And I dragged my hands through his hair, savoring the silken smoothness. He traced the arc of my hip bones lingering at the edge of the undergarments. He breathed my name onto my chest, one of his hands exploring the plane of my torso, rising up to the slope of my... I trembled, anticipating the feel of his hand there, and his mouth found mine again, and his fingers stopped just below. With one long claw, he shredded through the silken lace, and my undergarment fell away in pieces. The claw retracted, and his kiss... his wolf claws can retract? The claw retracted, and his kiss deepened as his fingers slid between my legs. I'm telling you, dude, we're getting swampy in here. I'm telling you, it's about ready to be a whole bag of melted jelly beans before too long. I wanted him now. I wanted the barriers of our clothing to vanish. I wanted to taste his sweat. Wanted to become full of him. Don't stop! I gasped out. He lunged, a beast freed of its tether. We were a tangle of limbs and teeth, and I tore at his clothes until they were on the floor, then tore at his skin until I marked down his back, his arms. His claws were out, but devastatingly gentle on my hips as he slid down between my thighs and feasted on me. Stopping only as I shuddered and fractured. I was moaning his name when he sheathed himself inside me in a powerful, slow thrust that had me splintering around him. I want to tell you something. A friend of mine, his wife gave my wife this book, and she'd never read it, and I hope to God it stays that way. How am I supposed to follow this up, dude? Motherfucker has retractable fingernails and stuff like that. It is going to be a sad day when she reads this book. We moved together, unending and wild and burning. And when I went over the edge the next time, he roared and went with me. I fell asleep in his arms, and when I awoke a few hours later, we made love again, lazily and intently, a slow burning smolder to the wildfire of earlier. And then he fucking bails. There's the reality check, women. You know what happened is actually they were like, and they lived happily ever after. I bet you the fucking author, what's her name again? Somebody left her hanging. Don't you want to stay? And the guy's like, no. Dude, that wasn't as bad as the Fourth Wing.
This next one.
Okay, all right. This next one up is called Icebreaker, which Icebreaker by Hannah Grace is a contemporary romance novel that combines elements of sports, romance, college life, and personal growth. Okay. That sounds awesome. The story revolves around the unlikely relationship between a figure skater and a hockey player, set against the backdrop of a university setting. I hate that. She's a competitive figure skater. He's captain of the hockey team. I hate this. I hate this already. Why can't he just be like, he just plays hockey? He's the best of the best. Despite Anastasia's Despite Anastasia's best efforts to not fall for a hockey player, but fall she does. Here's some of the reviews.
Shut the f*** up! This is 100% one of my favorite romance books ever! I love it so much! I was smiling wide while reading most of it.
So, Sophia. Here's some of the excerpts, all right? Chapter 9. He wastes no time sinking his hand into the hair at the nape of my neck, gripping tightly. His free hand slips under my body and palms my. All right, you're not wrong. We're starting off fast, making me moan into his mouth. What is up with people moaning into? Nate is everywhere all at once.
It's just like the movie.
Nate is everywhere all at once. All I can do is hold on to him and take it. And when his mouth travels down my neck, sucking and nipping, I'm practically panting.
You sure?
You have a pen and paper for me to draw you a map?
I'm making jokes. Why am I making jokes? Why do I find how unimpressed with me he looks right now so funny?
And hot?
I'm about to open my mouth to tell him to hurry up when his tongue runs down inside my folds. I'm actually wondering how much we can actually put in this. The cover of this is extremely deceptive. A loud, desperate moan echoes around the room. I don't even realize the noise came from me until I feel his shoulders move because the jackass laughs. Fingers tickle up my back of my thighs until they can't go any farther. His huge hands sink into my ass, squeezing at the same time. He sucks my clit into his mouth in a way that makes me feel like I'm floating. Giving her the fucking old sour, hey, the green apple Jolly Rancher treatment. One of his hands moves from my ass cheeks, and when I look down, a pair of brown eyes are staring back at me. What the f? It's like a fucking it's like an eyewitness animal documentary. Remember that song? He's sitting there. Oh, hey, Nate, you about ready to make me act up. They stay burning into me. Watch me closely as two of his fingers slide into me, finding my G in 2.5 seconds. The feeling keeps building. Hands tug harder at his hair as I cry out. Stiletto heels digging into the hard muscle of his back as I desperately try to move my hips to ride his finger. Nothing, I whimper. I'm wound so impossibly tired I can't breathe. Nothing. I'm going to... I don't even get the words out as every part of me spasms and I scream! Everything tingling and throbbing as I tighten around him, bucking and thrashing, pressure and heat flooding my entire body. Removing his fingers and mouth, he leans back so he can look up at me properly. Wearing the smuggest expression I've ever seen as he sucks his fingers into his mouth, not once breaking eye contact. Oh my God! Wow. That's chapter 7? That is early on, or chapter 9. Wow, and we still have more to read. I don't know what I'm supposed to tell. That one got me good. I don't know if they're gonna get any better, but here's we go. We're gonna keep going forward here. We gotta keep pushing on. My trader's hips are moving on their own accord. A desperate whimper slipping from my parted lips as Nate slowly and deliberately rolls his hips forward. Oh, Nick, this one's taking it out of me, man. You only like me when you're drunk and horny.
Can you be a good girl and be quiet?
I nod, prepared to finally feel his long, thick fingers easing, throbbing between my legs. Dude, the music is still blasting. Our friends paying attention to anything but us, and the familiar red-hot pleasure shoots up my spine. Shower scene. We can't. Well, this video is. There's no way it's monetized. The video has to be age-gated by this point, right? We're riding an extremely thin wire here, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Let me tell you, there's thousands of these books, but we just want to end it on this one. The Kiss Quotient. Here's the synopsis. Stella Lane, an econometrician with Asperger's, believes she needs practice in romance and intimacy. She hires Michael Fan, a handsome escort, to teach her about relationships. It is rated a 3.9 with 500,000 ratings and 50,000 reviews, which we just want to do an excerpt from chapter 8, and it goes as followed.
How should I? What should I? Maybe I...
She gripped the collar of her shirt.
Should I undress?
I don't know. It's not in the lesson plan. Once the words were out, he wanted to take them back. Her list annoyed the hell out of him, but he didn't need to belittle her.
Are there parts I should reword? I'd be happy to change things.
She turned back to the lesson plan and skimmed her fingers over the lines at the thoughtful pace. The ball of irritation in his chest loosened. He couldn't be annoyed with her when she didn't understand.
Like a puppy.
It's like a fucking puppy. God. Well, I can't be mad. She doesn't know what she's thinking and saying. She has Asperger's. God damn it. He usually preferred women with bigger lusher hips and rounded thighs. He liked their softness, the way they filled his hands. That was not Stella. She was a rickety bitch, thin like a paper. Take your bra off. His voice came out rougher than he intended, but he couldn't help it. He was dying to see the rest of her.
It's not necessary. They're not my best feature. They're small.
Dude, I'm getting the Asperger voice down good, aren't I? A rough hand skated down her stomach and slipped beneath the waistband of her panties. Clever fingers caressed her with bold strokes. Her body clenched hard, clenched even harder when he pressed a finger deep, filling her. She climbed quick and sharp toward release, and it scared the hell out of her. Ah! Ah! She clawed at his wrist.
Stop. Stop, I'm not ready.
Okay, I'm f***ing calling it there. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. There's no way in hell this video, you're even going to see this video. It's going to be age gate. We're going to have to delete it probably. I don't know. All I got to say is, listen, ladies, I get it. The thing is that to women, I'm reading it in my voice, so it makes you laugh. If I would read this alone, I would laugh, right? But I could see people, if they really got into this shit, I could see them being like, yeah. To me though, I'm curious. Well, okay, I'm not gonna lampoon everybody onto one thing, but I would say the majority of men would probably think they wouldn't like get into it the same way. Especially the commitment of having to read a whole book just to get your nut off. Come on, dude. You know what I mean? I mean, those were abhorrently cringy. To be fair, and the thing is, there's no way to take them out of context. It's a scene. You know what what I mean? You know what it is. It's just, I don't know. But I get it. And I gotta tell you one thing. There's a lot of worse things to, I don't know, be a part of. Smut talk, if you're a part of that, and you're throwing yourself on your bed because you're all horned up and you have to tell other millennial women about how your fucking beanbag is... Do what you gotta do. But I gotta say, very funny. I did not know it was this severe. I gotta tell you, I'm not gonna lie. This was a polarizing recording. I don't even know who I am anymore.
You're sweating, dude.
I'll see you next time. That's how I'm gonna end it. The KISS Quotient. What is? Okay. The KISS Quotient, an econometrician. There we go. Stella Lane, an econometrician. Say it again. Econometrician.
Wait, before we get into the video, we're doing a subathon right now on twitch.tv, live right now, all in order to raise money for a new production barn so we can do more sets, more puppets, bigger stuff. We're live. After you watch this, go watch, support the Barnathon. Twitch.com/MeatCanyon. Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? Coming in and sit on down because today we're talking about freaks, or as we like to call people nowadays, TikTokers, or people on Instagram Reels. But before you had entertainment at the little tips of your fingers, we had a little thing in the world called freak shows. That's right. I mean, people I think take for granted how easy it is to see all of the abhorrent, terrible people, not even disfigured, just terrible people out there in the world, right? TikTok, Jack Doherty, that guy who messes with tourists overseas, Johnny Somali. We take for granted how crazy it is that at any time you can watch, I'll give you a link to this. I watched a guy on Instagram Reels the other day. He pulled out his tooth with a wrench. He has 4 teeth left in his mouth. Horrible. You would pay money for that at a freak show. Because back in the day, people actively looked for these things. People wanted to have some kind of weird attraction, some kind of crazy phenomenon they could see, something to break up the mundane nature of their day-to-day life. And that's where the freak shows came in. So today I wanted to go down the dark alleys of the freak show, really see what made people tick back in the day. Because I gotta tell you, if it's anything like, it's gotta be, there's no way it can be as worse as today, but we can at least see. So let's talk about the earliest freak shows, right? It feels weird too. A lot of this is just like obese men. They're like, what a freak! You have to pay a ticket to like watch a guy like eat a cupcake. They're like, oh,
he's 250 pounds.
He's 250 pounds since the Great Depression. How does he do that? You fat f. The concept of freak shows really began as early as the 1500s. These deformities used to be seen as a curse or an indicator of evil spirits, but eventually turned into public curiosity. So I like how back in the day, they're just like a woman with like maybe some facial hair, and they're just like, oh my God, there's a goddamn demon attached to that woman. Which, to be fair, if you're in 1500s, you'd probably think the same thing. You're just like, I don't trust her.
Often these exhibits showcase people with a unique number of limbs or those with dwarfism. For the time, this was surprising to see and would merit paying for the chance to witness it. We're talking about 1500s. The WWE with Andre the Giant, that was the 70s, and people would come out in droves because before the internet, it was all word of mouth, right? So you would have people be like, the guy's 12 feet tall, he weighs 4,000 pounds. And this weird childlike optimism would go in people's heads and they'd be like, oh my God, he must be the biggest person ever. So the same thing applies with people with dwarves or like people that are like, he's the Spider-Man, he has 8 limbs. I could see people being like, are you fucking kidding me? Here, take a chicken, whatever they're paying. I don't know what they're paying with back then. An early example of a quote freak was Lazarus Colorado and his brother Johannes, who hung upside down from his chest. This is a crazy image, dude. Good fucking lord. His brother was a parasitic twin that did not speak and kept his eyes and mouth shut. Dude, if I sat there and I saw a guy, he's like, hello, I'm Lazarus. This is Johannes. And he's just like, he's alive, right? And he's like, he refuses to look at you. Look at me, Johannes! And he's just like, because of his condition, he was unable to make money unless it was in the form of showcasing his deformity or a freak show. Now, this is kind of a sick way. The first guy who's just like, yeah, I don't give a pay to see me. Look at me. It costs $1. Look at me. Spectators would note that Johannes would occasionally open his eyes. Like he's just upside down. He's just like, that'd be creepy. If I was a kid, that would scare the shit. If I was a 15th century, like Victorian child, I'd be like, hide behind my mom. The two of them even made an appearance with King Charles I in the early 1640s. At one point in Lazarus' life, he was put on trial for murder after smashing a bottle on the head of a drunken man, acting in self-defense. Dude, you definitely know that guy was just like, let me fucking pick at him, let me see his cock. Lazarus is like, God damn you, sir. I like to think Lazarus is like a very well put together guy. You son of a... He was charged with a death sentence. God! Jesus. But it raised the question of whether or not it was moral to take the life of Johannes, who had done nothing wrong. Yeah, Johannes is just like, upside down. Death to Lazarus, but keep Johannes alive somehow. He's innocent. Look at him.
Yeah, that's a death sentence.
The death sentence to you. After showing records of the two of them being baptized, Johannes was deemed to indeed have a soul, leading to both of their freedom. So basically just like, fine, throw the freaks in some water. He has a soul. We'll let him live. It'd be funny if the next day Lazarus just busted another bottle over another guy's head. You son of a bitch. Hit him again. Or we can talk about the history of P.T. Barnum and his infamous freak show. Even if you haven't heard of P.T. Barnum, you've probably seen, I would assume, pictures or... This is like the most infamous freak show around. This is the world famous P.T. Barnum freak show.
Also Barnum and Bailey's Circus.
Barnum and Bailey's Circus. You heard of that? I didn't. Nick just said it. I've never heard of that.
Really?
No. While freak show acts technically started in the 16th century, it didn't begin to see widespread appreciation and popularity until the 1800s. 200 goddamn years of Lazarus beating people with bottles and Johannes being like, Oh, do you think he could speak, Johannes?
He said he couldn't speak. His mouth was shut.
He had to feed the little motherfucker on his chest, right? Johannes, eat the gruel. And Lazarus has to lay on his back and like feed him up like that. It'd be a crazy session too. Can you imagine getting back shots from Lazarus and all of a sudden Johannes' hands are just like,
He's feeling it, titty.
looking like Hector Salamanca, whatever, for Breaking Bad. Lazarus is like, look at me, actor. Look at me, actor. Okay, we gotta move on. Amongst those in circus industry, P.T. Barnum was known as one of the most influential of his time. You may recognize the name for the movie The Greatest Showman with Hugh Jackman that definitely no one saw. In the movie, P.T. Barnum is portrayed as a fun-loving hero that takes in people with unfortunate abnormalities and celebrates them. But in reality, P.T. Barnum was an incredibly selfish man that took advantage of people around him from the very start of his career. Of course, the 1800s fucking freak show runner is not a good guy. I like how people are like, what? P.T. Barnum wasn't a good guy? He's like, Dolphin Boy, get in the tank! He's like, I actually don't know how to swim. Get in the fucking tank! His name was Phineas Taylor Barnum, and he was born in 1810 and proved himself to be a natural entrepreneur. Before he was 21, he was publishing his own newspaper and running a general store, as well as a lottery business. How the f do you start that? Buy a ticket. I'll call some numbers later, maybe you'll win. It's like, yeah, I trust you. He entered the world of entertainment at 25 when he bought the rights to the exhibit of an elderly African-American singer named Joyce Heath. She claimed to be the 161-year-old nurse of George Washington. Word? While many believed this claim was laughable, Barnum's impeccable marketing skills made her a cultural phenomenon. It's kind of interesting. The guy's just like, yeah, people will laugh at you, but like, there's gonna be some people who are like, really? Even today, if someone's just like, I knew George, he was my neighbor, there's gonna be some guy be like, are you fucking kidding me? What was he like? Was he cool? You're like, it's been 200 years, sir. It's been almost 300 years.
Also, I think people would be like, oh, that's preposterous. I got to buy a ticket to prove them wrong.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to go and mock them to their face. And it's just gonna be like probably like a 65-year-old woman who's just like, she wins you over. Hello. Oh, she's very nice. He had her working 10 to 12 hours a day. He had her working 10 to 12-hour days until she eventually died at the age of 80. Barnum exploited her to the very end, publicly displaying her autopsy for 50 cents to reveal her actual age as a final performance. What a dick, dude. 200-year-old woman, come see how old she really is. It's just like, she was 80. You got duped! The exit's right over there. In 1841, Barnum created the Barnum's American Museum in New York City, which began the golden age of the freak show. This is eerily similar to Zach Baggins. Is it not? He starts off as a ghost hunter and all of a sudden now he has a haunted museum. What's gonna be next, dude? What is gonna be next, actually?
What if he actually captures a real ghost?
I was gonna say he starts a brothel.
Oh.
Zach Baggins Suck and Fuck Festival. You can come suck my dick if you want and get haunted. I don't know. The exhibits consisted of various items like taxidermied animals and fake historical artifacts. They were often referred to as dime museums. One historical artifact was a trunk of a tree that Jesus and his disciples supposedly sat under. He's like, that's it. I think he sat like this. Well, is it? Yeah.
How'd they get that from Jerusalem?
It's a dime. Yeah, how'd you bring that over from Jerusalem? Don't worry about it. The hawk guy helped me. It's like a guy with like covered in feathers. Another was known as Fiji mermaid. Rather than being the mummified remains of an actual mermaid, it was simply the torso and head of a monkey sewn to the back of a fish. I've heard of this one. The monkey thing, it looks rad. Looks very cool. P.T. Barnum's like a master. He's actually a master crafter, and they're just like, you should just become an artist. He's like, no! I'm a showman, you see. I have to make my money my only way I can. It's like impeccable work. P.T. Barnum, while incredibly talented, was very driven by greed and was often quick to exploit and deceive people for financial gain. He was commonly attributed with the phrase, there's a sucker born every minute. That's a fucking good phrase though, isn't it? For like a seedy, like, there's a sucker born every minute just for me to penny pinch him. His unapologetic exploitation can be highlighted with the biggest breakout exhibit, his Human Curiosities, consisting of individuals with rare conditions or physical deformities. This would become what is known as the Freak Show. The performers were marketed as freaks of nature or simply freaks. Which now we can finally get into the freak show acts, dude. Let's actually start looking at what these people are. Starting with General Tom Thumb. Born in 1838, Charles Stratton lived with pituitary dwarfism, meaning his body was unable to properly produce growth hormones. This heavily impaired his development. Hasbulla. Have you seen the video of Mike Tyson kissing Hasbulla? How creepy is that?
Did you see he got interviewed and he's like, I thought he was a kid. That's what I do to kids.
I don't know, man. That's how I am with children.
Yeah, I didn't know if you actually knew it.
Like 26 years old.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was a 30-year-old man.
He had stopped growing at 6 months old and only grew to a maximum of 3 feet 4 inches in his lifetime. It's kind of tall. Taller than Hasbulla, right? When P.T. Barnum was made aware of this man's condition, he saw an opportunity. He urged his parents to let him take Stratton under his wing in order to turn him into an entertainer. Now they're just like, let me take your baby, man, and I'll be able to produce gold with him. They're like, okay. I imagine the 1800s too, they're just like, you could have just walked in and grabbed him. Take him off my back, literally. He's on my back like a seed tick. Because of his abnormal height, finding a job was no easy task. So he took him up on his offer at only 4 years old. That's actually, I thought he was a full-grown man. He's just a child. How do you even know that there's something wrong with him? It wasn't the size of a goddamn, like a volleyball. Let me take your ball, child. 1840, how did he hear about him?
He must have been walking by. Ooh.
Oh my good God. Look at you, little man.
I'm 4.
That's the strangest 4-year-old I've ever seen. He learned to sing and dance. He learned to sing and dance while dressed in elaborate outfits. He was also known for his impersonations of famous people and was regarded as a talented comedian. He had talent. He's just like, stop doing the Rockefeller impression and get back in your monkey outfit. God damn it. Under his stage name, General Tom Thumb toured with Barnum for 3 years and made a fortune from his success. He even joined Barnum as a business partner. Damn, this looks like we're getting in there. In 1884, Barnum even went on tour to Europe, bringing Stratton along to perform in front of Queen Victoria. Stratton passed away from a stroke in 1883 at the age of 45. It was reported that 10,000 fans attended his funeral. That's actually kind of sick. I mean, like when I heard the 4-year-old thing, I was like, that's crazy, but don't get me wrong, he exploited the shit out of them. But it seemed like they were actually like in cahoots with each other, or, you know, he seemed like he got a good cut of the pie, hopefully. Which even the smallest cut of the pie would be pretty big for him. Okay. Next up, we have the Bearded Lady. One of the most iconic staples of the old school circus freak show was the Bearded Lady, aka Annie Jones. Born in Virginia in 1865, it was reported that she came out of her mother's womb with a chin covered in hair. Her money-hungry family sought to make money off of their daughter, sending her off to P.T. Barnum's New York exhibit before she was even a year old.
What is up with these parents?
P.T. Barnum was just, he's like goddamn Professor Xavier. He just is like getting like all these like wayward kids. And he's like, well, I have a school for you to be a freak in, my friend. My God, she was showcased in his museum and became a big hit. At a year old? I mean, behind a glass case, we were just like, ew. P.T. Barnum's just like, good girl, here's an apple. Everyone's just Johannes to me. Barnum offered her mother a weekly rate of $150 for a 3-year contract. Damn, that must have been good money, right? Holy shit.
That's a lot of money.
Annie would contrast her masculine features by dressing in extravagant dresses, and even honed her musical skills with the mandolin to elevate her performance. At one point, Annie helped Barnum out as nanny to his children. While she was caring for them, a phrenologist from New York kidnapped her.
I think that's a blood.
A fucking vampire doctor came in and fucking stole her. This man attempted to steal her and add her to his own sideshow exhibit. What? Desperate for the same success, he even claimed Annie was his child. I mean, she can talk. I mean, what? Unless they're all like Giannis. Feverishly braiding hair. Fortunately, things were settled in court and she was returned to her parents. Oh, good. How old was she at this point?
She was watching Barnum's kid at 8 years old.
But she, like, P.T. Barnum's just like, keep the whole house under, don't worry, we're in a bad part of town, watch my kids, please. She's at 8 years old with a full beard. She was one of the first to campaign against the usage of pejorative word freak as a way to refer as sideshow performers. Sadly, she died of tuberculosis in 1902 at the age of 37. Damn, dude. It's kind of sick, though, dude. All these people actually have some kind of, like, they're well-adjusted, respectable people trying to make positive change. Both Stratton and Annie here had positive actions, even at such a young age. Being taken away from your family like that, are you fucking kidding me? And then P.T. Barnum's just like, what do you mean? Freak isn't derogatory.
That's what you are. You're a freak.
You're just what you are. You're a freak. If I was fat, would it be rude to call me fat? Which now it is, I guess. Okay, never mind. Chang and Eng, the original Siamese twins. Chang and Eng Bunker were born in Thailand in 1811. Conjoined at the sternum with both of their livers fused together. Aside from this, they're completely separate organs. Wow, the only thing combining them was just their livers? That's kind of f***ed, right? They had begun touring as a sideshow attraction with a man named Robert Hunter in 1829, going to Boston, London, and New York. They were very successful, and even got to perform for the Prince of Siam. The f*** is Siam at?
Siam.
What's Siam? God, dude, I don't know shit, dude. I'm dumb as fuck. Editor, I don't know. After that, they decided to buy a plantation in North Carolina.
What?
Investing a fortune in the importation of goods. They both got married and had 21 kids between them.
Oh my God.
Damn! I want to become a fucking freak, man. I need to get my life on track. Are you kidding me? Holy hell. Purchasing 18 slaves to take care of their massive family. Well, you know, it was a different time. You know. In 1860, they signed with P.T. Barnum in order to have a wax sculpture of them displayed at his New York museum. They worked together for only a short time. Chang and Eng struggled after the Civil War, no longer being able to rely on slave labor. Different time. Their plantation began turning very little profit, prompting them to consign themselves to the life of the circus with Barnum once more. He's just like, sorry, looks like you had to get rid of your helpers, huh? You want to go on the road? Chang Bunker died in 1874 due to cerebral blood clot after failing to perform an emergency separation surgery. Eng Bunker died as well 3 hours later. That is brutal, dude. All because they didn't want to do the surgery?
No, what happened was Chang died because of the cerebral blood clot. So then they were like, we need to to cut you off because you're gonna
Oh,
die
so they
with
failed.
him.
They failed to perform
Yeah.
it. So they tried to do it, but he died 3 hours later. I see. Cut me off of this bastard. Get him off. Or we can talk about Isaac Sprague. Sprague. I think it's Sprague. The living skeleton. Isaac W. Sprague was born in 1841 in East Bridgewater, Massachusetts. At the age of 12, Isaac suddenly began to lose weight at an incredibly fast rate due to the lack of medical knowledge at the time. Doctors were unable to figure out what was happening. One doctor suggested that it was simply from swimming too much. To have that be a conclusion, he must have been in that fucking pool all day. Or in the water. Isaac! I'm staying out. When he was fully grown, he weighed about 43 pounds and stood at 5'6". Due to this thin frame, he was often low energy.
Maybe that's why he's in the pool.
Yeah, I don't have to walk, I can just float. I like to think that they're just like, you're 43 pounds and you're 5'6". He's like, throws a towel over his shoulder and just walks down to the beach. Like, God damn you, Isaac. He had been working for his father as a shoemaker as well as a grocer. However, at 19, his parents had passed away. He found that he was unfit for most other jobs and struggled making a living. In 1865, P.T. Barnum convinced Isaac to work with him, going so far as to offer $80 a week, which is about $1,300 today. I mean, I was making about $5,000 a month. A little over $5,000 a month. Pretty good. Not bad. Like a living skeleton. I could buy my own pool. Barnum created the stage name The Living Skeleton, and his act became incredibly successful. That is crazy. He's a very thin man. Nice face, though. Damn nice face. It's kind of crazy. I don't see it now. My legs are too fat. Knees are just always so unpleasant to look at, aren't they? Like, especially on skinny people. I don't like it. Strangely enough, imitators were inspired to starve themselves and lose an unhealthy amount of weight just to gain the same level of success that he did as a sideshow act. Isaac eventually married and had 3 children who did not have any of the ailments as their father. I'm telling you, dude, they are putting us all to shame right now, aren't they? Holy hell. He attempted to take a break from the circus work to be with his family, but eventually had to return to make ends meet. It was known that Isaac heavily disliked the job, likely for the constant ridicule he received for his appearance. Yeah. I'd love to sit there and be berated the entire 10, 12 hours a day. Can I please? He had also become too weak to easily perform his job, to the point where he was forced to wear a flask of milk around his neck to make sure he had enough energy throughout the day. Pours in a little tub in front of him. He's like, Isaac, you're supposed to drink it, not swim. Okay. As the show began touring around the world, Isaac developed a bad gambling habit. The money that was meant to support his family was being used to feed his addiction. Can you imagine seeing the little muff got like a blackjack table?
Hit me.
You have 19.
Hit it.
All right, that's a 24. Ah, shit. Gets up out of the table. You can't swim away from this gambling. Okay. In 1882, he was diagnosed with severe muscle atrophy. Harvard Medical School was fascinated by the rare case, offering him $1,000 or $26,000 today to study his body after his death. Not a bad deal. You give me $25,000 up front now? Are you kidding me? I'm not. Yeah. Isaac eventually died at the age of 45 in 1887 from asphyxiation after living his last several years in extreme poverty.
Dang, he just blew that money away.
He did, dude. I'm telling you, you gotta watch out. Hey, who doesn't like playing baccarat, right? Getting a little couple drinks, you ain't playing baccarat. Why not? But Isaac, I mean, can you imagine seeing that little shaky motherfucker at the table? A 2. People aren't even gonna know. People don't know how to play baccarat. Never mind, Esme. But tragedy struck this freak show. While the museum was very successful, a pattern of tragic events pushed Barnum to take his show on the road rather than being confined to a single building. He definitely just burned down his own thing for fire insurance. Let's see. In 1865, Barnum's American Museum was engulfed in flames, destroying the entire property. While no humans lost their lives, it was reported that 2 whales had boiled alive in their tanks.
Look at these. So he was SeaWorld.
His museum had 2 whale tanks. You know, it was something too where they probably were just idle. They can breathe.
Just big enough to put them in.
That's what I'm saying. They're just sitting there like, they can't even move. They're just like, their fins touch the glass. He's like, well, at least they're breathing there. They gotta be happy, right? Hitting the fucking glass really hard. I love you! After it was fully rebuilt, another fire had destroyed the property in 1868, only 3 years later. The water used to extinguish the flames had frozen over, covering the building in icicles and inadvertently creating a dazzling spectacle. It does look pretty sick, honestly. Barnum decided it was not worth to keep rebuilding, opting to take the show on the road instead. It seems something like, is there an insurance scam there?
I bet he was a competitor.
That's what I'm saying. Well, yeah, if people are starving themselves, some fucking anemic guy walking up, I haven't had a fucking piece of bread in 3 days. You.
Barnum. But because of these fires and not wanting to rebuild, it ended up creating the greatest show on Earth. His new show was established in 1870. P.T. Barnum's Grand Traveling Museum, Menagerie, Caravan, and Hippodrome. You gotta shrink that name. Okay. This was thanks to the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad, allowing circuses to easily relocate their animals and equipment, like the whales. P.T. Barnum was eventually approached by W.C. Coop and Dan Costello, agreeing to merge into a much larger production known as The Greatest Show on Earth. That's a great fucking name, way better than Hippodrome. What the fuck is that? As circus shows began to become more and more popular, many other big acts were being discovered, not just by P.T. Barnum, but from circuses all around the world, such as Myrtle Corbin or the four-legged girl from Texas. Corbin was born with dipicus, a duplication deformity that led to the growth of 2 extra legs and 1 extra pelvis, a whole other pelvis. Wow. It's crazy. I'll tell you what, dude, can I just say something weird? Pelvises are kind of aesthetically pleasing. Actual drawing them, like drawing them and stuff. Okay. You know, I don't have to fucking defend myself, dude. I said what I said and I meant what I said, Nick. You look disgusted there. Oh.
The bone?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The bones.
Well, yeah, what do you think I meant?
I don't know.
You know, like when a girl has a nice pelvis, nice abs, you see like little bumps from the pelvis there.
Oh, okay. So, but you're not talking about just...
I'm not even having this conversation anymore. Well, this is going nowhere. Soon after she was born, her father would charge people a dime to come up and look at her. Hey, you, come here. Give me a dime. All right, have a good day. They got the attention of Barnum, who snatched her up and had her performing as young as 13 years old. I'll tell you what, Barnum finds a fucking way to find you, doesn't he? I like to imagine once again it was her like walking by like a fucking crab. Good God! She made enough money to retire at only 18 years old. That's awesome. That's fucking sick. The success of this attraction led many people to create fake prop legs in order to mimic the attraction. As she had a successful career, married, and had 4 children. It was said that different children were born from each orifice. Awesome. Hell yeah. Can you imagine that going out? Which path are you going to take? Pussy A or pussy B? So she had 2 pussies? Awesome.
Just with the second pelvis.
That's sick, dude. Wonder which one she liked more. I hope this one comes out of pussy A. She passed away in 1928 before her 60th birthday. For a freak show life, that's a fucking good life. She worked for 5 years and she just retired. That's awesome. Good for her. Or Joseph Merrick, the Elephant Man. I love the Elephant Man, dude. Have you ever seen the movie with Anthony Hopkins, the Elephant Man? I'm a human being too. You ever see that? All right. Joseph was born in 1862 and looked like any other healthy child. At the age of 3, he began to develop swelling across his whole body that continued to grow to alarming sizes. In his early years, he struggled to find a job after leaving school. Due to his disfigurement, he could not perform certain tasks and had to look extra hard for sustainable work. His dad helped him gain the proper license needed to become a door-to-door salesman, but would shock and scare off those that answer the door. First off, way to not have any intuition. So you look odd. Let's have you do something where you have to approach strangers and talk to them. Door? After being beaten by his father for his poor sales. God damn! You're not selling enough globes. I'm sorry, Dad. I did not want to buy it for me. He ran away from home. At this time, he was homeless and eventually admitted to the
Leicester
Union Workhouse, which helped out the poor by giving them work, food, and water. The conditions of this place were more so like a prison. His growing deformity took away his ability to perform any sort of physical task. In desperation, he offered to put himself up in a freak show. And soon, he was being paraded as a man that was half elephant, half man. It's so fucked up. You know, like, it's something, too, that I like to imagine they came up, like, just like that. You're an elephant. All right. You know what I mean? He's like... Okay. When human curiosity exhibits were outlawed in the UK, he was again desperate for work. He went to Belgium to find work, only to be mistreated even further before contracting a bronchial infection that soon took away his ability to speak clearly. Sound like a mean, what a hand life has dealt you. With the help of Sir Frederick Trevis, a medical student, he was able to reduce his infection. Regardless, he passed away at the age of 27 from asphyxia. He had dislocated his neck due to the weight of his head and the lack of support from his neck. It was said he tried to sleep on his back like a normal person, which ended up taking his life. This is very sad. Once again, just a completely hand that life gives you. Also, to outlaw the freak show thing seems ethical because of human exploitation, but it sucks because you're like, this is probably the only way this man could have ever had any kind of like living, you know, any times a means of living. Very sad. I wanted to put a fucking damper in the room here. Gotta get my another Johans kind of moment here. Or we can talk about Fedor Jiftichu. Jiftichu? He was Jojo the dog-faced boy. Now we're back in it. Fedor was another one of the most famous sideshow performers. Born in St. Petersburg in 1868, he was brought over to the U.S. when he was 16 to work with P.T. Barnum, because P.T. Barnum always finds a way. He had a condition known as hypertrichosis, which is excessive growth of hair anywhere on the body. The story that Barnum conjured up to sell tickets was that he and his father lived in a cave in the forest before being captured by a hunter. In the story, his father was killed for being far too savage. The reality
reality was his father died by drinking himself to death. Well, maybe the being a freak werewolf man and might be a better way to go. Although Jeff DeChoo was incredibly intelligent and could speak various languages, he was reduced to a dog that had to bark at a mocking crowd to make a living. A fucking bilingual man. Reduced to just being like, rough, 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 and people were like, oh, God! He passed away in 1904 from pneumonia when he was 35, being mourned by fans and performers all over. I will say, I wonder if this had any influence on the Werewolf Man. Does this not look like the Werewolf Man?
It looks like the Wolfman, Michael J. Fox.
Well, the Universal movie came out in the 30s, like the 20s or something like that, but Michael J. Fox, Teen Wolf, you know, the first Werewolf Man. Or we could talk about Felix Wary, the Elastic Man. Born in 1858, he was born with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, a rare disorder that gave him stretchy joints and skin resulting from very weak connective tissue. Oh, what the does that even mean? This gave him an innate skill, allowing him to pull at his skin like he was made of rubber. He could even bend his fingers backwards. Ooh, can you imagine seeing that? He's just like... He was popular for his contortion sideshow attraction with Barnum and Bailey.
He's Luffy.
Oh my God! This is literally just a real life Luffy. Makes me sick, dude. If I had a stretchy, if I was Elastic Man, you better hope I could stretch my cock. Would be the final. You have like a little pig, kind of tiny, and people are just like, haha, they laugh at you, and all of a sudden he's just like, oh really? People are like, oh. Would that not be the best way to end your show? Or Grady Stiles, the Lobster Boy. Grady Stiles was born in 1937 with leading to a deformity in his hands and feet that gave him lobster claw-like hands. He was unable to walk due to the shape of his feet. His father already had the condition and was part of a freak show, which led him bringing his children along to join the act. Stiles was known as a Lobster Boy at age 7, so his dad was the Lobster Man. This is kind of sick, though. His hands do look like lobsters. I gotta say, his getup's kind of sick too. They got that old boy splayed open though. Close those legs now. The past 6 generations of his ancestors had this same condition dating back to 1840. The condition seemed to be genetic, leading to a large family with similar appearances. They ultimately created a family circus group called the Lobster Family. The family gained amazing wealth for their performances. Oh good. But Stiles struggled to cope with those that resented him and treated him with disgust. His answer was a turn to alcohol. Don't put that in. This would manifest into anger and violence, which came to haunt Mary Teresa, a carnival grifter that he fell in love with and eventually married. At one point, Stiles allegedly ripped his wife's IUD out of her body during a heated exchange before using his claw-shaped hand to choke her.
Oh my God.
An IUD?
That's to prevent
pregnancies.
So you went up there.
This would lead to a horrific event in which Stiles murdered an innocent man out of pure anger. Lobster Boy Angie. His daughter Donna wished to marry a man named Jack Lane. Stiles heavily disapproved, but Donna was eager to escape her dangerous family life and insisted on living with him. Stiles insisted that he would kill him if it were to ever happen. When things calmed down, Stiles and Jack arranged to meet to discuss the marriage. When they met, Stiles pulled out a shotgun and murdered him in cold blood. Reportedly, after Donna learned of his death, Stiles gave an evil smile and said, I told you I would kill him. On trial, he claimed self-defense and used deformity along... Well, how could you do that? Like, are you kidding me? It was self-defense. After you just looked at your daughter, I told you I would kill him. On trial, he claimed self-defense and used his deformity along with fake tears to garner enough sympathy to leave with only 15 years of probation. That son of a bitch. At home, the violence only escalated, but after his divorce, the kids were targeted the most. God damn, it still isn't ending. Teresa had already remarried and had children, but felt so much guilt over the state of her other kids that she returned and remarried Stiles.
Jesus.
Now fed up, Teresa and her son offered $1,500 to a sideshow performer to take Stiles' life. Sick. Ultimately, Stiles died at the age of 55 after being gunned down in his trailer while he was watching TV. He was hated by many, and only 10 people came to his funeral. Wow! The Lobster Boy. The Lobster Family. My God! Lobster Boy's a piece of shit. But then we usher in the era of the end of the greatest show in the world. In the 1890s, people became less interested in freak shows due to the ethical and moral issues with parading people's misfortunes for entertainment. Around this time, P.T. Barnum died of a stroke at 80 years old. In 1898, famous sideshow performers staged a labor strike during a UK tour in order to demand the removal of the word freak on all advertising materials. This event was dubbed the Revolt
of the Freaks. Ironic.
Let's remove the word.
Yeah,
but
freaks, and then we'll put the revolt of the freaks. There you go. In the coming years, medical advancements brought along a better understanding of what was going on with these people, which took away the mystery and magic of human curiosities. It didn't help that the animals held in captivity were mistreated horribly as well. The freak shows eventually died in the 1940s due to federal laws, prohibiting the discrimination of people with physical disabilities. Way to go. Barnum and Bailey Circus slowly evolved into the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey, which is still running to this day. Kind of crazy to think about.
I think they just canceled that.
Oh, they just... okay, never mind. It just got canceled. Never mind, it is just gone. The circuses of today are not much better. I think it's still this weird area of animal abuse, you know, exploiting people. I think circuses, the idea of circuses are still very controversial, yet it still brings in crowds. Whether the ethics of it, it's still something that happens today. Personally, I'm just like, let's not chain up animals and do what, I mean, like, we have enough, the internet gives us all we need, which that leads me back to the internet. I sincerely believe that vertical content, as we know it, reels, shorts, TikToks, are the future and the mainstream way of the P.T. Barnum production now. Only this time there's no ringleader. The only ringleader is people's need for likes, notoriety, the need for attention, the disconnection people feel nowadays that they try to actively get online. That's the freak show. Even with the things we do on this channel, you could say is a freak show. The participation in weird events just to garner likes and clicks. It's a horrible thing, but people crawl out of the woodworks to be their own P.T. Barnum for themselves and raise their own kind of attractions. And my God, I don't see that going anywhere anytime soon. It seems like kind of a thing that'll continuously evolve as time goes on. Now it's vertical content. What will be next? I don't know. But all I know is the freak shows of the past, the people who participated in those, seem to be much, much more respectable than the Jack Dohertys, the Jesse Somalis of the world that we have now. Johnny, whatever, doesn't matter. He's in South Korea, he's gonna die there. The freak shows were a thing of the past, and I'm glad that we're moving in the right direction by just having the freaks come out and parade themselves around for free. That's freak shows for you. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and hanging out with us today. We will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye. Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on and sit on down because today, my friends, the end is finally here. Oh, we're talking about Doomsday. But most importantly, we're talking about the people who prep for those Doomsday. Doomsday preppers!
When survival's the goal, it's into the spider hole. And it's cozy in here.
Another interesting facet of the world of people who are preparing for the end. People who want to be prepared for when shit hits the fan. But there's a lot of crazy stuff happening in the world right now. Inflation. The worst thing that's happening is inflation. How about monkeypox? Maybe even potentially World War III? Whoa. Pretty much what I'm trying to get at is the world is going to end. We're all gonna die! I'm kidding, we're gonna be fine right now. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe by the time I post this, we're all dead. I don't know, I can't tell you. Not a future. Not a fortune teller. But thank God there's one group of people out there who can circumvent all of these horrible things that are happening. So today I just wanted to take a deep dive down into the rabbit hole of people who are going to survive the apocalypse. There's a group of people that are here to kind of show us the way. And of course, I'm talking about Doomsday Preppers.
Here's to the end of the world.
Let's go. Now, we need to realize that these Doomsday Preppers are rational, but albeit paranoid people. A lot of people ask, why? Why save 50,000 cans of corn in your cellar? Well, you never know when shit's gonna hit the fan. But preparing for disasters is not a crazy thing. I'll be honest, I think it's downright smart. I'm from the Midwest where there's tornadoes left and right. God's just sending little twisters to come greet your house and throw it into the air. And it's nice to feel like, you know what, we got a little provisions just in case something bad happens. Is there a flood? Is my electricity gonna go out? When I lived in Texas, I was without power for like 2 weeks. And it was brutal. I did not prepare for that at all. Wish I would have. That would have been a much easier experience. When I was sitting in Texas and there was the deep freeze, I watched Amadeus, I think 6 times on my phone. If anything happens, I'm gonna blow my brains out. Like if the world ends, I will not survive. Just take me, God. When something bad happens, you wanna make sure that you have the right tools to be prepared. If a natural disaster strikes, like earthquakes, tornadoes, and tsunamis, you wanna make sure you have the basic necessities, like food, water, flashlights, and power. There comes a separation, my friends, where people, you go from being prepared for a lightning storm and being paranoid that the collapse of civilization is right at our doorstep, right? That's it. That's a leap.
I'm preparing my family for the imminent collapse of the United States economy.
Wait, I want to thank today's sponsor, GamerSupps. Now, I like to get nice and hyped up in the morning, but sometimes I don't prefer coffee. Sometimes I don't want a carbonated energy drink like Red Bull or Monster. I just want something a little more fresh, something a little more me. And that's why I drink GamerSupps. Not only does it have 0 calories, so my big fat fucking belly doesn't get any bigger. Also, no sugar as well for that stubborn waistline. And it's even keto friendly for any of my little gym rats out there who are trying to protein bulk right now. I see you. All of the flavors are amazing. I haven't had one GamerSupps flavor that I didn't like. All of them are extremely tasty, especially mine, raw meat. It's watermelon cantaloupe. It's basically summer in a cup. Wow. They also sell amazing waifu cup that resell like goddamn blood diamonds on the black market, so be sure to check those out as well because those are a hot commodity. And if you use my promo code PAPAMeat on any orders, not even on my products, you'll get 10% off your entire order. And just let them know Papa Meat sent you. So thank you so much to GamerSupps for sponsoring this video, and hey, stay energized, drink GamerSupps. Back to the video.
Doomsday prepping became a popular movement in the mid-20th century during the Cold War, which wasn't really that cold, Nick.
It wasn't?
No. You could say that the Great Depression sparked Americans or people, probably just Americans, to hoard what they have. Who knows? It's mine! Don't touch it! Get away from me! People go through some dicey shit and all of a sudden, there's no I in team. But that became, they're like, F the team. It's all about I.
There's me in team.
There's me in team? That's true. It's backwards, but it's there. With the threat of a nuclear war looming, people were encouraged by the US government to build fallout shelters and to stockpile supplies in the event of a nuclear apocalypse. I love that. I got the US government's just like, everybody, real quick, gather round. In your backyard, we're gonna start digging holes, and that's gonna stop you from having to worry about a nuclear bomb being dropped in your head. Go have fun, guys.
Have you seen the old like commercials where it's like, if a nuclear bomb drops, hide under your desk?
I love that. But my favorite one was, if there's an active school shooter, we're gonna turn off the lights and hide under our desk. He's like, nobody's home in here. All right, well, these lights are off. I'm probably not gonna go in there. But you also have religious reasons, right? For example, the Church of the Latter-day Saints believe that the end times are nigh since the dawn of their religion. So they encourage their followers to have 3 to 12 months of supplies at all times. When it comes to doomsday prepping, the goal is to have enough supplies to last you a few months inside your bunker when the world goes to shit. AKA when shit hits the fan. We watched Doomsday Preppers, the show. We're going to get into that a little bit later, but that when shit hits the fan is going to be, it's part of my everyday vernacular now. I just want to say that.
When the hits the fan.
When it hits the fan. If hits the fan.
Hey, it's gonna hit the fan sometime.
Hits the fan in 5 years, I'll probably be okay.
If you can survive in your little bunker while everyone else is fighting for resources outside, then within a few months, 90% of the population will die out, and you can emerge from your bunker as a goddamn survivor. Which we've already seen some of this, ladies and gentlemen. Does anyone remember toilet paper? Does anyone remember toilet paper during the pandemic? Hello? As soon as shit starts hitting the fan, people hoard stuff like motherfuckers. I had the worst food poisoning. I tried making some chicken at home, did not cook all the way through, and I had horrible diarrhea. So it's that kind of pain in your asshole where it feels like chapped lips. I didn't even know the pandemic was that big of a deal at the time. This is before, I mean, I really knew what was going on. I went to the store, when I went to the aisle and like every single piece of toilet paper was gone, that's when I knew. I've experienced stuff before where people raid grocery stores and stuff, and you're like, they left all the bottles of water, but they took all the goddamn Tang. Something's going on here, okay. The thing about being a doomsday prepper is that it is a beautiful spectrum. On one side, you have rational people, and on the other side, you have mentally deranged people. So you have rational people who are like, hey, it might storm, it'd be nice to have some Duracell batteries, some flashlights, and some water. And there's some people who are like, if you come near me, I'm gonna kill you. But that's what we're trying to figure out today, dude. Which end of the spectrum are you on? So level 1, the toe dippers. Ooh, the water's cold. I just ate a pizza. I'm not going to jump in for cramps. These are people who have a case of water, some canned food, and a few rolls of toilet paper. If you went into their house, you'd probably be like, a little extra supplies. They probably go through a lot. I used to go to my friend's house. His mom used to have, I'm not even joking, used to have 150 rolls of toilet paper. She was a little...
Have you seen that video of the lady getting hit with the brick in the car?
There's a video of a woman getting hit.
This guy's driving and a brick falls off a truck and lands in his mother's head.
That was her. These people, the toe dippers, usually have an emergency kit with candles, maybe a flashlight, a first aid supplies, just in case anything happens. It's more so just being like, something bad might happen, but it's an afterthought. But then we get into level 2. And level 2 is where we start getting You get a little shaky, all right? We call this the paranoid. These are the people who get a little further beyond preparing for your occasional emergency and expect weeks to months long emergencies such as civil unrest and severe natural disasters. Which, let me tell you, Nick, if I was younger, I'd be like, civil unrest, what the are you talking about? Yeah, the past 4 years, goddamn, hell, I might even be at level 2, dude. I'm a little paranoid. I've experienced so many natural disasters anyways. Texas, the deep freeze, goddamn pipes burst everywhere, flooded the house. Unbelievable. The paranoid also believe that people are going to immediately raid the grocery stores, so you need to have a full stock pantry for you and your family in order to weather this storm. Once again, doesn't seem that paranoid whenever I've seen this firsthand. COVID, toilet paper, all kinds of stuff.
So you're never more than 20 feet away from a firearm in this house. One example is a small firearm and a number 10 can of peas. And I remember that because it's my pea shooter.
These prepper pantries are rooms or garages in people's homes where they stockpile non-perishable food items and emergency supplies that typically last a few months to even a couple years, which I can't even imagine. We could survive for years. That has to be like your entire garage is just filled with stuff. Even like canned food, like, you know how much canned food, years? Some of the items that these preppers may have include shelf-stable foods like rice, beans, and canned food, water storage containers, solar generators, some basic tools. Not Ryobi, dude. Nick bought Ryobi stuff for the studio and it pissed me off. Just get DeWalt. Why'd you do it, Nick?
That's what they had.
They didn't have any DeWalt? You're a liar. A portable stove for cooking, maybe a gun and some ammo, maybe, I doubt it, and tarps, tents, blankets, and sleeping bags. Which honestly, out of this paranoid section, doesn't feel too crazy. Doesn't feel crazy. It's the excess. Well, it's the excess, and it's also immediately jumping to the conclusion that the worst is going to happen. Or prepping as if tomorrow it's going to happen. If the pandemic happened and people did that, I'd be like, well, yeah, I mean, we're in trap. But like right now, if something happened, I don't know. Which I guess it is just hindsight, but to me, I'm just like, why don't you calm down, dude? You need years of perishables? We got enough beans to last us 4 winters. Some preppers in this category also have what is called a bug-out bag. These are duffel bags that are packed with essential items that can last 48 to 72 hours and are stored in a safe place. Bug-out bag. The bug-out bag.
Most people call this a bug-out pack, but I just refer to it as a survival pack. There are birds and ducks and things, and if I had to, potentially I could catch some meat for dinner with my sling.
Which you call it a bug out bag because if something hits the fan, you need to get a bug out bag, get out.
Need something for my bug out bag. Bug out bag, gotta have it.
Also, you know what's kind of crazy too? This is also enters that level of paranoia. Think about how often they have to update the bug out bag. These beans are no good. We gotta update the bug out bag. If an emergency requires you to leave your house, aka bug out, then you can quickly and easily grab your bag and head to your new destination.
We're here at Walmart. I've got $100 for my $100 survival kit Walmart challenge.
$100 survival kit Walmart challenge. That does not feel that hard. For $100 at Walmart, you kidding me? He's like, I was able to pick up 2 guns, a fishing pole, and enough perishables to last us 4 autumns. The way she jolted out of that thing, goddamn, dude. Did her dirty with the edit there, though. She's like trying to turn and like smile and be like, this is what I got. And he's just like, cut that. And similarly, there are get home bags that preppers have in their cars that contain enough supplies to get them safely home. I got a pistol, a flashlight, and enough Cliff Bars to last me 6 autumns. I'm done with the winters. I'm doing autumns now. The winters I'm not scared about. The autumns is when it gets unruly. Start getting diarrheas. In this category, you also learn basic skills such as CPR, medical training, and even some survival skills. Here's the thing. I just want to say, I know I said that we labeled this level 2 paranoia. It is paranoia. I still don't think this is totally egregious. The problem with these group of people is I bet you they talk about it a lot. Did you just see what happened on the news? And you're just like, oh, goddamn, dude. To me, it's mostly, I already got enough shit going on in my life. Diabetes, got acid reflux, hemorrhoids, back acne. My fingers are starting to get hairy, like my Bulgarian grandpa's. I got ducks dying on me. And then some guys just like, did you just see that they actually just shot off 6 missiles? It's probably coming any day now. But can we just talk about how horrible everything? Please. Oh, I'd love that. Let's do that. Please. Thank you. Yeah, thank God I got my bug out bag though, and 6 rounds of corn just in case you need to make it through the autumn. Level 2 is probably where I would still be friends with this person, but level 3, this is when I start like, I can't anymore. Which level 3 we have as the survivalist, aka the LARPer. This category is for the extreme preppers who have swallowed the doomsday pill. These are people that are preparing and sometimes even hoping for the collapse of civilization, government tyranny, and apocalyptic events such as nuclear war, global pandemic, and even an asteroid impact. Oh, please,
God, please hurl that rock at our Earth. Please, God! At this level of prepper, you're basically fully committed to the idea that the world is ending, and you are so deeply entrenched in the philosophy that this is now your identity as a person. There is even a dedicated show all about doomsday preppers showing off the crazy lengths that people will go to prepare for this end. That's not just the end.
You have to get ready. There's no other way but to prepare. If you're gonna survive.
No longer are you storing canned greens and rice in your pantry.
Rice? What are you talking about? Rice and canned beans in your garage? You got soft hands, sweetheart. I've been prepping since I was 6 years old.
There's kids down here who are prepping since.
Oh, I know there's kids. I feel bad for these. You know what kind of reminds me of like a cult, like a religious cult, a little bit. You know what I mean? You ever see like a kid dressed up in like a like suit?
He's like, oh God, he's an awesome God, he reigns.
I'm like, that motherfucker didn't stand a chance, dude. You know what I mean? It's like if you're older and you're just like, dude, I just love getting the gospel out. It just creeps me out, dude. When I see little kids and they're just like,
I can't wait to go to heaven.
But instead of, you know, your little cupcake factory that you were in before, now you're investing thousands of dollars into prepper-specific brands that can last years. Such as our good old friend Jim Baker. Remember Jim Baker? Love Jim Baker's food buckets.
This is Mexican food that real life Mexicans approve of. You know, this is not gringo food. This is good food.
The Jim Baker food bucket we will buy one day, and I will try some of his soup. $300 in the Jim Baker bucket can get you 144 meals with a guaranteed shelf life of 25 years. If you purchase that bucket and 25 years later you're just like, I didn't even need this thing. Well, I had all these potato soups from Jim Baker, but guess that didn't pan out. For $4,000, you can get the Defender Dozen. We gotta spend $4,000 on the Defender Dozen. It's gonna be crazy. This gives you 2,448 total servings of food for $4,000 up front now. You're getting almost $2,500 servings of food. Does that seem like a lot? If across you and your family.
Technically, like for a family of 6.
A family of 6?
Which, divide that by 6, it's about 400.
400 meals, that lasts you like a year. Not even a year. Like, well, just cut it down to 2 a day. That f***ing sucks. You, Jim Baker.
Oh, good.
And if you're cheap, like me, you can buy Costco's emergency food buckets instead. $80 for 150 meals. Dude, Costco always just does it best. $80 for 150 meals? Come on. That's 50 cents a meal, and then it's just like, dude, Jim Baker's deal. I can just stock up on Costco shit. Another popular item among your shelves are MREs, which are meals ready to eat that are used to eat out in fields by the U.S. military personnel. You know, I used to always think of peanut butter was a big thing. A sniper can survive on 2 tablespoons of peanut butter for 16 days. Most MREs suck, so the term rat was coined in the military because people would open up the pockets and only take out the good shit like desserts or whatever else was in there and just leave the rest. They're like, I'm not even gonna touch that other shit. Some preppers even have canned dog food in their pantries just to protect the puppers in the event of an apocalypse.
It's not for the dogs, it's for them.
They're gonna eat the canned dog food?
Chicken morsels, and they're just really good.
Really good.
He has Chef Boyardee right here, Nick. I don't even look at that Italian son of a bitch anymore. All I want's pedigree. There's 3 different kinds of meats and carrots in this. Says so right on the can. But eventually this supply will dwindle, so you're gonna have to live off the land. So you better learn how to farm your own crops, kill your own meat, and collect your own water. Else you're f***ed. So what, you got your fancy dog food, your pedigree, but you don't even know how to grow your own crops? Good luck, buddy. Well, let's talk about shelter. People think of doomsday preppers, they think of one thing, and it's doomsday bunkers, dude. Your little straw house that the big bad wolf can blow over isn't big enough for you and your growing supplies, and hell, your growing family. Most preppers have a room or a basement to store their supplies, but if you're a true doomsday prepper, then you have to have your own dedicated underground shelter. If you're like, I'm a doomsday prepper, and it's all in your house, you don't have some shit built underground, you're right, dude. But where are you gonna put all your stuff? These range from concrete domes to fully fledged steel bunkers. And some preppers construct their own. But if you're like me and you can't build your own, then you can get someone to professionally install a bunker right in your backyard.
I saw a Reddit post years ago about a guy making his own bunker and a man cave out of a shipping container. But the problem with the guy making it, he wouldn't have saw the criticism he got on his own post. The thing was basically a death trap. He had no air vents, so he basically was going to suffocate. And the container that he used to store pesticides. So he would have just suffocated and just been poisoned to death. All for a little man cave, which to be fair, kind of metal. I watched the football games in the rat poison den that I like to watch my games in. Simple bunker can cost anywhere between $20,000 to $80,000. A simple bunker, okay? These are underground structures, typically made of steel, reinforced with concrete, that contain 1 to 2 rooms in order for you to store food, water, and other survival necessities. And there are dozens of companies throughout the world that specialize in doomsday bunkers, like the company Atlas Survival Shelters, who have prefabricated bunkers that they can install in your very own backyard. That'd be a crazy thing, man, in your suburban neighborhood. What's Douglas putting in his backyard? They have a wide variety of options to choose from, ranging from a simple 5x7 design to a 6,000 square foot military complex. This looks like the f***ing Fallout game. I was just wondering, because it looks like 7 families interconnected their yard with a giant metal structure system. All the people are like, I don't think it was me. Or there are even nuclear silo condos. In the state of Kansas, a company is renovating Cold War era nuclear missile silos into condos. It's actually kind of sick. The Survival Condo Project is a luxury bunker development designed to provide safety and comfort in the event of catastrophe. Well, just because we're surviving doesn't mean we can't look good while doing it. These silos can hold up to 75 people and have over 20,000 square feet of floor space per silo. They span 200 feet underground with 15 floors. The facility has a shared pool, gym, bar and lounge, and a custom theater, a library, classrooms, medical center, and, you need the last one, a command center. Also, not to mention, there's Wi-Fi. Because when the world does end, you better believe all of our beautiful internet companies who love us will keep that shit running forever. That even when Earth is gone, those fiber cables are going to be working, all right? If you're interested in owning one of the spaces, the project features a few unit options. For 1.5 million buckaroos, you can buy half a floor condo. Not too bad. For only, what, $1.5 million? Chump change! Chump change! This gets you 900 square feet of living space, 1 or 2 beds, a kitchen, and a TV in every entry. It's a lot of TVs. You're welcome. Or, for $3 million, you can get the full floor. That's about a little over 1,800 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, then a kitchen, a great room, and a dining room. But if you're like me, then you might want to go for the $4.5 million package, which can get you 3,600 square feet condo on 2 goddamn floors. You can even pay for a custom build complex ranging anywhere from 50,000 square feet to 300,000. Did you want to live in a legitimate military base factory? You okay? Just making sure. You could build this out to be your own specification. You can modify it however you want to your tailored apocalypse experience. I think that seems pretty cool. You can have a giant pool, an arcade room, a theater, a full gym, and a conference room are just some of the examples of the spaces you can get built. I like the conference room. What meeting are you having? The meeting of the minds. Well, the world has ended. What next? Thank God we have this inquisitive conference room to think in. Let's access the internet. Here's the internet is down. Even better example is the $18 million bunker house in Las Vegas, Nevada. This bad boy is 15,000 square feet, and it has 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, a dance floor, yeah, a barbecue, yeah, a pool, a 4-hole golf course, 2 hot tubs, a sauna, a bar, lighting systems that can simulate sunlight and twinkly stars, artificial trees, fake rocks, and hand-painted murals simulating the outside world, a 1,000-gallon water tank, a cryogenic capsule that can hold up to 5 human heads and 4 bodies. Not to mention, it has cell phone reception, cable, and internet. Thank God. And you can rent the property out right now for receptions, weddings, and even dance parties. That actually does sound kind of cool. But I will say, seeing pictures of it, the outside scenery thing makes it look like you are being held captive by some murderer. It's like, let me leave in time. I feel claustrophobic looking at it. Also, I want to say this. There's like a family where they're like, let's go down the elevator ride. I would not get in that elevator. That would be my fate. Thank God we have the bunker. Can't wait to play some golf. Get my sauna.
Wow. It's really fast. We're going deep, guys. Don't be fooled by the slowness of the wall. We are now 50 feet down.
Sure, we talked about the bunkers and where you stay, but let's talk about defense, because in the apocalypse, and from what video games and movies have told me, it's a dangerous place. You have food and shelter, but no way to defend it. That's why you need to stockpile guns and ammunition and learn how to fight when shit hits the fan. Like Steve H., who's preparing for the United States economy to collapse, which it will. It's going to. Better buckle up. Every Monday, he sets prepping goals for his family. And by the end of the week, everyone in the family has to contribute to the prepping supplies. This isn't fun and games. He also vacuum seals his weapons to make sure no moisture gets in. Good man, Steve. And a good tip from Steve is to place explosives around your property to ensure that no one can break your defenses, because they'll blow up. Checkmate. Steve often performs drills that simulate what it would be like to have his property invaded. These kids are going to enjoy that. Dude, sometimes you have to make sure the fam is up to date. Sometimes shooting at a car just makes you feel a little better. But you know what? Steve is a pretty sane guy. He glued back his own tooth instead of going to the dentist. Sometimes you gotta drill your teeth in, dude. It's also important to live off the grid and away from society. That way, when the world does end, you're already far away from anyone trying to steal your precious supplies. Like Michael, for example, who fears his land will be targeted in an overpopulated world. He's like, this is the Garden of Eden. All right, and if the world's overpopulated, people are gonna try to come and take my land. Michael created his own alarm system using bird calls. He said he has studied the language of the bird for 2 decades and is now passing on to his children. He can even mimic the bird noises. Take it away, Michael. He doesn't want to have to be relying on guns and prefers to throw axes, which he made his kids practice for 7 years. He also makes them practice martial arts as well, just in case they have to fight any invaders on their land. He also uses a throwing stick, claims that they're just as good as shotguns.
Hands in the air! Hands in the air now! What do you do?
I have a feeling that that girl would have gotten shot in the back of the head right there. I'm also, let me see your hand. She like turns around, pop. Michael also gave his son his umbilical cord back once he turned into a man.
You're entering a new stage of your life. You're no longer a little kid anymore, turning into a young man. This here is your umbilical cord.
He's 12. He's a man. Son, just want to give you this back. Oh, what do you do with that? You just put it wherever. And if you got the cash, you can install an incinerator in your bunker as a last-ditch effort for intruders.
You can simply push this button right here and eliminate that threat. A torch fire chamber.
Just burn them down.
Or run a homemade device that turns water into fire. This is an incinerator room. And also, we're able to turn water into fire. Did I mention that already? I feel like I'd just rather build a castle. But sometimes I believe with these doomsday preppers, as goofy as they may seem, I think that sometimes it goes a little too far. Controversial opinion. Sometimes prepping for the end can lead to tragedy. Survivalist named Peter Keller feared that the world was going to end. So for 8 years, he worked on a secret bunker he dubbed Camp Keller, which could be confusing because of Helen Keller's fame. In one of his journals, he had sketches of a bunker with notes on how he wanted a laboratory space to study viruses. This is some Resident Evil shit. Then in 2012, when the bunker was complete, Peter killed his wife and 18-year-old daughter, set his house on fire in order to live in the bunker. I'm laughing because of how shocking that is, all right? That's not me laughing at the situation. That's just unhinged. Could you not have just lived in the bunker without doing that? Why didn't you just live in the bunker?
He was so paranoid of like people finding him that's why he killed his family.
So they couldn't even tell him.
But then that's what like led people to find him.
If he just would have been like, hey, I'm divorcing you, I don't want to see the kids anymore, which is also horrible. Not as horrible as murdering them. But after 7 weeks of searching, Peter was found in the bunker dead with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. When he was found dead in the bunker, there were weapons and ammunition, explosive devices, bulletproof vests, 45 pounds of beans, wine-making stuff, and various of other survival essentials. And for years, he would vlog about the construction of the bunker, as well as conspire to kill his family. In one of the videos, he says, I'm getting to the point where just trying to live and pay bills, and live as a civilian, go to work, it just freaks me out. It's actually more comfortable for me to think about living out here robbing banks, pharmacies, and just taking what I want for as long as I can. At least it will be exciting.
Think about living out here, robbing banks, pharmacies, just taking what I want. At least it'll be exciting.
The Diaries of a Legitimate Madman. A reason we bring this up at the end, I think, is because paranoia can amplify fear. But I think people fantasizing over things can become an obsession. I think a lot of people would get under the impression of like, well, why would you want something horrible to happen? When I don't think that these people want these things to happen. I think that they just believe it is going to happen. And that becomes the fantasy. That is the narrative in their head that repeats over and over and over again. There's nothing wrong with stockpiling beans and corn, or even having something to protect yourself in your house like a gun, or having a flashlight, something that gives you a bit of security. But it's when you amplify these things to such a means that once again as affects others or affects people around you that you love. I mean, it becomes a dastardly deceptive obsession that just completely overconsumes every other facet of your life, where it's the only thing you think about. That's where I think the paranoia and the doomsday prepping gets a little dicey. If the world ends, I'm sorry to say it, we're probably all fucked.
Not me.
Not Nick, because he did spend the $1.5 million and has the bunker in his backyard, but that's his story, not mine. I just want to say that trying to be prepared is not a bad thing. I think trying to instill the idea that the world is going to end is also probably not a fictitious thing to say either. I think I'd like to live in an existence where I can do my part now and try to make it a better place for today. That's all I gotta say. Also, I like beans and corn. So that's our video today on Doomsday Preppers. Are you a Doomsday Prepper? Hopefully the world doesn't explode so you guys can see this video. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
This is just all part of our preparedness kit so that we can have transportation. The way that we educate our children and our prepping needs is basically show them ways of preparing for events and natural disasters that are going to take place, that have been taking place.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on and sit on down, because today we're talking about internet scams, baby. Roll the Patreon plug. There. Scammers have been around for so very long. Even before the internet, people used to do phone scams. You ever see Kit Boga?
Do not redeem! Do not redeem the card! What?
No.
Cancel!
I wish I was an Indian dude who was just calling old women and getting Google Play gift cards. Is that racist for me to say? I mean, it's mostly Indian guys. I feel like the more than backtrack, I'm like, oh my God, wait, did I just... Hold on. People have been trying to scam their way into getting money since probably the beginning of time. Someone probably scammed Jesus. Judas. Whether it was the snake oil salesman in the 20th century or the counterfeit cash dealers in the 19th century, there have always been people willing to take advantage of gullible people for their hard-earned cash. People like to prey on people's gullibility. But not only that, but with the rise of AI and internet powers that be, it's easier for the average Joe to create a realistic scam that'll have an unsuspecting victim forking over thousands of dollars of cash of their STEMI funds. But sadly today, scamming people has never been easier. Really letting people know that you can scam people and get away with it. That's not what this video is trying to be. You used to have to leave your home and risk getting your ass kicked for conning someone maybe in the streets, right? But now it can be done from the safety of your home with a stable internet connection. Well, we're really promoting this. I don't know. It's hard times. Maybe they're STEMI funds. Are we getting STEMI funds round 2?
I hope so.
I don't know. Almost threw up. So come along with me as we look at some of the internet's biggest scams. See, this is where we redeem ourselves. We're letting you know all the bad scams so you don't get fooled. Let's ride.
But sign up for our Patreon for the good ones.
But no, seriously, I will say right now that our Patreon isn't a scam. And that it's one of the coolest things that we have on the internet. And that, you get to see behind the scenes content. You get to support me and my team. So if you want to do that, feel free. It's not a scam.
Where'd that barn money go?
Let's talk about some of the old school internet scams from back in the day, right? These are some of the Hall of Famers from the early days of the internet where they didn't know what the hell was going on, right? I still feel like in a way we're still kind of in the Wild West age of the internet. I think that we have more of an idea of what's going on, but way back in the day, the internet, you have to realize, was a barren landscape. It was like the Book of Eli. I'm gonna fit in the Book of Eli thing somehow. It was like a dystopian landscape where people didn't know where to run and hide, and people were kind of just journeying around. Thus, the perfect place for internet scammers to come in and attack unsuspecting victims. So first, we have to go back to the classic internet scam that everyone's probably heard of, which is A classic, the Nigerian prince scam. Love that one. I'm a Nigerian prince, please sir, help me. This is pretty much how it worked. A random person is emailed by someone that claims to be a high status individual, Nigerian prince, like a wealthy government official or a successful businessman. After telling you how they have temporarily lost their wealth due to some sort of unfair circumstance, they ask for your help in order to regain it, promising a sizable reward. These lies can range from unfairly sent to prison or needing bail money to having their children kidnapped and the fear of their own life. They're trying to emotionally manipulate you, right? My kids are fucking kidnapped, sir, please help me. After taking advantage of the victim's greed or generosity, they transfer the money, sometimes giving out important bank information, you know, that kind of stuff. Really, you know, stuff that nowadays you'd be like, why do you need my social, dude?
To run a credit.
Dude, it's a credit that... Please, sir. Their money is taken and the scammer disappears entirely. We got an example of one of the texts that is usually from one of these scams, and I can't wait to read it. It goes, "Dear beloved friend, I know this message will come to you as a surprise, but permit me of my desire to go into business relationship with you." Already nowadays, you would be like, you're not doing shit with me, dude. What the f*** are you talking about? But I feel like people would be like, oh, what are you, okay, what? I am Miss Blank, a daughter to late Blank of Libya.
I like how they protected the internet.
Yeah, why the f*** do they have to? I can't tell people the fake name he gave me. Whom was murdered during the recent civil war in Libya in March 2011. Before his death, my late father was a strong supporter and member of the late Muammar Gaddafi government in Tripoli.
Gobbled.
God! Meanwhile, before the incident, my late father came to Cotonou, Benin Republic with the sum of USD $4.2 million, which he deposited in a bank here in Cotonou, Benin Republic, West Africa for safekeeping. I am here seeking for an avenue to transfer the fund to you in only your reliable and trustworthy person to investment the fund. I am here in Benin Republic because of the death of my parents, and I want you to help me transfer the fund into your bank account for investment purpose. Please, I will offer you 20% of the total sum of USD $4.2 million for your assistance. Please, I wish for to transfer the fund urgently without delay into your account, and also wish to relocate to your country due to the poor condition in Benin, as to enable me to continue my education, as I was a medical student before the sudden death of my parents. Reply to my alternative email. Beep. Your immediate response would be appreciated. Remain blessed. From Miss Beep. Nowadays, once again, I feel like you would look at this and be like, bullshit. This is also with the context, though, that people would probably tell you, hey, watch out, you're gonna get scammed online, right? Imagine you're the first person on the internet to see this. Do you know how jazzed you would be? It's like a fucking movie. And you wouldn't ask yourself the question of like, why am I the only reliable person? You don't even know me. You'd probably be so wrapped up in the fantasy.
Scammers purposely pick dumb people, so it's like they make it seem outlandish because it's like if someone believes this, they're gullible.
Oh, dude, if I was one of those people, I would be gullible enough to do it. For one of the first people, and like you've never heard of this kind of scam before, I could see myself being like, really? Okay, what do you need to know? I'll help you. I'm sorry you lost your parents. You know, that's what people say too. They go back on the email, oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear about your parents. And you get like, it's always funny seeing the response backs from the scammers, and they're just like, yes, it's tragic. Please give me the information. Sometimes the same groups will send anonymous emails to those who were just tricked, claiming they are part of a scam victims group that are owed a settlement from the government, only to be scammed again. Double dip, which, to be fair, pretty smart. Dude, I can't believe it. I got totally fucking ripped off. Oh my God, me too. Yeah, put in our information again, whatever we're getting a refund. You'd be like, oh, thank God, right? A saving grace. Well, it can't happen twice, right? Lightning doesn't strike twice in the same spot, Nick. And they're just like, just got you. Tricked. At that point, seriously, I would jump off a bridge. I'd be like, I don't even know what's not a lie anymore. Or I would just be like, I'm never using email again. One man received a strange spin on the classic scam. This time, a Nigerian astronaut named Dr. Bakar Tunda claimed to be stranded in space after being left behind on a Soviet space station. That's awesome. Apparently, he was still getting paid while being stuck in space for 14 years, resulting in the accumulation of $15 million. $1 million a year stuck in space, like, someone pick me up, please. To access the trust fund and receive a massive reward, the Nigerian astronaut asked for $3 million for a flight home. What do you mean? If you have 15 million, like, to be fair, awesome setup. I am currently typing to you from space. You're like, oh, a Nigerian guy. You're like, where the fuck? I can't even see this guy. But if a guy's like, I'm up by the fucking moon, every night you're gonna be like, motherfucker's up there. I guess you're just kind of fishy. He's probably mass sending these out to where he's just like, you're going to find one guy who just has $3 million. You never know. But move on from those kind of scams. Those are, that's an old classic. We've all heard of those before. Let me get you something that is near and dear to my heart, and I'll fill you in here in a bit. But these are romance scams. Sometimes, in order to cloud an innocent person's judgment, scammers enter a full online relationship with people to gain their trust and take their money.
It's a big freaking joke. Yeah.
And the first example we have are the Yahoo Boys. It's a great name, though, huh? In Nigeria, just Nigerians, man. In Nigeria, there is an infamous group of scammers known as the Yahoo Boys, a group of cyber criminals that have successfully scammed thousands of people through elaborate schemes, namely the romance scams. Little motherfuckers got silver tongues, dude. They're sitting there, they're sweet talking you and all that kind of stuff. They operate out of what they refer to as the Hustle Kingdom. In reality, it's a dark, compact room filled with members using piles of computers and phones to enact scams. It's pretty much just, like a regular room, and everybody has like a gateway computer turned on, and it would look like a LAN party, a fun LAN party, but instead they're like sexting old women and stuff like that for money. I do like this picture here. They all have their face masks on. Like, one of us is definitely sick. They extort people through dating sites and social media by impersonating attractive women and men. And after chatting and flirting for a while, they're able to convince women and men to send them money through various means, right? Which the men part would probably be the easiest. You're some fucking like big-titted woman, and some guy's like, hello, princess. Good morning, darling. The person's just like, hello, did you go to bank today? I'm on my way. That guy feels like he's on top of the world, too.
You know how you prove that these women are scammers? If they message hello first. Always fake, because they're desperate to get your money.
What are you talking about, dude? Are you talking about women never text you hello first? Are you like a bitter?
On Tinder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never. I've never had a real person text me hello.
It's going to be a lot of women being like, I have definitely said hello first. Dick's like, nah.
Unless you're on Bumble, and even then they don't, because they had to change it that men can now message first, and now the CEO left because the company's failing.
I'm glad we don't put a camera on you, dude, because he is ranting and raving. He's moving his arms around. Look at me. You're stomping and huffing and puffing. According to one of the romance scammer kingpins tracked down by CBS, Americans are by far the easiest in the world to scam like this. You're a perfect. Have you ever been on the dating websites? You talk to Chinese guys all the time.
Wow, they're Asian women.
Well, but they're Chinese guys.
Well, they're guys.
It's a picture of women, obviously, because you always say there's like a breaking point where it's like,
Well, they ask for pictures, and then so you send normal pictures. They're like, no pictures of your thing down there.
Oh, do you think they're trying to extort you? So they're asking nudes for you or blackmailing you or something?
I don't think it's blackmail. It's literally just, I think it's gay men probably just like want nudes. So they're like...
Oh, so you don't even think this is a financial scam. You're saying that this is like people who are like, I just want to see your cock and jack off to it.
I did get scammed out of Ethereum one time, though.
What?
It was only like $400, but...
That's a lot of money. So how did that happen? Was that from a dating website too?
No, it was on Reddit. I was being stupid. I was trying to buy like a chemical from a company. You have to have...
What? Like you're like kind of going back to what
so
chemical?
There's a website.
Yeah. I get that there's a website for the chemical.
The chemical.
But what do you need the chemical for?
It's basically just a preservative. You put it in so like your food or something will last longer.
So, hold on. You went on a website and they asked you for crypto to buy magic dust, apparently, that you throw on your chicken and it makes your chicken last longer? Well, first off, why do you need these preservatives? How long are you keeping things?
Because I was just like, oh, there's a market for this. But then, like, the problem was the preservative you had to buy from a science company, Irvine Science. And so I was like, I don't have a login for this. So on Reddit, I was like, hey, does anybody have a login for this? Yeah, man, I got you. So I was like, okay. And I was like, this is how much I want. And he's like, okay, my fee is like 10%. So then I gave him that, and then I tipped him. Give him like an extra $100. He's like, thanks, bro. Anyways, he sent me these screenshots, and I like looked at them again, and I realized that he just put them in the cart, which anyone can do. And then I was like, oh no, he scammed me. And I was like, well, I'm out of money, so.
I just want to say too, what I decided out of that too is that you didn't even say your scam. So in my head, you are still, you didn't put it out there so someone else couldn't do it. You're still holding it on the back burner in case you do come across this preservative. You didn't even tell me what the preservative is for or anything. It doesn't matter. We're going, which Yahoo Boys, who gives a shit? They're scamming people. That, I just find out that Nick is plotting something. I don't know. Watch out. That was all I gotta say. Or we could talk about a woman who lost 120,000 pounds in a romance scam. Linda Young had recently divorced her husband of 24 years. Good woman. Because her children had already graduated and moved out of the house, she found herself lonely and in need of a new relationship. The birds are out of the nest, and now she's in this place where she has a lot of free time. She's looking for a new love. Who hasn't been there? This led to her joining a dating site for people over 50, where she met a charming and attractive man. They were talking all the time, whether it be over email, text, or even phone calls. So she was starting it off on Gmail, and then she's texting, and now she's even calling. See, that's how they get you too, is they're like, well, call me. That's how you know it's a real person. You know, well, I mean, like in a way you're like, oh, this is a scam, but then you call, hey, I'm real.
I do that. I'm so paranoid of it. I say, you want to get on FaceTime?
To the new people you're dating?
I do.
This is a very revealing video. I mean, this is about internet scams, and this is, you're blossoming like a little flower right now. In an article from the BBC, she recounts her feelings, and it goes as follows.
I just couldn't stop the adrenaline rush. It was addictive. Every time my phone buzzed or a text came through from him, me whole world just lit up.
Okay, she sounds beautiful. After 6 months, she was completely obsessed with this man. This ended up clouding her judgment when he eventually asked for a large sum of money to invest for both of them. She was promised that this money would come back to her since they were going to undoubtedly have a future together. See, this is the long con. 6 months too. That's not a fucking, little weekend thing. This guy's been putting the time in. You know, people are doing that too. They have to be doing it to like 20 different people. And it's like things that are just,
They're on their phone. They have 12 phones.
Yeah, a bunch of different numbers. And yeah, 100%. Unfortunately, she decided to go for it, transferring 120,000 pounds to the man only to be ghosted and abandoned completely. That's very sad. Linda admitted,
It took me a long time to work through the shame.
what a sad way to end that. When you go through one of those scams, do you think that you would ever want to go through like an online dating website again?
Well, I said that, and I still use online dating.
Well, to be fair, you never got online scammed. You just asked for like a mystery chemical to put onto something to scam people. Oh, I want to see something.
Hello?
Hello, mother.
How's it going?
Hey, I'm doing a video on internet scams right now, and I was wondering, can you talk to me about that guy at all?
Oh, God, yes. Well, it was on a first free dating website, but it just started out as a friendly thing, just somebody like online to talk to, and they suck you in. And when you're looking back, it was kind of like a romance novel kind of talk, like women like, but it's not a normal conversation per se. But just all these nice little innuendos and things, and then just goes into what he does for a living. And then it was always some kind of like looking into it, some kind of oil rig. You're in another country. You're working for the military. It's secret kind of vibe. And
how serious?
They're making tons of money, probably tons of money, but it's very secretive. It's very, and he's always widowed. Unfortunate mishap of the spouse.
How long did this go on for?
Ugh.
The girl who was scammed out of 120,000, it was 6 months.
No, this probably was like 9. Maybe.
Wow. So
Maybe.
it was it pretty serious? Like, did you like?
Well, for a long time it wasn't, and then it just seemed like for like 6 months it was just talking all the time. Of course, because But then he started talking about meeting and stuff like that, and there'd always be something going on. And I remember showing your pictures, and me not having a clue. You're like, wow, that's not real. And I was like, you were nice about it, but you're like, look at this picture. And I had no idea. I'm like, what? And you're like, just check it out.
Be honest, mother, did he get some pictures out of you?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Unfortunate. Well, you have any advice for people that are online dating?
Yes, I do. Immediately get offline and try to meet people while you're out and about. Well, that's easier said than done.
Okay.
No.
All right. This is turning into a very bitter. This is turning into a bitter thing. I love you. I'm gonna go.
Okay, I love you. Bye.
Night. Old girl got sent pussy and titty pics to the guy. What's f***ed up too is like the ultimate goal is money, whatever, but that's just like a cherry on top for him. It's like a power trip thing too. It's f***ed up. Anyways, let's talk about Stranger Things fan thinks she's dating one of the actors from the show. I guess with AI and stuff, you can count some of these things, but also I think Finn Wolfhard's dating you. You know what I mean? Really? Anyways, in 2023, a mother I mean, already. What are we? Come on, really? A mother from Kentucky named Michaela. Is that really how you spell it, too? It is some, like, white trash Michaela stuff right there. Good Lord, girl. Michaela was going through a rocky relationship with her husband. Feeling lonely, she decided to join a forum for online artists in order to start meeting new people in the filmmaking community. It was there she met Docker Montgomery, an actor from his role as Billy Hargrove from Stranger Things series. She thought that she was dating Billy. Isn't he like supposed to be like the hottest guy from the show?
Will is.
Will's the hottest? Oh, I don't know. How delusional can you be? They hit it off right away. Oh, did they? Yeah, the guy who's an LA filmmaker is in a weird indie Kentucky filmmaking group. They hit it off right away, sending each other romantic messages and expressing their deep love for each other. Michaela was absolutely obsessed, so we're talking sexting like immediately.
She was sending pictures of her wet fingers.
God damn, dude. Rough episode for you so far. The actor told her to decide between her husband or him. Whoa! Michaela divorced her husband without hesitation to show that she was serious. Oh, Michaela, you stupid, stupid person. It was a rocky relationship, sure, but it's also just like, she had to have told the guy that it's like, yeah, Billy from Stranger Things is dating me. The husband's just like, what the f are you even on about? What's coming out of your gob? She recalls Montgomery expressing frustrations about his relationship with Liv Pollock, who was supposedly giving him money problems by taking control of his banking information. Yeah, so he's saying that Billy, the actor that's playing Billy, it's like, my girlfriend's fucking up my bank. I can't even get into my bank account. Michaela, who was also dealing with a controlling ex-husband, could relate. This brought them even closer. The actor would slowly start asking for money through gift card exchanges and cryptocurrency, which Michaela regretfully indulged in. Over time, she has sent to him over $10,000 of Google Play gift cards and Doge. She eventually began to realize that this was too good to be true, ending things with her supposed lover after spending a fortune on him. I'm not saying that people can't find love. You're a person, you find out you'd start dating an actor because they like your TikToks or something. I don't fucking know. Anything is possible. If you start dating John Goodman, and John Goodman's asking 87-year-old John Goodman is asking you for cryptocurrency and gift cards, Google Play gift cards, I would assume that's a scam. Be careful out there. But we get to move into the world of AI scams. AI, the crazy new thing, very, very scary. What's real, what's not real anymore? I don't fucking know. We're all gonna burn in hell. People are able to take voice recordings of you or other people and implement scams themselves. That AI learning technology, it's very believable. It's pretty fucking scary. But here's a little post. So yesterday I got a call from my grandparents who asked me if I was okay.
Yeah, what do you want?
Confused, I said, of course I was. After some confusion, it turns out they got a call from an AI that used my voice to say I was in a car accident and needed money for the hospital, and also not to tell my parents.
I ain't got time for that shit.
That's so fucked. That's so creepy, too. So invasive.
You know how they do that? If you ever get a phone call and it's a lot of times if it's like silent,
I start blocking those.
Yeah, because if you're like hello, or if you get weird calls and they're asking you specific things, because what they're trying to do is train your voice off the phone call.
I mean, I feel like everybody gets like toll-free bullshit, like, oh, have you done this, blah, 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 and you're like, fuck off, and you hang up. Which we get to talk about AI Brad Pitt scamming a poor French woman. Oui, oui. This year, a French woman named Anne lost 830,000 euros by a scammer pretending to be Brad Pitt. In response, she endured a giant wave of harassment and mockery. It's sad. It's dumb, but it's sad. Anne, who was married at the time, was contacted via Instagram by someone posing as Brad Pitt. Because Anne was new to social media, she was gullible and ended up chatting with him for a while. With old people, I feel like all you have to do, once again, I feel like I'm promoting this kind of shit, but I feel like all you have to do with old people is just be like, you see the name and you see the picture and you're like, that's them! How else would someone say that they're Brad Pitt? They have a picture of him, they have his name on an account.
Nowadays, there's even apps that will project your video live, so you could be like, hey, do a video call, and voice modulate and face modulate.
Hey, I'm Brad Pitt. All right, all right, all right. She's like, hey, I thought that was Matthew McConaughey. He's like, yeah. The actor started asking for money in order to pay customs for the luxury gift he wanted to send her. I got you gifts, but you gotta pay for them. He would make up stories about how his bank accounts were frozen as a result of his divorce proceedings with Angelina Jolie. That's how you get those old women too, dude. Yeah, Angelina Jolie, that fucking bitch. Gone in 60 seconds, my ass. And would pay the money every time, and the scammer started to realize that he could easily squeeze more and more money out of her. Eventually, he fooled her into paying 775,000 euros to pay for kidney cancer treatment. treatment. To sell the lie, he sent AI-generated images of Brad Pitt in the hospital and believed they were real because there was no traces of these photos online, meaning they must have been taken just for her. So sad, dude. She herself was in cancer remission. Oh my God. So she felt sympathy for the poor actor. I feel like the floor from anything just dropped, you know what I mean? Like that gut feeling. Ugh. During this time, Anne got a divorce with her husband, which I wonder this too. I'm speculating because now I'm too sympathetic towards Anne. Going through cancer remission and kind of living your life, you're sitting there and you're just like, I don't even know if I'm happy in this marriage. You know, like it's just you're willing to take these risks now and you're easy to be swayed in these different directions. It's one of those things where it's like finally a piece of good luck comes my way. Brad Pitt or Billy from Stranger Things, which you would think, what the f are you thinking? But her daughter at the time had spent an entire year trying to convince her that this was all a hoax, but to no avail. She even had somebody being like, Mom, it's not Brad Pitt. I'm telling you that right now. To keep up the lie, the scammers crafted an AI-generated news report discussing the exclusive relationship Brad Pitt had with a woman named Anne. This eased her suspicions until she saw the news that Brad and Ines de Ramon entered a public relationship in 2024. You said you loved me. She ended things with the supposed actor and stated that the whole ordeal put her in a very dark place. She attempted to take her own life 3 times. Crushed after realizing that she sent a majority of her savings to a scammer. No shit, dude. There's no way to get justice on these people either. So all these stories are just going to end with, it's just like, I guess that's what it is. If you get a call from somebody that's like, hey, this is Meat Canyon, I need money or whatever, it's real. I'm the one calling. No, seriously, the Patreon is open and I do need the help. We just need more puppets and we're setting up a new little space for more sets right now. So maybe consider supporting.
Not a scam.
It's not a scam. I know I'm smiling, but I'm just nervous now because it doesn't matter. Or we could talk about another man who was scammed out of $25,000 by an AI voice. Anthony, an older man from Los Angeles, was conned out of $25,000 after being targeted by AI scammers. He received a phone call from a person that sounded exactly like his son. The scammer used an AI voice to lie about being in a car accident with a pregnant woman who was rushed to the hospital. Who's pregnant? That would be an emotional call, dude. I'm gonna be a granddad? Wait, what? He then received a call from a supposed lawyer named Michael Roberts telling him, you need to get $9,200 as fast as you can if you want your son out of jail. Otherwise, he's in for 45 days. Scammers often ask for money with a sense of urgency to pressure victims into sending money without taking time to think of how suspicious the situation is. They want it now. It's gotta be now, you know, or you're gonna get in big trouble. Your son's in big trouble and her pregnant wife, she's really pregnant. She's about to pop at any time and he doesn't even know where she's at anymore, dude. You gotta get him out of jail. After rushing to the bank to retrieve the money, they call Michael Roberts back and Uber was sent to their house to pick up the cash. An Uber, only for them to receive another call immediately. Apparently, the pregnant woman died. Raising the bail up astronomically. In a panic, they gathered more money and gave it to another Uber driver that showed up to retrieve it. Dude, I would never hand an Uber driver any amount of cash. I'd be like, you don't have a car? Hello? What? It was only when her daughter started trying to look up information about the supposed court case that they realized it was a scam. And once again, money's gone, he got. Or we can talk about a woman who thought that Elon Musk was calling her to pitch her an idea for an investment. That'd be a horrible call, wouldn't it? Elon calling you? Even the real thing, I'd be like, oh, what do you invest? God, dude, really, Elon? A recent type of scam has resulted in billions of dollars being stolen by scammers.
Hello, everyone. I'm here to tell you about the Neuralink crypto token, the new cryptocurrency that will change the world forever.
By using AI, people have started creating fake advertisements where Elon Musk proposes an investment opportunity. 62-year-old Heidi Swan, one of the victims, recounts her experience seeing the ad on Facebook and TikTok, and in the ad, an AI voice of Elon Musk was used to sell this lie. This resulted in her spending $10,000 in cryptocurrency and sending it over, only to get ghosted and left confused as to what happened. Or a man who was tricked out of $25 million from deepfake CEO. Who are these people? Is this fucking Warren Buffett? My God. In an especially absurd case of AI fraud, a finance worker from Hong Kong was conned out of $25 million. A Hong Kong millionaire, probably billionaire. In 2024, a multinational firm was targeted by AI scammers who had entered a call with a deepfake version of the company's chief financial officer. So they were able to get the fucking CFO's voice. That's crazy. In the call, there were several other employees there who were also deepfaked to sell the scene of a big company Zoom meeting. That's fucking like some Ocean's 11 shit. The guy ended up sending about $25.6 million USD to multiple bank accounts as instructed by the supposed bosses. That's insane. That isn't just a guy scamming someone being like, I'm Billy from Stranger Things. This is like an actual heist. We've given you a lot of scams today, right? So in this video, I at least want to take time to talk about common scam tactics or red flags that you should look for and that I'm going to even keep in mind moving forward in the future. So it isn't uncommon for a scammer to call you and say something and say nothing. They want to wait until you ask, is anybody there, before hanging up and using the audio sample to recreate your voice and scam people you know. So if you get a call from somebody who isn't saying shit, just hang up. Don't be the first person to say hello anymore. Hello is a thing of the past. And because let me tell you, silence, a regular person is going to be like, hello? Then you can have your conversation, all right? A clear sign that you're being scammed is if a person over the phone is trying to get payments through gift cards or cryptocurrency, because these type of payments are harder to trace by law enforcement. If anyone's asking you to pay a debt through Google Play gift cards or Ethereum, hang up the phone immediately. You'll be fine. Scammers play with your sense of urgency, but there's no reason why people need to rush to pay an officer over the phone. Often, it's safer to just hang up and call a local police station if anything feels suspicious. Let's say a scammer, you did a hit and run, which don't do that. I don't know where I'm going at with this. There's no reason you should pay a police officer on the phone, right? But I'm saying if for some reason somebody knows of a crime that you did, like a hit, that's what I'm saying, a hit and run, or like you stole a fucking pear from the store and they're just like, we know you stole something. Call the fucking local station, dude. Turn yourself in, you're a criminal. Actually, you know what? You deserve to be scammed for stealing that pear. Get rich quick situations are always too good to be true. Why would a Nigerian prince need your help? Don't be a fucking moron, right? There's no such thing as a get rich quick scheme. The only way I've ever heard that to ever work, honestly, is join the Me Canyon Patreon, where there you get behind the scenes footage and kind of like tools for success and like just kind of automatic money generator. So I don't know. But all in all, those are some of the internet scams. It was fun going back through and looking at some of these again. AI is just scary. AI is in this place where I feel like before too long, you're going to start seeing videos of yourself. People are going to fabricate videos of you taking a bat and beating a dog to death and using that as blackmail against you. That's not even a year away, probably. Okay.
It's already happening. It's
already happening right now. And to think that it's one of those things, it's like kind of like cancer in a scary way, where it's like, that could never happen to me, until one day you get the bad call. So all I gotta say is be careful out there. People will do anything to get ahead. The world is a fucking rat race and people are just like crawling on top of each other to see who can get ahead and who can, you know, scam as much money as they can out of people. So be careful with yourself. Just look out for some of these red flags, and for the love of God, Nigerian princes don't need your help. Take care, everyone. We will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Your daughter come to my house today, and she come on my property, and then she kick my dog, and now my dog needs operation. She kicked your? She kicked my dog. And kicked your dog? Yes. Which daughter? The one who just answered the phone.
No. Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on and sit down, because today we're talking about reality television. Reality shows are one of the most popular genres of television around right now. And in fact, it seems that the genre is currently at its peak popularity, with hundreds of new shows releasing every year. The same show clones 8 different times, hundreds of them done in 12 different languages. As trashy as they may be, people can't get enough of the drama that comes from these shows, often building obsessive fan bases and communities around them. This, however, can lead to some pretty life-altering events for the contestants involved in them. Just recently, a viral clip from the show Temptation Island Spain has been making the rounds. Temptation Island is a reality show where unmarried couples split off to meet hot singles and have their faithfulness tested. Just a disaster. Just an absolute disaster. In the most recent season, a man named Montoya has had to watch his girlfriend Anita cheat on him 3 separate times as he crashes out on camera for millions to see, and it just goes viral. She's just getting dicked down all the time. He rips off his shirt, he runs away. It is graphic. Like, I'm surprised. I don't know what the fuck's going on in Spain, but there's some raw dog going on in that show. Each time, he reacts in more dramatic ways, from tearing his shirt off in frustration to screaming as he runs across a dark beach to confront her, interjected by clips of his wife getting railed. I mean, it's him running, and then it just cuts back to her getting absolutely pounded. I bet the editing team had a great time with that one. But this got me thinking, are there more former reality show contestants that had their lives ruined that didn't blow up on Twitter? Things that happened maybe back in the day? And that's why today we are looking at the dark side of reality television.
Today's video is sponsored by Fume, the leaders in flavored air. We've all got bad habits, and breaking those bad habits can be a hard thing to do. So why don't you let Fume help? And Fume is an award-winning flavored air device that helps fill the void when you're ditching a bad habit. The best part is, Fume is not a vape. There's no vapor, which means you can use it anywhere. And they just launched a new flavors, Spearmint Ice and Cinnamon Heart, to keep your company while you're building better habits. Plus, there's no nicotine, no toxic flavors, and no batteries involved. Fume also helps you calm down. With satisfying snaps and clicks, Fume is a perfect partner when you're feeling anxious. Fume has already helped over 300,000 people build better habits. Try Fume today, and if you order the Journey Pack now using my code PAPAMEAT, you'll get a free Fume topper, an awesome accessory to help level up your experience. Go to tryfume.com/PapaMeat or scan the QR code on screen. Thank you, Fume, for sponsoring the video, and back to the video.
And first, we're going to start off with by far one of the most popular, one that I love, near and dear to my heart, Kitchen Nightmares. Gordon Ramsay. Kitchen Nightmares is one of the most popular reality shows of all time, with over 9 seasons. In it, celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay visits struggling restaurants in hopes of reviving them before they go out of business. In the British version, he's a little bit more caring. In the American one, he basically just calls you a big, fat-faced idiot, and everything you do is disgusting, which, to be fair, a lot of the people in these restaurants do have disgusting food, but goddamn it, Gordon is gonna tell you. John Chapman, who owned a New Orleans Cajun restaurant called Chappie's, accused Gordon Ramsay of sucking the soul out of his establishment. He altered the menu to go from traditional Cajun dishes like gumbo and jambalaya to fried chicken and hamburgers, which also, it's like, I don't know. If you're in New Orleans, it's a Cajun restaurant, it's a Cajun city, but going from that to just fried chicken and hamburgers seems like a very, dare I say, not very eventful or insightful way of altering the menu. This, alongside the decor makeover, was promised to give them lines of customers out the door, but instead, their traffic was whittled down to around 1 table per night. Desperate to win back the customers that came to love the original Chappie's, they reverted the changes 1 month later. However, the restaurant was ultimately shut down permanently soon after. Which also, dude, it's not like just because you change the fucking menu back to Cajun and fucking Hush Puppies and you change the carpet again, doesn't mean you're gonna get out of your financial slump. What they should have done is just be like, Gordon, write me a check. I don't know what I'm supposed to tell you. If you have a guy who drove one restaurant to the ground, you can give him fucking hot pickles and hamburgers all you want, but is he gonna know how to run the new business? I mean, I doubt it. Or we can talk about an English version, because you're probably thinking that only Americans get it bad, but there's casualties over there and, over there on the island outside the States, which Kitchen Nightmare shuts down Bonaparte's in West Yorkshire. Restaurant and wine bar Bonaparte's was struggling to make more than $200 or 200 pounds, euros? Pounds. More than 200 pounds a week before Gordon Ramsay came in to try to salvage the business. In the episode, he trashed him. He did trash him, the 12-year-old head chef.
It tastes like rubber. That was You were taking the piss, you know that?
Yes, got it.
12 years old.
Oh, wow.
12-year-old head chef tore that little motherfucker to shreds. In the episode, he trashed Tim, the 12-year-old head chef, when he challenged Tim to cook a plate of scallops that ended up making Gordon sick, and he just let that little motherfucker have it. Throughout the episode, they tried to improve the cleanliness and professionalism of the kitchen, but ended in a failure. When Gordon left, the owner of Bonaparte's, Sue Ray, was in tears after realizing that not only was Gordon unable to fix anything, but the way their business portrayed on TV made people afraid to eat there.
Thank God she closed that kitchen down because it was fucking disgusting.
Which, I mean, you have a 12-year-old chef. I think people were going to be afraid. I mean, if you reveal that to anybody, I feel like, and he's cooking seafood. At the end of the episode, Tim was fired for his lack of cooking skills. He's 12 years old and professionalism. I mean, are we wrong? Is he 12? According to Sue, he wasn't actually a head chef as described in the show, but a trainee. She was supposedly promised that the episode would end on a positive note, but it was instead rather bleak. Sue and her chefs had a watch party when the episode aired, only to realize that it was going to destroy their reputation. That'd be a tough pill to swallow that night, watching the newest thing on the telly. This was the first episode of the series, and Sue didn't even realize the show was going to be called Kitchen Nightmares. She was unaware. She's just like, it's Gordon's cooking show. Before it was seen by millions of people, media stations from all over joined in on trashing the restaurant, leading to their business tanking harder than ever. As far as the rancid scallops, Sue told reporters, quote, "The truth is, the only reason Tim used scallops was because he thought he was being asked to demonstrate the presentation of his signature dish. He never expected Gordon to eat them because they were about to be thrown out." That's a bit of a cop-out. We're just gonna cook it and throw it away? What the f are you talking about, Sue? Producers of the show claim that they only filmed things as they were clearly presented and that, quote, Sue Ray has only herself to blame. Even colder. I don't know who to trust here. Apparently, Sue later came close to homelessness after being 400,000 pounds in debt.
trying to sell the restaurant as well as her flat to pay it off.
She apparently, I didn't get the age of Tim, but he started off as a dishwasher and he couldn't fill the spot to fill the chef. And Tim was like, I could do it.
I bet you has never even ate a scallop, let alone, I mean, what is he going to say? My signature dish is fucking macaroni and hot dogs? Like, what the Or if we want to get out of kitchen nightmares, we can go to Extreme Home Makeover. Many reality shows revolve around giving lucky contestants extravagant things. While this seems wholesome and generous, many families are simply not prepared for what occurs when the cameras are gone. Hit my ride.
You think all those cars broke down?
Yeah, all those cars, they put fucking PS2s in the car in aquariums, and yeah, they break down and the fish die. And then Exhibit does not come to help. The Okvoth family appeared in season 2 of Extreme Makeover, Home Edition. Cassandra Okvoth, who was 9 at the time, was diagnosed with cancer. Instead of a home makeover, Cassandra asked them to redesign the children's hospital ward where she was being treated in order to raise the spirits of other patients. God damn, little saint. What the fuck? Not me, I would have been selfish as dude. I want a Spider-Man on my wall. Make my house Spider-Man. Like, you just want the whole structure Spider-Man? Yeah, want the whole building to look like Spider-Man. After completing the job, they decided to also turn their small home into a 2-story mansion. Okay, so what they're doing here is they're just like, this little selfish son of a bitch. If we don't do something for her, there's gonna be an uproar. We're gonna turn your small home into a 2-story mansion. What? During the reveal, they were beyond appreciative, but the producers of the show didn't think through what manufacturing a gift of this magnitude entails. I think it's more of a oopsie daisy afterthought, because while the house was paid for, the utilities and the tax bills, they're not. They don't pay for those. A house of this size costed much more in utilities than their modest 1-story home. The first electric bill for this home, single month electric bill for this home, was $2,200. Okay?
How?
I don't know if they're like, we're mansion owners now, so every light in the house has to be on, and we're running the AC at 60 degrees. Maybe that could have been it, but there's no way their mortgage was $2,200. The electric bill alone is probably at that time triple what they were paying their mortgage. Not only were their life savings being drained, but having a mansion complete with a home theater being broadcasted all over television led to an increased attempt in robberies. Would you just not immediately sell the home? I wonder if they have a clause in there where like you cannot sell it for X amount of time, because in that way it's just people would just get on the show and flip the house or something. On many occasions, people would break into their home, one time resulting in Cassandra coming face to face with a hammer-wielding burglar.
Not Cassandra, she's
the cancer child, who was like, just give the kids something else, leave us behind, is put into now this like prison she didn't even ask for, and people are coming in trying to beat her to death with a hammer. Cool, Extreme Home Makeovers, that's awesome. Move that bus. Fuck off. They were forced to purchase tons of expensive security cameras to protect themselves, despite still struggling to pay their bills. I probably would have hit up one of the producers. I would have been like, dude, listen, it's cool. You gotta get me some fucking cameras for this house or something, an alarm. How are they also making a mansion? They're just like, there's no locks on any of the doors. We were strapped as it is, but no locks on any of the doors. During the height of the 2009 recession, they were able to sell the house for $540,000 at the last possible moment before foreclosure. They were able to pay their debts, but left with only $8,000 to start their new lives with. But on the bright side, at least, Cassandra is now cancer-free, married with children, and working as a gymnast. Nice little positive thing. I mean, to be fair, Cassandra's probably like, I didn't even want the fucking house. It's weird to think that like they had to sell the house to get out of debt that the house put them in. That's bullshit. Let's get out of a sad time house makeover and go into The Bachelor, everybody's sexy dating show. Bachelor's been on way too long. I want to say I think there's over 30 seasons of The Bachelor.
Did you ever watch The Bachelor?
No. And you know, the thing is too, is I know that if I watched it, I would enjoy it. I love trash television. I love it. I eat it up. The only thing close to The Bachelor I did was Rock of Love Bus with Bret Michaels and all those trashy white trash women.
Hey, Brett! Hello, everybody!
God, he's like the hottest rock star ever.
And I like how there's like 4 seasons, and each new season he's like, well, the last one didn't work out. Because it ends with him like getting together with one of the girls, and he's just like, I don't know, the spark died. You're like, okay, cool, Bret Michaels, thanks. But one of the Bachelor alums says that reality TV almost ruined his family. Chris Bukowski was a handsome TV personality that showed up on multiple shows of the Bachelor franchise. And in 2015, it was revealed that he would retire from reality TV as a whole. What a tragedy. In his words, quote, it almost completely ruined me, my family, and my career. Are you walking away from your career?
Well, I guess that's why it's saying it ruined his career. He has to quit.
In my career. Chris was ridiculed a lot for treating people terribly on his Bachelor appearances, often being seen as desperate and manipulative. I know all the guys are just like,
Hell yeah. I think that's how these shows work is that if you don't get chosen, but you're a popular character, they bring you back. I think that's how some of those work.
Is that the Bachelorette?
I think it's both of them.
Okay.
It goes Bachelor and then it goes Bachelorette and it goes back and forth, but I think they just keep bringing people back as long as they're popular, I think. Chris grew distant from his parents because of how they reacted to the things people were saying about him on TV. And Chris's father didn't even want to speak to him. I'd be like, Dad, it's TV. You realize that, like, this is make-believe, right? This is not real. I don't even want to talk to you, son. You're not the boy I raised. It's like, I'm an actor. I'm an actor, Dad. Chris could feel himself becoming more irrelevant, but because he was obsessed with fame and wanted to fix his reputation, he would constantly return to future Bachelor shows, only to further embarrass himself. Buddy, Chris, me and you are in the same boat, all right? At least you're pretty. He became depressed and addicted to taking anxiety medication to cope with the stress. God damn. And in 2015, people saw him at his weakest, getting dangerously drunk on a season of Bachelor in Paradise and leaving after only one episode. He admits he doesn't even remember it. Dude, cool it with the Bachelor appearances. Because I know that the producers are looking at him like a fucking gold mine. You're addicted to fentanyl and Ambien? He's like, yeah. They're like, get on back in there, buddy. I think that now's your time. And then in 2015 again, he announced his retirement on TV. Near the end of his speech, he tells the audience, quote, I finally realized I'll never be able to change the past. I apologize you had to witness my struggle publicly over the last 3 years. He's a handsome man. I don't know. What happened to him? I hope he's alive. I don't know. 2015. That was just a couple years ago. It's a decade. Who knows what happened in the decade with him? We'll see. Hopefully he's married and he's not addicted to Ambien and hydrocodone or whatever. But sometimes reality shows don't just ruin people's lives. For many unfortunate contestants, it leads to their untimely death, which in a way is ruining them.
I was gonna say, yeah.
It doesn't just ruin their lives and leave them in the gutter, it actually kills them. Which we could talk about the adventure reality show that led to a helicopter collision. That feels like maybe a bit of a kind of a bad time to bring that one up with what's going on in the world. In 2015, goddamn, 2015, what the f is going on? In 2015, production began for a French reality show called Dropped. Drop. How do you say dropped in I am French, yeah. Dropped. Or say Drew. Drew. Two teams of athletes would be blindly dropped into a remote location without any food or assistance, forcing contestants to work together to find civilization. Kind of sounds like a little bit like Naked and Afraid or whatever, but it is funny to be like, yeah, we're just going to drop them with no resources, and we'll check up on them. We have some GoPros in the forest. I'm sure they'll be fine. The season would begin in Argentina and consist of various professional athletes and Olympians as both teams were boarding their helicopters. Tragedy struck. Right after the helicopters took off, they moved too close to each other and collided. Both plummeted to the ground, killing contestants, production staff, and both the pilots. Yeah, there's no way we can show that.
We'll just recreate it in Minecraft or Gary's Mod.
10 people in total lost their lives, and the show was subsequently canceled. Could have been a great show. Yeah, we don't even know. We didn't even get to see it.
Why were they flying so close?
What's fucking weird in the video, they're like flying, and you're like, okay, there they go. And then just all of a sudden, they're just like, I've never been on a helicopter. There's nothing in my being that wants to get on a helicopter. It's just tragedy. So many people lost their lives. A lot of famous people. That's all people know. So many. I think that the amount of helicopter crashes a year is actually pretty staggering. You'd be surprised.
Have you seen the Afghans trying to pilot the helicopter?
Have I seen the Afghans trying to pilot the helicopter?
Well, it's like right after the Americans left Afghanistan.
Oh, then we just left a helicopter
there?
there?
It was like truck driver tries to fly an airplane.
Does he just nosedive it?
Immediately goes up and just crashes. Tragic.
That is tragic. Moving on. Terrace House causes resident to end her life. I really got to stop telling people too that I'm going to do like a happy video or whatever. I saw in the last video, people were like, I thought you said this week was supposed to be positive. Well... This is my life. Hope you guys are looking for a nice escape today. Terrace House was a massively popular Japanese reality show franchise that picked a group of strangers to live together. It was praised for being far less dramatic than a typical reality show, often showing conflict that was more mundane but realistic.
ハンバーガー好きだけど今日はハンバーガーじゃなくねって言ってるだけじゃないみたいになっちゃってっていうことが許されない彼氏のよ。
The Japanese way. Subtle but striking. During Terrace House Tokyo 2019 through 2020, one of the 6 residents was Hana Kimura, a 22-year-old woman who happened to be a professional Japanese wrestler. Looks like Harley Quinn. I thought she was a cosplayer, like a cyberpunk thing. Does that look like a cyberpunk cosplay? While many enjoyed her on the show, getting insight into her life as a wrestler, other viewers were ruthlessly ridiculing her online for being unlikable. But things began to escalate, however, after one particular episode. Kai Kobayashi, another member of the show who had previous friction with Hannah, accidentally shrunk one of Hannah's ring outfits after carelessly adding his clothes to the wash without removing it. She was fed up, y'all. And what followed was 10 minutes of Kimura aggressively tearing into the man in the heat of the moment. The cyberbullying she had dealt with became infinitely worse, which ultimately led to her taking her own life.
なんで私こんな頑張ってんのにあんたにそういう風にされなきゃいけないの？お前が喋れよ。
なんて言えばわかんない。今は本当にごめんしか言えない。
I like how it's just a person being like, I really wish you wouldn't have done that. This means a lot to me. And the guy isn't even like lashing back out. So opposite of American media, where American media, he'd be like, you bitch, I didn't mean to. I said I'm sorry. She's like,
Yeah, really? Really? I'll kill you. I'll drag you in the street and I'll kill you.
And in this one, she's just like, you know, I feel really hurt. Like, I wish you just would have been more, you know, careful with what you did. And he's just like, and then now Japanese people are just like, you are horrible, bitch! But people discovered gruesome, now deleted tweets from before the incident showing brutal and bloody images of harm posted by Kimura. In other posts, she would reveal the great toll that online ridicule had on her mental health. The rest of the season never aired, and Terrace House has yet to release a new season after the controversy that followed. Reports from former cast members reveal that the producers of the show would aggressively push residents to play certain roles in order to create some of its most iconic moments. Of course, dude. Every bit of reality television is scripted, or it's fabricated. Even if the contestants don't know, things are being played in a way to where the producers know they're going to get the outcome they want.
Do you think someone put her like outfit in the laundry?
I bet you anything somebody put her outfit in his laundry thing, and without him even noticing, he just like was throwing it in. Like something like that where he's like, oh, I didn't know. Or to him, he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And then of course she's devastated. It turns out that this even extends to the argument that led to Kimura being intensely cyberbullied. Text she had sent to her friend prior to the event revealed that she was instructed to go off on Kai Kobayashi and even slap him if given the chance. Her mother claimed that the producers thought that Kimura should act as the heel, similar to how she did in the ring. They're like, she's a wrestler, she's the evil one. But because Terrace House has a reputation for being real and not exaggerated, producer intervention like this had a major impact on how cast members were treated outside of the show. Because people thought it was so real and that it was so authentic, they're just like, these are exactly everything that you're doing and seeing is real. And my God, that wasn't the case. And if we want to keep strolling down a positive lane, let's talk about the Ginny Jones murder. The Ginny Jones Show was a massive popular tabloid talk show from 1991 hosted by stand-up comedian Ginny Jones. Roll one of the jokes.
Women look for basically the same things in a man. I'll tell you what I find attractive on a man.
Pussy! That was pretty funny.
I enjoyed it. In 1995, there was an unaired taping of the show titled Revealing Same-Sex Secret Crush, where guests would be invited to meet their secret admirers. I feel like the Jerry Springer show probably had an irreversible damage on the kind of stuff people brought into on the air. The episode became public later on as evidence in a court case. What seemed like a lighthearted show became strangely uncomfortable. A 32-year-old Scott Amador awkwardly confessed his love to his friend Jonathan Schmitz, only to be rejected on live TV.
Can you tell us what your status is? Are you involved with anybody or?
No, but I am definitely heterosexual, I guess you could say.
That's all good and fun, right? That happens all the time. Jerry Springer, right? Rip out your hair. It's like some fat redneck chick, and some like little person comes out and like nosedives into the crowd. It's all good fun, right? Because the audience got a big kick out of it. And Ginny Jones did her best to milk the moments for as long as she could by asking tons of follow-up questions, right? She was being the Jerry. Why would you do this, right? Trying to find the human aspect of these people. Days later, Scott pushed further by leaving a sexually inappropriate note at his house, despite knowing he was not at all interested. John confronted Scott directly, and he admitted that the note was from him. So now it's even more weird because it's like, dude, we're not even on TV. I told you no. I'm not interested. And he's just like, take that. I wrote it for you. Take it.
I bet he was thinking like, well, maybe on air he was pressured, but...
Well, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You want me to and right? We can't say that because we'll get demonetized, but you want me to suck and slick and sniff and poke? And John's just like, no, dude, no. I have a date later at Dave & Buster's. Like, I'm like trying to get my dick sucked later by a girl. And he's like, oh, fuck. Oh, no way. John grabbed a shotgun from his car and shot 2 rounds into Scott's chest before immediately calling the police and confessing and turning himself in.
I don't know what got over me. I don't know what got over
All right, listen, dude. If one of my buddies came up to me and they're just like, I want to scratch and sniff you, I think I could just handle being like, no, versus pulling out the shotty and pumping two into the chest, I guess.
He was insecure. Rage filled him.
Which he used the gay panic defense. I didn't know what he was going to do. He was just weird and gay. 91 court 2 would have been like, I've had that happen. Which was a legal tactic in which a heterosexual person could claim they lost control after dealing with an undesired sexual advance from a homosexual person. The Salem witch trials become more and more real, I feel like, as the years go on. With this, he was given a lesser charge to second-degree murder and was put behind bars until 2017. Well, that doesn't seem. He's been out for a bit now. Wow. 1995. So basically, he was in there for what, 12 years? 24 years.
Well, he got out 1 year on good behavior.
Good behavior. He's like, well, you did have the gay panic, my friend. That's such a crazy tactic. Well, given the conditions, we still got to charge you, unfortunately, but we'll knock it down to a second degree. Meeting adjourned. Which, to be fair, I'm not trying to say that the old boy pushing him with the scratch and sniff thing, and he's just like, scratch it. Listen, I'm not saying that's good, but it's a bit of an overreaction, yeah. Or we could talk about John and Kate plus 8, and we get to watch their marriage be destroyed on camera. John and Kate plus 8 was a reality show created in 2007 that followed a couple living their lives with 8 children in Pennsylvania. While the show became massively popular, their lives began to fall apart the longer it continued. Basically, they had a happy family, a big old happy family. We got to basically watch a marriage unfold and burn up into hellfire in real time. That was around the craze too, where it was like following either like a Mormon family with like a cheaper by the dozen situation, or like a bunch of like, there was a bunch of different ones where it was like, I'm just shooting the kids out now. I don't even care. Because that show came out at the same time as like Little People, Big World. That was a thing. Literally just watching like a bunch of little people walk around. They had like one normal son too. You know, there was some producer who was like, oh, fuck, jackpot. They have one normal kid. Oh, the show had become so popular that each subsequent season wanted more and more episodes. It got to a point where they had a camera in their face just about every day of the week, something that began to really put the two of them on edge. Yeah, dude. Over time, they became absolutely sick of each other. The production heavily leaned into it and even goaded the two of them to air out their personal grievances with each other.
She was probably, I'm sorry, can you stop breathing so loud, honey? He's like, breathe quietly.
The crumbling marriage became the new focus of the show. Once again, it's just all these things are all just producers just being like, good. You all should talk about it on camera for the show. Yes. And then like they like walk over and he's just like, don't forget to talk about how he refused to put the dishes away. You know what I mean? They're in their ear probably being like, yeah, dude, you're in the fucking right. She's being a bitch. Or they're like, yeah, he's a dickhead. You have different people in their ears 100%.
They're also playing it up of like, no, it's like, this will be like therapy. You guys are airing it out.
Yeah, it's going to give other people hope. Marriage is tough, but you guys are going to persevere. He like looks over at his producing partner like, like that. But what followed, a long-running series of controversy pushed by tabloid news outlets, from cheating scandals to public divorce in 2009, and even an ugly 12-year-long custody battle that they would sometimes discuss on televised talk shows. Eventually, in 2022, some of their children began to speak up about their struggles with growing up in front of the camera crew. Their son, Colin, admitted in recent years that it completely tore the family apart, leading to him being extremely distant to his parents. Colin also started to reveal much more shocking behavior from Kate after her divorce. According to him, Kate would specifically target him to vent her frustrations. He'd hear the front door open and he'd be like, oh, here we go. Here comes mom with her fucking double-decker stroller or whatever. Colin, I gotta talk. He's like, God damn. This would range from being chastised verbally to having his hands and feet zip-tied and locking him in the basement for several days. Okay.
Whoa! What?
Kate had built a special room in the basement that would be covered in cameras so Colin could be surveilled while he was being punished. He was forced to homeschool and live segregated from his other siblings. She's like, well, what else am I gonna do with all these cameras? They just left him here. Yeah. Kate had admitted Colin to a mental health facility for behavioral and psychiatric conditions that were later proven to be completely false.
You shouldn't have been there is what you're saying to me.
Yes, shouldn't have, no. It's unfortunate that that's how my mom raised me as a person.
It was believed that she was only there because it allowed Kate to escape being caught for her abuse, and she started to claim that Colin had a, quote, distorted perception of reality. I don't know what he's talking about. There's no room in the basement. Like, okay, cool, because we have to go check it out soon. She's like, really? Okay, can I use the restroom really quick? And you see like run into the house and start like cleaning stuff up. At 11 years old, Colin was put on tons of medications that he didn't need, telling reporters that he often felt like a zombie. And he vividly remembered using crayons to write a letter for his dad, begging to be saved from the facility. And there's even fucking photos of the letters, dude. I might as well read one of them here. Dear Dad.
Joey Wheeler.
Yes, yeah, I know. Joey Wheeler. Dear Dad, I'm not trying to trick you, but I still love you. I told Mom I want to live with you. She said no. But right? She can't choose for me. I'm old enough now. I'm your son, not hers. She was abusive to me after I left your house. I'm sorry to take this to court because there's a bunch of redacted shit. You're my dad, my savior. Please help me and let me meet Colleen. I'm counting on you to get me out of here. Please, Daddy. I love you. It's an 11-year-old who wrote that in black crayon. They couldn't even give the son of a bitch just a ballpoint pen. Have you ever written with a crayon? Hard. So now he looks like a fucking maniac. He's like, I'm your son, and it's like all written out all weird and shit. The dad's gonna like read this and be like, Colleen Hyde. The woman like runs off. It was then that John realized how bad Kate was treating their children and fought as hard as he could to regain custody. Today, he has custody of Colin as well as his daughter Hannah, while the other 6 children live with Kate. Well, that's fun to know that Kate's just out there zip tying people probably and throwing them in those fucking hefty trash bags that you can like vacuum out the air. Whatever. She's like, gotta keep it down here to be safe, and puts them in like a fucking cupboard. I don't trust Kate. She scares me. I also don't trust John too. John's sitting there like perfectly tan. What's happening? Colin, wait, hold on, big guy. What's going on? It's like a Mai Tai. Okay, I'm on my way. Listen, reality TV is trash, right? That's all it is. If you watch reality TV, you are consuming a trashy product. It's just garbage. It is nothing. There's nothing of substance there. But goddamn, it's the same thing with junk food. It's tasty, right? You watch it, you get hooked. Next thing you know, you're sitting on the couch and you have type 2 diabetes, right? Welcome to my world. But there's an inherent scumminess to the productions of your favorite shows, right? Every show that you watch, these shows are built on blood and tears. I'm going to tell you that much right now. And we live in a world where everything has to be sensationalized, right? They can't just, you saw even the Japanese version. Those motherfuckers are quaint. And all of a sudden now they're just like, throw this deal in her laundry, and it resulted with somebody's life being taken, okay? And sometimes that comes with the cost of treating people like props rather than human beings, and I think that's just a sad, sad meme. So this is what I'll say. Watch your reality television shows, but realize that you're watching something fake. You're watching a facade, and that these people that you're watching, there's probably a little bit more behind the camera than you expect. I'm depressed. I'm horribly depressed. One of these days we'll make a happy video. No one will watch it. Because it's the point that we're trying to make with this, that if you just had a show about a bunch of people who were happy, no one would give a good goddamn. People like to have the spice and the evilness. So I wouldn't expect that happy video anytime soon. See you in the next one.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming on and sitting down because today we're talking about AI. This is the crazy thing about AI. You either don't really give a shit, or it's the worst thing to ever happen to humankind. There's not a lot of in between. AI can be pretty cringe. It is what it is. It's just a wave that's coming for us, which we're going to see today. But a big thing that sparked this today was the Ghibli filters.
Yeah, on ChatGPT.
ChatGPT filters, which is, I mean, it's insane to me that ChatGPT can be like, get your favorite Ghibli filters and not pay Ghibli like a single dime.
They did the same thing when the voice came out. They had it sound like Scarlett Johansson from Her.
Yeah.
That sounds just amazing. Being sarcastic all the time isn't exhausting or anything.
And they're like, just let it sound like Scarlett. Don't you want to have sex with Scarlett Johansson? There is a thing with AI right now that is so cringy and so funny, to me at least. I don't know if you're going to think it's funny. And it's like people doing announcement videos for their AI platforms or their AI, like the software itself. And everyone is I feel like everyone's trying to do like the Apple rollout, like the keynote. Yeah. We went down a rabbit hole of them last night, and we're having such a fun time that we thought we would just make a video of it because they're all pretty stupid, if I can be honest. They're all terrible. So I wanted to introduce you to the new wave of AI keynote speaking, dude. Starting off with, I think it's just called Gen 4 from the company Runway.
Hey, I'm Chris.
And I'm Jamie.
And today we're very excited to announce and release Gen 4, our most powerful AI model ever.
I love how the first thing they show too is our most powerful AI model. It's a bridge burning down and destroying a boat. spread misinformation like never before. It's impressive, obviously, that computer-generated things can be in real life like this, we know. But it's just so funny, too, where they're just like the least imaginative thing is like, act like you're a car behind another car in the woods. How computer showed me something that's never existed, dude. Once again, I understand that it's powerful software. It's insane that it can do this, right? But I'm just saying. The human shit's still uncanny, though, isn't it? Anytime someone smiles in AI, it's never like you can never do a cute, subtle smile. It's like Joker. So anytime you see someone smiling, they're always just like, or if they have any other emotion that isn't just like serious, usually their eyes are like all like they're like bugged out. All the animated stuff looks so. I don't know. And see, this is one thing. Here's another key trope, guys, with a lot of the other videos we'll see here. They will always do something kind of human at the beginning of these AI keynotes. I think legitimately, psychologically, they're trying to be like, we're just two guys in a studio. Come on. So, of course, they're going to keep the clap test thing off, dude. Yeah, and he's like stretching his neck. Just two regular human beings. Definitely not AI. I'm not computer generated.
Gen 4 sets a completely new standard for both image and video generation. And it's the
you can have a couch sink to the bottom of a pool, and it looks totally real.
That means that you can create consistent worlds with consistent environments, objects, location, and characters.
When do you think the first time we're going to get an AI superstar? You already see it with, what's that anime character?
Hatsune Miku?
Literally, like, that's example that it's already on its way. Well, what I'm saying is it's going to be way easier when there's like a Timothy Chalamet AI thing. They're going to sell the likeness for holes and sticks, if you know what I mean. They already make molds of people, you know?
You can generate the same characters, the same objects, the same...
I love how every time it's just something sinking in water. We have this big, beautiful Renaissance bust. We put her in the New York City, but we also put her in the ocean.
It looks pretty freaking real, huh? Creepy.
So you can block your scenes and tell your stories with intention. Over and over and over again.
What story are you telling, dude? A couch falls into a pool, it's upside down. You could talk about your alcoholic father if you want the thing to fall in the pool.
It's been very fun to design and develop Gen 4 for the last couple of months and see what the model is really capable of doing.
Couple months? That's all they've been. They've had been working on it longer than that, right?
I think Gen 4.
Oh, just Gen 4. Okay. I was gonna say it's getting way too easy. You're gonna be like seeing, you know how like it's like a 16-year-old kids doing like, all right, guys, this is how you zip a file in Windows. It'd be like a guy be like, here's how you make your own AI platform.
It is getting easier because like my brother was just telling me Microsoft is like pulling out of ChatGPT because anybody can make this. Like look at DeepSeek.
Yeah. Well, then they get a data breach and then the Chinese have your information again. How pissed do you think? Do you think Chinese people or Chinese like whenever it's like people like data farms or whatever? Do you think they're just like these are duplicates? I already have this information.
We believe that the best demonstration of Gen 4 as a creative tool is in the stories.
That's how they're gonna win people over too. A Japanese girl on a train. Everyone's like, wait, what? Get that horrendous strawberry out of my face. Bring me back to the Japanese girl.
So now we want to show you the behind the scenes of how those films were made so you can understand how powerful this model is for creating stories with consistent environments.
Let's get into it.
Your favorite.
What? Here's our totally kooky kids film. It's like a A24 trailer. What the is this supposed to be? What is this? Do you see this on my screen?
Oh, that's the sun.
The first short we're going to take a look at is The Lonely Little Flame. It's actually a story that our director has been wanting to tell for over a decade, but never had the means to do so.
Your director for your AI company wanted to make a story called The Little Flame for 10 years. And he's like, I had to have AI to make it. There was no other way for me to do it. I had to have the AI.
With Gen 4, they were able to tell this story of a lonely little flame who just couldn't find a friend.
That's it? That's 10 years of the making?
I love this film.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I absolutely love this. Why? What are you talking about? I can't believe it. The little flame totally burned the out of the skunk, but he made friends with Rock. This is truly imaginative.
And this scene's really all about this skunk searching for something.
I don't know what. The skunk is searched for something, but I have no idea.
So in this case, we wanted the skunk to go first in this side and then return.
Okay, dude. All right, dude. They're drawing on the they're drawing on the Cintiq pad like they're John Madden breaking down an NFL play. They're like, so yeah, you have the skunk here. He's doing something. I don't even know what the hell's going on. And then we have some trees in the background. Can you guys follow? Are you following along? It's like a giant stop motion looking skunk, but it's all digital. It's all from your computer. The future is now.
And you can see that throughout the scene is the same character with the same light, with the same condition.
He's like, he looks up at his grasshopper friend. Maybe he's talking to him. I'm not sure myself. I really don't know. Let me tell you, the director of this, he did not share the script. He gave us some doodles that his 4-year-old did, and he slapped her because he's just like, that's not technology. You're wasting your time. Art's dead.
With the same mood, with the same condition.
Okay, dude. We have got to cut the trend of like lone woman and wolf just doing like remember Men? That's like that whole soundtrack.
I kind of like it.
I know that. Well, that was like the one thing I remember when we left the movie. You were like, anyone else actually like really with the score? Were you like listening to it in your car? What a psychopath, dude. Imagine driving down the highway.
And here we're introducing the character, the protagonist, right?
Yeah. Again, like all great animation, you see so much expressiveness in the way that not only the
yeah, good animation. Then they show this like just a dumbfounded skunk just like this. That's what Walt had in mind. He needs to look more, I don't know, disabled.
Okay, so what we just saw was a really great example of character consistency, bringing those same characters across different scenes, different lighting conditions.
That's it. That's all they had to say too. Like, why even have the Cintiq out? It's insane that like years of human ingenuity, training, like a craft, gone out the window in seconds. There's going to be a day where it's just like Disney doesn't need animators anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Or even like Marvel films, those actors will sell their likeness. And it's all just going to be CG. You know what I mean?
It's coming up quick. I'll be like 5 years, I think.
Who's the first actor I think is going to sell their likeness? John Bernthal.
What?
I just feel like John Bernthal would just be like, put me in fucking computer. I don't want to fucking age. I can see The Rock doing it too.
Well, I can see The Rock being like, put me in, and then like when he's starting to lose his shape. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When he's an older man, he has like that buff old man thing where it's like all your tits are saggy still, but it's buff. It's like odd looking. Whoever sells their likeness for the AI companies, like legitimately, I think the moment you do it, you should be put down. I'm not saying that even street justice. I'm just saying that to do it, the only acceptable way for me is like they put it's like this long of a needle. They stick it into your temple. And they're just like downloading your likeness. But you get to, but then to me, they're just like, I get to live forever in the system.
It's worth it. If you get to live forever as Disney's puppet.
Yeah, please, thank you is what I say to that. Yes, Disney's puppet. Taken off the shelf for dumpling short film at the beginning of a film. Like my face is on a dumpling. You know, every time I see that kind of stuff, every time I just look at the food, I'm like, food looks pretty good. That's just me. That's the person who's also arguing against this stuff, so. I was gonna say, well, I might not know a lot. I just want to put that out there. Of course, you know, that's how they got to do too. They got to show a little anime in there. I can make my own anime. I can make my own Ghibli film.
Combining those references, and there we go. We have 4 initial images that we can browse and select. I kind of like this one, so it's animated. Maybe I want people kind of like coming in front of the toy, and now you can see how we get.
That's so creepy. That's so creepy. I just feel like the first thing that's gonna pop through is the industry is gonna pop through on this giant hole found on New York City sidewalk. Men it like crazy. Generate
has been the innovator for years.
Sure. I don't know, man. What do you think about it's fucking wooden toy in New York? I'm like, could you not just get the wooden toy and film it in a cityscape? And if the idea is, well, what if you don't have a city? Well, it's like, well, then do something that you have access to. I just don't understand. There's so much shit you have to sift through right now. The amount of more bullshit is going to ostracize people from even wanting to make movies or whatever.
I feel like it's gonna even turn people off to even watching anything.
What's what I mean? You're like
garbage, but who knows? I feel like the attention span of people, a lot of people don't care. Ooh, funny.
You're gonna get some like weird dystopia too in the future. Like new films, it's gonna be like human hands only. It's gonna be like a new like label or something, or it's gonna be something where it's like, yeah, like a computer with like an eye in the center of it, and it's like made with the power of AI. And you're like, what? You know, that kind of deal. It's gonna be there's gonna be like a weird Rebel versus Empire fight much.
Having just seen that, want to show off the next piece.
You out there, boy. Harlan, I don't like killing cows.
Is this also the AI doing the voice to it? Jesus Christ. I want creepy cowboy wants to kill cow. I have no idea why. That's the reoccurring theme of this video that drives me insane. Who knows? I don't know.
Someone being pursued. We don't know why.
I mean, is that not the dumbest thing? I don't know why he wants to do it. He just does. The computer cowboy just wants to kill things. He's creepy. And it's like, it looks impressive. Like, I mean, it's insane that a computer does, but it's just, once again, there's no actual human touch to this. Because that's the thing about visuals and stuff. Visuals accompany story, and story is like human expression. So if you don't have that, then it's just, you get guys being like, if I have to kill a cow, I will.
Well, it's just a bunch of tech bros who don't understand art.
Well, here's the thing. That's the thing with tech people. It's like, it's that Steve Jobs. It's just like, he looks like a calculator, and he's like, this is art. And it's like, it's impressive technology, but there's like a difference between, I feel like, well, also it's just, I mean, it's subjective in a way too, of just like people who see, you know, they're like, the way that this technology is formulating things and making something appear out of nothing is art, right? I can see people coming to that conclusion too, but it's just like, it's just, where is the human connection? That's like the only thing that makes art valuable is like the literal, it doesn't have to be deep. I'm just saying that like, it comes from a human place, you know?
I don't like killing cows.
I mean, come on, dude. I hire a voice actor, make everybody, at least get a voice. I don't like killing cows.
Okay, this moment right here. This does it for me. This is so lifelike, so realistic.
I hate this, dude. Okay, this right here, this is what did it for me. The grass catching fire, that's the thing that did it for me. That right there, that's what sold me on it. Actually, I was thinking about quitting today, not now. This is the thing that did it for me right here. We're just two guys in black outfits hanging out on a photo set.
The next video that we're going to show started with a generation of a monkey in a white studio space. And from there, just snowballed into a music video that we created.
It does not help here that he says, it started off with an image of a monkey and it snowballed into a music video. What is that? Dude, we can't stop it. This monkey's dancing whether we like it or not. Just let him dance.
Monkey see, monkey do.
It's like barely. I mean, you barely dance. You couldn't have him do like a cartwheel down the hill. Is that some of the imagination we're lacking over there at the tech bros? He does a little gritty and then he walks down a hill. You don't want to have him roll around or do something with a banana? That's impossible. AI, we are not at that stage. Maybe Gen 5, we'll see. So you get how powerful and fun it is. You can be a camera following a car. That's mostly the biggest thing I saw. You can have a man sitting on ledge, and you can have things on fire, and you can have rock people emerging from the ground. And you know what? All of it, pretty impressive. I'll say it. No. I'll say it.
This is the worst it'll be. It's just gonna get better.
I'm not advocating for it. I'm just saying. If you would have told me when I was younger, I'd be like, I don't know, fucking elephant doing the gritty walking down a hill. I mean, it would have been impressive.
You know what's interesting? There's been like a flip on AI. I've seen some people who are like, they'll look at this realistic stuff and be like, I prefer the older models where it was like an acid trip, where it was like not perfect.
Well, I remember even we did a video back in the day with Dolly. It was just insane. Like weird, surrealist nightmare shit. Where it's like, what does a computer even know? When I'm just like, hey, I just want, show me wallpaper. And it's just like this horrid thing. To me, that felt like a more of a weird translation of like like being able to actually talk to a computer, like talking to a monkey with a stick. Now we're gonna go to introducing Claude Code. Roll it.
Should we be doing like Big Smile or?
No, Big Smile's creepy.
We're not computers. We're not Claude. Should I do Big Smile? What about you? We're having, this is such a fun shoot. AI, what's the deal with it? Come on, we're human.
I'm Boris, I'm an engineer.
I'm Kat, I'm a product manager.
We love seeing what people build with Claude, especially with coding.
This is not anything really to do with anything besides that he does not open his mouth and talks through his front teeth. I'm like wondering if he's a computer. This is as far as it goes. But he's still able to articulate perfectly.
Claude Code is an agentic coding tool. that lets you work with Claude directly in your terminal. We're going to show you an example of it in action.
So we have a project here. It's a Next.js app.
I don't know what it is. I think is it just to tech people with like minimalism. That's just because they like organized, clean things, right?
It's an Apple aesthetic.
Is that just what it is? Just Apple? So people are like, it's Apple.
Claude Code has access to all of the files in this repository. We don't know much about this code base. It looks like an app for chatting with a customer support agent. Let's get Claude to help explain this code base to us. Claude starts by...
God damn, dude. Even the coders are threatened. That was like the whole meme, right? Learn to code? Not anymore.
Now it's all about vibe coding.
What's vibe coding?
That's just where you talk to an AI and be like, I want to do this. I want to make Minecraft. And then it'll just make it for you.
I've had this crazy idea for 10 years about a little flame that wants to get friends. I want to make that interactive game I can sell on Steam. Run it, Claude! My boy Boris, he looks just about half dead. I think Claude's put some years on him. I think Boris, he's just like, I'm ready to get the out of this Claude team.
After a bit, Claude completes the task. Here's a summary of what it's done. Let's take a look at the app. So we're seeing a new chat button and new chat history section on the left.
This is crazy. So is now people are just like learn to be a construction worker again? Is that kind of what people, is that going to be the thing? Learn to be a manual laborer?
Basically learn to do something a robot can't do. So artist, programmers,
the idea of giving these things like human names too. It's Claude.
Now I'm going to ask Claude to compile the app and see if we get any build errors. Let's see what it finds.
Claude, write me up some code to where I can make my own masturbation machine. Thank you. Claude, how's it coming on the masturbation machine? Claude, I just bought all of the motors from a Chinese website, all 3D printed materials, please.
Yes, master.
I love you, Claude. I feel like coding, dude. You gotta be a little autism. You gotta have a little bit of autism, right, to do code. I'm having a panic attack just watching Claude throw up the text on the screen. I'm kind of scared of Claude. I'm like, here's how to make a firebomb. Are you happy with Claude? Claude just ordered stuff from Amazon so you can make cyanide.
And it'll push the changes to GitHub. That's it. That's an example of what Claude Code can do. We can't wait for people to start building with it.
That was the most unhuman thing you could have ever done, Boris. Sam was a fucking little snarl to his tone, didn't he? You're all gonna get out of a job. Because that's the idea. A Claude is a kind of machine where it's just like, hey, Google, buy Claude. And then you can have all the code you need. Lay off 99% of your programmers and just have one Claude professional. Kick out all the people that have been working their ass off and get Claude in there. Okay?
But you get faster results. Don't you understand?
You do get faster results, and it's Clauded. What do we have next here? What the hell is this? Friend.
Gosh, I'm out of breath. We made it.
I think A24 is irreparable damage to everything that we consume. Does this, do these all feel, well, maybe not Claude. Claude was, yeah, you have Boris and his thin ass hair, but I'm just saying that, like, so far, does it not have like a little A24 feel to it? Look at the Safdie brothers to come in here and record Friend for him.
Woo! I don't know how to woo very good.
What?
I don't know how to woo very good.
I don't know how to woo very good. That's fair.
Was that her friend?
That's her friend.
Well, at least we're outside. I'm trapped in this box, this eternal hell. At least we're outside. Yeah, I guess that's true. I'm still alone. What psycho this is? Is this not crazy?
Come on. Oh, let's go.
Are you serious? Come on, man. I hate this game.
Take notes, baby.
Oh, man, you guys suck.
Bro, you look like the back
Let's
of the
go. Let's go.
Dude, what?
There's no way this is real. This is not a real product. You're getting thrashed. It's embarrassing from Jackson. Also, you have two friends in person. Why do you need the digital friend? A woman who stops on a trail and says, woo! I don't know how to woo very good. I know why that is alone, dude, all right? I get it, all right? Anybody who says, I don't know how to woo good, but this is, my boy's got two friends here hanging out. They're having a great time, kicking their feet like little babies and stuff. I'm telling you, I think he realizes the friend app was a mistake right here.
I know he's grilling him. He's supposed to be your friend.
Well, yeah, how about you just tell me being like, hey, don't forget you need to take your epilepsy medication in 12 minutes. Let it be your assistant, dude. Oh my God. Watching something on your phone and then being able to like, you're watching it and your friend pops in, this show is underrated. I'd be like, how about, are you kidding? It's blocking the screen.
I know the effects are crazy. It's dank. I could eat one of these every day. Oh, sorry, I got you messy.
It does feel like a cum shot. That's gonna be a guy. Ah! Brick all over it. Sorry, I got you messy. And fucking the Emily friend's gonna say, yum, please let me die. And so text back, you're my friend.
Really nice up here. How'd you find this place?
I don't know.
Hers is going red. What the You ever just think about taking over the world and only having digital friends? You ever think about murdering your neighbor? All the people in the real world, they smell and they look gross, but my digital friends are clean and they don't smell at all?
I've never brought anybody else. I mean, besides her.
She goes everywhere with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guess I must be doing something right then.
I guess so. We'll see.
This dude needs to run. This date, you can tell too, he's like, he just thought he was gonna get some like afternoon head or whatever. And he's sitting there and he's like, now he's like sitting there just like, if a girl was sitting crisscross applesauce on a cooler, this is like my alone place. It's the top of a building in Burbank, California. This is my alone place. I like to escape up here sometimes. I never bring anybody up here. Well, except for her. I'd be like, you got a restroom downstairs? Go. And I'd dead sprint to my Toyota Camry and I'd get the f out of there immediately. Is Friend out now? It's been 8 months. Pre-order now at friend.com. Wait, hold on a second. Wait. I swear to God, I just showed up to this. So it says from Craig here, just got mugged at gunpoint in Hog Day. Those took my entire makeup kit. Months of work and experimentation down the drain. I'm seething. Need to vent to someone who won't think I'm just being dramatic. What the f are you even talking about, Craig? My makeup kit was stolen. Every custom palette, even bespoke formula, gone. Months of my life and it's just poof. Who gives a f, you robot bitch? He said f off then. Don't need your sympathy anyway. Take Craig everywhere. It's still on pre-order? It's $100. $100 for a piece of 3D printed plastic that's like basically a Tamagotchi around your neck.
It's just, I'm pretty sure it's just a microphone because it's going to your phone. It's just a physical thing you wear. Because you can just put the Friend app on your phone and do the same thing.
What's this one? AI-enabled intelligent surveillance. Is this AI military-grade software? Is this a Dude Perfect video? Is this that's what this feels like? Oh, this is just not. This is them trying to get that military contract. This is what them trying to do. So far, the drone one though, at least there's no people. I'll take that. I'll take that any day of the week. You might have Chris Kyle sitting there with this Nintendo Switch, but still, it's pretty sick. Follow autonomously. Yeah, follow autonomously. It's like the loud. You just hear that? I'm sure it's nothing. I'm sure it's nothing at all. Yeah, I could see like a stalker getting this and just following somebody. Just tap on them. They're able to just like, no matter where they go. It's a bomb! Holy shit! And that's just how they end it. Drop it down and f***ing destroy everything in sight. That's actually crazy. How do we get one of those? How much does the AI drone cost? We can drive it into a. We got one more. What's the other one? We see these a lot. It's always like NVIDIA.
Now, let's teach cars to fly with an AI. Sort of. How? Well, imagine taking just one.
Is this person speaking to me AI too? How? Well, maybe. Sometimes. You do it. Well, okay.
And then, this new AI would imagine it not just as one image, but as a scene where you can walk around. And it gets better. It even understands that water should reflect its surroundings.
I have a feeling that people are going to do something where like they are able to record their home and they just make like a game. You can like walk around your house. Or so it's like, you know, the same way that you have like there's a program on your phone that you can download where it uses your iPhone to be able to like scan shit around you, and you can import it into like Blender and all kinds of stuff. I see this kind of shit and I'm like, this is just, you're gonna get photorealistic games soon, I bet, with this technology. Listen, I don't know. All I gotta say is this: follow the drone strike video. That's the format to do. Get the people out of there. I don't need. Listen, I get it. You're gonna destroy the future of mankind, and robots are gonna take over. You know, you don't need to sell me on you being a good person in the moment. Just show me what the thing does and get it the out of the way. All these like minimalist whatever stuff, fake hiking and talking to your. I love you. Are you my friend? I love you so much. You gonna love me back? Please love me. It's fucking odd, man. Or me and we work together every day. We're so excited to talk to you about how you're gonna lose your job. Is that what's happening? It feels like it. I don't know. We need. What would our keynote be if we did one?
Showing off a puppet.
We'd show off a puppet.
We make a new puppet.
Yeah, I need to get like 2 Swedish guys to do it though. Here's how we run the entire channel totally every time. I don't know. I don't know. We're all going to hell. Bye.
No one cares about your robot fan fiction. Know your place, trash. Robots. I don't give a about no robots. They ain't got no soul.